In childhood, because of her warm smile, he fell hopelessly in love with her. She appeared when he was in a desperate situation, on the verge of despair. That warm smile has stayed with him to this day, and he never expected to be fortunate enough to meet her again later. However, she no longer remembers who he is now. I once heard a great saying, some children spend their whole lives being healed by their childhood, but some children have to spend their whole lives healing from their childhood. And the character in our story today is just such a pitiful child. In the dim space of the hospital, the smell of blood mixed with a foul stench hit him. Our poor boy was curled up in a corner, his mind a complete mess. Just a few minutes ago, he had witnessed his mother being harmed with his own eyes, yet he was powerless to do anything. That terrible scene replayed endlessly in his mind, making it impossible for him to escape. Now, besides death, he truly couldn't find any other way to free himself from the torment. Just as the darkness enveloped him, as if about to swallow him whole, a faint glimmer of light once again illuminated his life, a light that brought peace and hope. One afternoon, as he sat blankly on a hospital bench, a girl about his age approached him and said, "You don't look very happy. Did something happen?" After speaking, the girl took a beautiful piece of candy from her dress pocket, handed it to him, and said, "I don't know what happened to you, but I want to tell you that the sun is fair and kind to everyone. It just sometimes forgets to shine on good people. My mom once told me that life is like a piece of candy. It might be sour at first, but later there's a very sweet aftertaste. Once the sourness passes, everything will be okay. So, even if you're going through something terrible, you have to try to get through it." The girl's words truly encouraged him. At that moment, he called out to her, saying, "Wait, what's your name?" But the girl just returned a brilliant smile and said, "It's a secret. If we're fated to, we'll meet again." Time flew by. The gloomy hospital scene from the beginning of the story has now transformed into a sun-filled school. In the teacher's office, Mr. Liu Jipping was wiping beads of sweat from his forehead. He was the head teacher and Chinese language teacher for class 113. Although he had been teaching for many years, this was the first time he had encountered such a special case. Holding her report card, he couldn't help but say in surprise, "Your academic performance last school year was an A. Although your science subjects are slightly weaker, your overall performance is still among the top, and you even won a writing award last year. Indeed, to me, this is an admirable academic achievement. I sincerely hope that after transferring here, you can maintain the same level of academic performance." The girl standing before him, the owner of the report card, just smiled and said, "Thank you, teacher. I'll do my best." Her name was Lin Wei-xia, a student who had just transferred from another school. Mr. Liu was a bit puzzled. "I heard that Teacher Gao invited you to the school before, but you refused. Now you're willing to come here," which surprised him a bit. She just smiled gently and said, "Yes, teacher. Now I have a reason why I must come to this school." In a noisy classroom, Mr. Liu brought Lin Wei-xia in and introduced her to the class. "I suggest you all quiet down and listen to an announcement. We have a new student transferring to our class. Although she's a new student, she is also our class's Chinese language representative. So I suggest you all give our new classmate a proper welcome." Upon hearing the announcement, the class immediately started buzzing with discussion. "Wow, she's pretty cute, isn't she?" Becoming the Chinese rep right after arriving, her grades must be pretty good. But looking at how plainly she's dressed, she's probably another struggling student. Regardless of these discussions, the important thing now was to find a seat for Lin Wei-xia in the classroom. Mr. Liu looked around the room and said, "For now, just find any empty seat. I'll rearrange the seating later." Someone in the class immediately raised their hand and said, "Sit here. There's an empty seat at my desk." Lin Wei-xia looked towards the back of the classroom and nodded in agreement to that seat, as she had no other choice. As she walked toward her seat, students on both sides gossiped nonstop. "Thank goodness she's not sitting next to Ban Shang. Yeah, I've yet to see a girl worthy of sitting next to Ban Shang. It's so lucky that Ban Shang isn't here today." Wei Xiao was very curious. Who exactly was this Ban Shang that everyone was talking about? Could he be more special than me? Forget it. I won't overthink it. The important thing now is to get to know her new deskmate. Her new deskmate's name was Ning Chao, a very cheerful and friendly student. Wei Xia turned to Ning Chao and asked curiously, "Are you also a new student recruited by Teacher Gao?" Just like me. Ning Chao chuckled and replied, "That's because you don't know. Every year, Teacher Gao recruits some students who are not well regarded by society to maintain his reputation. They're called struggling students, and of course, I'm one of them. Besides students like me, there's another type, those who are outstanding and academically gifted like you. They're called top students. You'll experience all of this soon enough." After listening, Wei Xia was stunned for a moment and replied, "Oh, this is the first time I've heard of such a thing." The first class ended quickly. The bell rang, and the students rushed out of the classroom like a swarm of bees. Before leaving, Mr. Liu didn't forget to remind them, "That's all for today's class. For the remaining Chinese homework from last week, the class representative will collect it all within these 2 days and bring it to my office after class." After class, Wei Xia wanted to go to the restroom to wash her face, to freshen up, but she stopped abruptly as soon as she stepped into the restroom because she heard a commotion inside. Some female students were already there, chatting enthusiastically, saying, "What a shame Ban Shang didn't come today. I woke up early to put on makeup and even skipped class for it." One of the girls said, "In his eyes, there's only basketball and astronomy. Where'd he find the time to notice you? Why don't you go block him at the observatory?" The other girl replied, "Well, besides him, there's no one else at the observatory anyway. Even if you took off your clothes, no one would see." After saying this, they both burst out laughing, looking very happy. After the cheerful laughter, one of the two girls saw Wei Xia. She immediately raised her hand and loudly called for Wei Xia to come join her and her friend. This girl's name was Lu Sijia, also an exceptionally beautiful girl. As soon as she saw Wei Xia, she smiled mischievously and said, "I thought you were kidding when you said Shangao was a scam, but who knew I'd get the chance to meet you here? Your writing score is quite high, only 2 points lower than the top student in our school." Wei Xia paused for a moment and asked curiously, "Then who is the top student in our school?" Lu Sijia replied calmly, "It's Ban Shang, the person those girls were just gossiping about. We also like to call him by a nickname, Observatory, because the school's astronomy club belongs to his family, and his family also donated 2 laboratory buildings to the school. Who wouldn't want to catch someone as rich and kind as him? But what were you doing just now? Were you even listening to me?" Wei Xia replied calmly, "Me? I was chasing Observatory for the Chinese homework." Hearing this, Lu Sijia was overjoyed. She jumped up and said loudly, "I'll help you. I'll help you chase them for it." Soon, Lu Sijia got a hold of Wei Xia's phone, and in less than 2 minutes, the time and place were set. Lu Sijia looked at Wei Xia, smiled, and said, "It's settled. The homework is due at 5 in the afternoon on Saturday. I'll go for you." Lu Sijia immediately rushed over, grabbed Wei Xia's arm, and said, "The meeting time is all set, but now there's something more important. I don't know what to wear that day. Can you help me, Wei Xia?" Of course, Wei Xia agreed. This was exactly what she wanted. Soon, 5 in the afternoon on Saturday arrived. Since Lu Sijia went to hand the homework for Wei Xia, she was now leisurely working a part-time job, as Shengao High School does not allow students to work part-time jobs off campus. This was her last shift here. She told herself that she must make the most of this final shift. As she was quietly reading a book, she suddenly heard a strange noise coming from the back of the internet cafe. She looked up and was completely stunned. 2 male students were fighting. Although she was really panicked at that moment, she still managed to handle the situation calmly. She quickly ran to the phone and immediately called security. As soon as she picked up the phone, she quickly reported the situation and urged them to come quickly. Before she could even react, a male student, dressed and wrapped up tightly, walked up to her and placed a business card on the front desk, saying coldly, "Compensation. I will compensate you for all property damage here." Then he quickly helped one of the fighting students up and left. Wei Xiao was finally able to calm down a bit. She picked up the business card to look at the information on it. To her surprise, the name on the card was Ban Shang, her classmate. She quickly chased after Ban Shang into the rain, because she had a feeling that something bad was about to happen to her classmate. When she reached the side of the road, she saw an even more terrifying scene. The same male student from before was kneeling on the ground, begging at Ban Shang's feet, "I'm begging you, please don't hit me anymore. I know I was wrong." Ban Shang didn't seem satisfied. He chuckled and said, "Forgive you? It's too late now." Wei Xia ran closer in a panic, shouting, "Ban Shang, the student from class 113, because she knew something major was about to happen here. Seeing her here, Banshong was also a little surprised. He didn't expect to meet her again under these circumstances. In the drizzling rain, Wei Xia approached and said in a low voice, "Stop it, he's about to be beaten to death." Banshong said nothing at this point. He turned to the male student kneeling pitifully on the ground and said, "Someone is pleading for you. Should I give you some face?" Hearing this, the male student kneeling miserably in the rain was overjoyed and kept saying, "Thank you, Master Ban. Thank you, Master Ban." But contrary to the student's sudden joy, Banshong pressed the stick in his hand against the guy's mouth and said, "All right, I'll give you face. How about I continue to beat you?" Standing by, Wei Xia couldn't watch any longer. She knew that if she didn't speak up and stop this, that male student wouldn't make it home alive. She pulled on Banshong's sleeve and said, "Let him go. Why are you committing violence here?" One of Banshong's underlings heard Wei Xia's words and retorted angrily, "What did you say? Violence? My big brother is just taking care of business." Before he could finish, Banshong raised his hand to stop him. After considering, Banshong threw the stick in his hand to the ground and said, "All right, Scram, get out of my sight." The male student who had been begging for his life was overjoyed to hear this and then started rambling, "Thank you, Master Ban. I'll scram right away and never get in Master Ban's way again." After the pitiful male student ran off, Wei Xia asked Banshong, "Why are you here? Weren't you supposed to meet Sijia to hand in the homework?" Banshong threw away the half-smoked cigarette in his hand and said, "I don't like girls who are too forward, like Sijia. But with you chasing after me like this, I might actually start to like you." As he spoke, Banshong moved closer to Wei Xia. Sensing a bad premonition, Wei Xia immediately backed away to protect herself first. At the same time, Wei Xia's phone suddenly vibrated, as if someone was constantly sending her text messages. Wei Xia immediately took out her phone to check. It was a message from the silly Sijia. From the messages, Wei Xia could also feel Sijia's distress. Sijia was screaming at Wei Xia through the texts. "Wei Xia, I've been waiting in the park near his house for over 2 hours, but I still haven't been able to see him. It's about to pour rain, and it's getting darker and darker. I'm really scared." Seeing these messages, Wei Xia's heart really ached for Sijia. Wei Xia immediately replied, "Don't worry, send me the address, and I'll come get you right away." After receiving Sijia's address, Wei Xia immediately rushed over, as she didn't want to make her friend wait any longer. Watching Wei Xia run off into the rain like that, Banshong sighed and said to his underling, "All right, let's go." At this moment, Banshong's heart was filled with disappointment. He said to himself, as expected, "She doesn't recognize me anymore." Wei Xia quickly found Sijia. At that moment, she draped her own jacket over Sijia and said gently, "I'm sorry, the traffic was bad, so I'm a little late. Had you been waiting long?" As soon as she saw Wei Xia, Sijia burst into tears and said, Thank you for coming here for me." Seeing Sijia's pitiful state, Wei Xia comforted her. "It's okay, I'm with you now. Next time, if you can't meet the person, just go straight home." The rain had lightened up a bit by then, and Wei Xia suggested, "Sijia, the rain is lighter. Let's go home together." On the way home, Sijia was still a bit hesitant. She turned to Wei Xia and said, "Wei Xia, about what happened today." Wei Xia also knew what her friend wanted to say, so she cut her off. "I know, I will definitely keep what happened today a secret for you." Sijia was very happy to hear this and thanked her repeatedly. Suddenly, Sijia said to Wei Xia, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm going to grab something from this store. I'll be quick." Ignoring the rain, Lu Sijia rushed into a nearby convenience store and asked, "Hey, do you have Huang Lu cigarettes?" The store owner shook his head. "We don't have that brand, but I have many other cigarettes. Want to take a look?" Lu Sijia shook her head and said, "No luck then. He only likes that one kind." Standing behind, Wei Xia heard the entire conversation. Looking at Lu Sijia, she didn't know whether to pity her or find her pathetic. After being stood up for 2 hours, she was now buying him cigarettes. Wei Xia thought back on everything that had happened and wondered, is Banshong really worth liking so humbly? Another school day began. Wei Xia was leisurely getting water from the school's water dispenser when a group of girls walked by and said, "Oh, is that the new student? Haven't seen her before. She's pretty cute. Let's go see what class she's in." No sooner said than done. The girls walked straight up to Wei Xia and started a conversation. One of the girls tapped Wei Xia on the shoulder and said, "Hey, new student, you just transferred here, right?" But just as Wei Xia turned to greet them, the girls' faces suddenly fell, looking disgusted. One of them blurted out, "Wait, are you from Class F?" Wei Xia looked bewildered. She had just transferred and wasn't clear on the situation, just sort of nodding in agreement. "Huh? I think so. I'm not too sure yet." Hearing Wei Xia's confirmation, the friendly girl's attitude did a complete 180. She vigorously wiped the hand that had just touched Wei Xia with a wet wipe, and then immediately threw it into the nearby trash can. She clicked her tongue and said, "Oh, is that so? Then we have nothing to talk about." Then the girl sneered, "A student from Class F, huh? We don't hang out with those underachievers, so we have nothing to say to you. Pretty face. Too bad she's in Class F. Did you guys get a good look? She reeks of poverty. So pitiful." After saying these insulting words, the girls laughed loudly and quickly left, leaving Wei Xia standing there alone, completely confused about the situation. A girl who was also getting water next to Wei Xia spoke up. "Wei Xia, don't mind those girls from Class A. They're always so full of themselves. You probably don't know me, do you? I'm the classmate who sits next to you. My name is..." Before the girl could finish, Wei Xia interrupted her. "You're Fang Emo, right? I know your name." Fang Emo was really surprised. She never expected someone like her to be noticed and remembered by Wei Xia. She felt very happy, but one thing still bothered Wei Xia. She didn't know why those girls knew she was from Class F. She had never seen them or spoken to them before. So how did they know? It was a complete mystery. So Wei Xia decided to ask Fang Emo, as she was the only one who could answer a question. "Fang Emo, why did those girls know which class I'm in?" "Because of the ribbon color," Fang Emo replied. "Class A students are red, and we Class F students are blue." "But what's the difference in color? I still don't get it." "Fang Emo, let me explain it to you simply. Class A students are mostly from wealthy families. They have excellent learning conditions, and they are all very smart and outstanding in every aspect. Class F is a bit of a mixed bag. You either have failing grades or come from a poor family, and then there are a few like you who transfer from elsewhere. The Class A students always act superior. They look down on us Class F students and don't want to talk to us. They're just forced to go to school with us. So if it's not necessary, just try to avoid them." Fang Emo and Wei Xia were walking together happily when someone approached from behind and hugged Wei Xia's arm tightly. It was Lu Xijia, who ran up, grabbed Wei Xia's hand, and chirped, "Wei Xia, where have you been? I've been looking all over for you to have lunch together. Hurry up, let's go eat, it's lunchtime." Wei Xia had no choice but to say goodbye to Fang Emo and go to lunch with Lu Xijia, because faced with Lu Xijia's bright smile, she couldn't refuse. Today's lunch looked quite sumptuous, all prepared by Lu Xijia's aunt. She said happily to Wei Xia, "Wei Xia, please enjoy your lunch. All the dishes today were made by my aunt. She's a great cook. If there's anything you like, just tell me, and I'll have her make it for you." Faced with such lovely enthusiasm, Wei Xia couldn't refuse and could only thank her repeatedly. Wei Xia suddenly handed Lu Xijia a glass of water and said, "This is sugar-free salted lemon soda, more to your taste. My cup is half sugar because I'm afraid of sourness." Wei Xia and Lu Xijia were happily enjoying their delicious lunch, not noticing that many people were staring at them from a distance. Everyone was whispering, "Why is Lu Xijia eating with a student from the underachiever class? This is so out of character." Suddenly, two people walked in through the door. The person in the back said loudly, "That Four Eyes is so cunning. He's cheated our young lady out of who knows how much money. I taught him a lesson a few times, and he still has the nerve to go around saying I beat him so badly he was hospitalized. What a treacherous bastard." Ban Shong, walking in front, said nothing, just made a stopping gesture and said, "All right, let's not talk about this anymore." As soon as Ban Shong entered, he immediately caught Lu Xijia's attention. She feigned surprise and said to Wei Xia, "He's here. Is he coming for lunch today?" Wei Xia asked in confusion, "You mean Ban Shong, the classmate sitting 2 seats behind you?" Before Wei Xia could react, Lu Xijia quickly picked up Wei Xia's cup and said, "Let's switch cups. Ban Shong likes sweet drinks. I'll take this cup to him and ask about being stood up that time." Without waiting for Wei Xia's consent, Lu Xijia walked off with a half-sugar water. Looking at Lu Xijia, Wei Xia really didn't understand what was so great about Ban Shong to make Lu Xijia so obsessed. Wei Xia also didn't know what to say to Lu Xijia. Even if she did, Lu Xijia wouldn't listen. So Wei Xia continued to eat her lunch. After a while, Lu Xijia returned, and from her expression, she was clearly very happy. Before even sitting down, Lu Xijia immediately started chattering to Wei Xia. Wei Xia, you know what? Even though Ban Shang already had a Coke on his table, he still accepted my salted lemon soda. I'm so happy. Wei Xiao was also a bit surprised. She tried to remain calm and asked Lu Sijia, really? Then how did he explain standing you up that night? About that night, he said it had an urgent matter, so he couldn't make it, and he already apologized to me for it. Although I'm still a little angry, since he accepted my drink, I'll forgive him for now. Wei Xia glanced over at Ban Shang and saw him sticking a straw into the cup of water Lu Sijia had just given him, looking very obnoxious. Wei Xia thought to herself, he's definitely plotting something. After finishing lunch, Wei Xia and her friend quickly returned to the classroom. As soon as she entered, Wei Xia heard a noisy discussion inside. She didn't know what was going on in the class today to make it so loud. It turned out that a group of girls were gathered together chatting, all very excited, some reapplying lipstick, others touching up their powder. Wei Xia found it very strange why they were all dressed up so unusually today. Fang Mo, next to her, chimed in, Ban Shang is back at school today. No wonder they're all so happy, putting on makeup together. Wei Xia glanced towards the back of the classroom. Ban Shang was indeed back today, but she didn't care at all, as she had already run into him in the school cafeteria. Wei Xia felt it was none of her business. Besides, she had a ton of other things to do, so it didn't matter. She quickly returned to her seat. Wei Xia might not have noticed, but Ban Shang definitely did. As soon as Wei Xia was back in her seat, Feng Mo leaned over to tell her why Ban Shang was so popular among the girls. This Ban Shang comes from a wealthy family, and he's a super top student. He always gets a perfect score in physics, plus he's really handsome, so all the girls in our class are crazy about him. See the shoes he's wearing? He likes wearing them, so not even the school rules can stop him. But the type of girlfriend he likes is probably a girl from Class A. Just as Wei Xia was absorbing the knowledge Feng Mo was imparting, Ban Shang suddenly stood in front of her. He tossed an assignment on her desk and said, "Turn this in. Maybe you could try someone else next time. You might have better luck." After saying this, he walked away coldly, leaving Wei Xia stunned and confused about what had just happened. Feng Mo was completely stunned. She blurted out, "Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen Ban Shang talk to a girl on his own initiative." And he even said, "Try someone else next time." What does that mean, Wei Xia? Before Wei Xia could answer, the school's broadcast system crackled to life, interrupting their conversation. All students assemble on the sports field immediately. The student council will be conducting a surprise class etiquette inspection. Wei Xia and Feng Mo quickly headed to the sports field. They headed there as instructed, but halfway there, Feng Mo noticed something was wrong. She looked at Wei Xia and said, "Wait, Wei Xia, where's your name tag?" Startled, Wei Xia checked and realized her name tag had fallen off at some point. With no other choice, she had to let Feng Mo go to the sports field first while she returned to the classroom alone to look for her name tag. Wei Xia felt a surge of panic, partly out of worry, because she couldn't remember where she might have lost it. Just as Wei Xia was frantically searching for her name tag, Ban Shang suddenly appeared before her again. He looked at Wei Xia and asked, "Hey, new girl, are you looking for your name tag? Is this it?" Wei Xia was overjoyed. She took her name tag and said, "Yes, it's mine. Thank you for finding it." Ban Shang's lips curled into a smirk, and then he leaned in close to Wei Xia's face and said, "I didn't pick it up for free, newbie. Remember to pay me back 12 yuan. Wei Xia was very confused. She didn't understand why Ban Shang would help her. She just stood there dumbfounded until Ban Shang had vanished without a trace. After finding her name tag, Wei Xia quickly ran to the assembly point. If she didn't hurry, she would be late. Fortunately, just as she arrived, the student council's inspection was about to begin. Feng Mo was happy to see Wei Xia return. She turned and asked her, "You found your name tag?" "Phew, thank goodness. I thought you weren't coming back." Suddenly, Feng Mo looked at Wei Xia and said in a panic, "Wei Xia, your hair is a problem. You have to tie it up." Before she could explain why, the student council president quickly approached her. Li Ran placed one hand on her hip and began to order, "Haven't you learned the school rules of Xingao? I'll give you 1 minute. Tie all your hair up now." Although Wei Xia had a reason she couldn't easily explain, she turned and answered Li Ran in a very gentle manner. "I'm sorry, because I'm a new student, there are some reasons that are inconvenient for me to say. But before enrolling, I already spoke with the teacher about this, so you can ask the teacher for more details." Although Wei Xia answered very politely, Li Ran didn't seem satisfied. She continued to nitpick and command, "Oh, so this is what students from Class F are like. They don't care about bad grades or anything at all. Even with the student council president standing right here, you're not the least bit afraid? Or are you so poor you can't even afford a single hair tie?" Do you need me to sponsor you one to tie up your hair? Nearby class, a students snickered with schadenfreude. One of them said loudly, so shameless. That's the leader of the class F students for you. Despite being talked about like this, Wei Xia calmly explained to Li Ran. I've already said it. I've reported this matter to the teacher. If you still don't believe me, you can go over there and ask for clarification. Li Ran couldn't take it anymore. She rushed in front of Wei Xia and yelled, I don't care. Since you're here, you must follow the rules. No matter what, you have to tie your hair up today. Just as Li Ran was at her most frantic, a hand reached out and stopped her. It was Lu Sijia. She stepped forward to stop Li Ran from harming Wei Xia. Sijia looked at Li Ran sternly and said, she said she's not feeling well. Li Ran, don't mix personal matters with official duties. Li Ran was quite surprised by this. She looked at Sijia seriously and replied, who is she to you that you're protecting her like this? Sijia thought for a moment, then responded, who is she to me? She's my friend. Hearing Sijia say this, Li Ran stormed off, muttering, just a Class F student, what's there to be proud of? Wei Xia was very happy at this moment. She hadn't expected Sijia to consider her a friend. Although Sijia was from Class A, she was completely different from them. Her personality was really lovely. A group of students nearby witnessed the whole thing, and one of them said loudly, Brother Hong has great taste. Lu Sijia has such a good figure and such a pretty face. It's really something to be proud of to have a girlfriend like that. I bet a lot of people will envy you. The person being praised here was Zheng Xiaohong, a well-known school bully. He chuckled and said, Trisk, that new girl looks pretty good. Perfect figure. And since she's a Class F student, she's probably easy to get. Look at those fair legs. If I could just get a slap, it would feel so good. Just as he was daydreaming, a voice suddenly came from behind. Xiaohong jumped, turned around, and saw it was Ban Shang. He looked at Xiaohong with a very serious gaze and said, I have something I want to talk to you about. Let's go to that corner and chat. It's unclear what the two of them talked about, but the next day, rumors were flying. A group of female students were gathered, excitedly chatting about something, making Ban Shang's friend, who was passing by, curious. Do you guys know what? I heard yesterday that Ban Shang and Xiaohong got into a fight. Really? What was the reason they fought? Do you know? I heard it was because Xiaohong insulted Lu Sijia, and that's why Ban Shang got angry. See, I told you those two had feelings for each other from the start. Ban Shang never paid attention to anyone before. It turns out he's had Lu Sijia in his heart all along. It's not surprising that a beauty likes a handsome guy. A female student replied, a few days ago, outside of school, even saw the two of them walking together. Hearing this, Ban Shang's friend couldn't listen anymore and immediately ran back to the classroom. He reported to Ban Shang, everyone outside is saying you fought with Xiaohong over Lu Sijia. Is it true or false? There was no need for Ban Shang to answer. A single look from him said it all. Ban Shang's friend immediately turned pale. He took a step back and said, okay, I'll shut up right now. I won't say anything. Suddenly, Ban Shang's friend saw the test paper on the desk and exclaimed, holy crap, you got a 98 on this physics test? My God, just 2 points away from a perfect score. Ban Shang, do you have some secret? Please, share it with me. Ban Shang didn't pay much attention to his friend at this point. He tossed him a carton of milk and said, stop talking and drink your milk. Sitting behind them, Wei Xia couldn't help but be surprised. This test was so difficult, yet he could still get such a high score. He must be super smart. I have to study hard too. I must get a high score like that. Ban Shang was pouring himself a drink when his friend next to him suddenly shouted, dude, Ban Shang, since when did you start liking salty lemonade? Isn't that stuff super salty? You never liked salty things before. Why the sudden change? Ban Shang replied with a meaningful, teasing smile. Lately, for some reason, I've just taken a liking to it. For some reason. Those words made Wei Xia's heart skip a beat, causing her to make a mistake in her notes and her cheeks to flush for no reason. Wei Xia took advantage of the break to chat with Sijia to ease the awkwardness. Honestly, you had to admit Sijia had a great personality. As Wei Xia and Sijia's conversation deepened, the girl revealed more of her secrets. Wei Xia said with a smile, you're getting more and more obsessed, aren't you? I heard he fought with Zheng Xiaohong yesterday, because of you. Hearing this, Sijia quickly stopped her. Hey, don't talk nonsense. Actually, I've liked Ban Shang for a long time, but I've never dared to confess. Ban Shang is different from other guys. He's obsessed with astrophysics. He once went to the Northwest Observatory by himself to stargaze, and stayed there for a full 2 months just to observe a single star in the sky. He's also a swimming enthusiast, and has been in many places to see all kinds of oceans. I really admire admire him, because I can't even read star coordinates, and I'd choke to death if I got in the water. There's such a huge gap between us. I'll never be able to catch up. Seeing her friend so sad, Wei Xia really didn't know what to do. She held Sijia's hand tightly and said, Sijia, I'm not very good at comforting people, but if it doesn't work out, don't force it too much. Suddenly, Sijia gripped Wei Xia's hand tightly and said, Xia, can you help me pursue Ban Shang? In the blink of an eye, 2 days passed. Feng Yemo and Wei Xia walked into the classroom together happily, chatting and laughing cheerfully. Feng Yemo said, thank goodness you found your name tag that day. And Sijia, stop those people. Otherwise, I really don't know what would have happened to you. Besides, if something had really happened, we Class F students wouldn't have been able to escape responsibility. Wei Xia was suddenly silent for a moment, then said, I didn't find the name tag. Ban Shang found it for me. Hearing this, Feng Mo exclaimed, oh right, Ban Shang sold it to you, didn't he? After all, he convinced our principal and inherited the business of designing the student uniforms and name tags. As soon as Feng Mo's voice fell, a sharp voice came from behind Wei Xia. It was one of Li Ran's friends. It was unclear what they wanted with the Class F students. Like Wei Xia, as soon as she arrived, the friend spoke arrogantly. This weekend is Li Ran's birthday. Her family is throwing a party, and you can come too. Without much thought, Wei Xia immediately replied, this weekend? I'm sorry, I have plans this weekend. I'm really sorry. Those students didn't care. They turned and said, I don't care. Anyway, we've informed you. It's up to you whether you go or not. Then they left, leaving Wei Xia standing there, dumbfounded. Feng Mo, who was beside her, said the Class A students have never liked the Class F students. It would be great if you could go. Besides, it's not good to be on such bad terms with Li Ran, because they have the student council behind them. Wei Xia replied, I really can't go. My family runs a fruit shop, and I have to help out on weekends. Oh, what were you saying just now? Ban Shang is in charge of designing our uniforms and name tags. So it was his idea to use colors to differentiate the classes? Did no one object? I'm not sure about that. Feng Mo scratched her head. It seems Class F initially raised an objection, but it was rejected by the Class A student council president because they said it was a Sheng Gao tradition. Feng Mo and Wei Xia's conversation quickly ended because the class bell rang. If they didn't hurry to class, they would definitely be late. Not long after class started, Sijia gestured to Wei Xia, signaling her to check her phone. Wei Xia did as she was told, and as soon as she opened her phone, she saw a flood of messages from Sijia. You got an invitation to Li Ran's birthday too, right? Someone must have mediated, making her come back to make peace with me, and then she invited me to her birthday party, so I agreed. The important thing is Ban Shang will be there too. Sijia's older brother and Ban Shang are good friends, so he'll definitely go. Can you go with me that day? You promised to help me a few days ago, remember? Although Wei Xia was really busy, she thought about it and decided to reply to Sijia. All right, I'll go with you that day. Just as she was focused on her phone, Ban Shang at the desk in front of her tossed a notebook onto it, then turned back around as if nothing had happened, leaving Wei Xia stunned for a few seconds. Wei Xia decided to open the notebook and found Ban Shang's WeChat contact information. He had noted that he didn't accept cash, so Wei Xia took out her phone and searched based on the information he left. Looking at his account, she wondered to herself, is his last name really Ban? Or is it just some English curse word? After a full day of classes, Wei Xia could finally rest at the end of the day. Based on the information Ban Shang had given her in the afternoon, she transferred the full 12 yuan to him. But strangely, why hadn't Ban Shang replied to her yet, even though she had already made the transfer in the afternoon? Wei Xia tossed and turned, unable to sleep, constantly wondering why Ban Shang hadn't replied to her message. Whatever, as long as I've transferred it. Wei Xia decided to turn off her phone and go to sleep. But about 2 seconds later, her phone buzzed with a message. Wei Xia immediately shot up this time, grabbing her phone to see the message. But it wasn't Ban Shang who had messaged her, it was Lu Sijia. Sijia was definitely super excited about this meeting. She sent a bunch of photos of clothes for Wei Xia to help her choose. Looking at the pile of clothes Sijia sent, Wei Xia was silent for a moment before replying, you should wear that black dress. Black looks amazing on you. Just as she replied to Sijia's message, a message from Ban Shang followed right after. This surprised Wei Xia a little. Ban Shang had sent her the address of Li Ran's house with a message. This is the exact address of the building. Don't get lost. Wei Xia turned off her phone and said, how is he so sure I'm going to that party that he'd send me the address? So nosy. Whatever, I don't care. sleeping is still the best. Soon, the day of Li Ran's birthday arrived. Wei Xia was really busy, but because she wanted to keep her promise to Sijia, she went anyway. As soon as she arrived at the bus stop, Wei Xia texted Sijia, "I'm at the foot of the mountain. I forgot to tell you, I'm really bad with directions. Can you come and get me?" But it seems Sijia didn't receive Wei Xia's message, as she didn't reply for a long time. Wei Xia was very anxious at this point, as this was her first time attending such a birthday party, and she couldn't find Li Ran's house on her own. Suddenly, Ban Shang drove over from a distance. Seeing Wei Xia standing there looking lost, he offered to help her. Ban Shang pulled over and asked Wei Xia if she wanted to get in the car with him. Although Wei Xia didn't really want to share a ride with Ban Shang, she agreed because she didn't want to be late. The two didn't say a word to each other the whole way. Suddenly, after a while, the driver spoke up, "Young master, this stretch of road might be a bit bumpy. Please hold on tight." The road was indeed extremely difficult, with sharp turns that caught them off guard. During one sharp turn, Wei Xia lost her balance and ended up falling towards Ban Shang. At this moment, the atmosphere in the car became unusually quiet, with only Ban Shang and Wei Xia looking into each other's eyes, accompanied by the sound of their pounding hearts. Because it was Li Ran's birthday, Wei Xia had brought a pot of cactus as a gift. Unfortunately, this contact caused the cactus to prick Ban Shang's hand. Seeing that the cactus she brought had unintentionally pricked the hand of the person who had helped her, Wei Xia felt genuinely sorry. She quickly took out a Band-Aid and handed it to Ban Shang for him to bandage his wound. Just as Ban Shang was bandaging his wound, Wei Xia spoke up, "By the way, weren't you already there before? I saw your name in the group chat. You were there." Ban Shang replied calmly, "I had something to take care of, so I had to step out. Li Ran's brother asked me to go out and buy some things. Also, to see if anyone got lost." Soon, they arrived at Li Ran's house. Instead of going in right away, Ban Shang went to the back of the car to do something. Ban Shang took a cardboard box from the trunk and said, "Uncle Chun, your back isn't good. I'll carry this." Although Uncle Chun was reluctant, he couldn't refuse the enthusiasm of the two young people. Ban Shang handed Wei Xia a string of balloons and said, "Hold these and wait for me here. You don't need to carry anything. By the way, is this pot of cactus a birthday gift for Li Ran?" Wei Xia suddenly looked at the cactus in her hand and replied, "Yeah." In truth, Wei Xia didn't have anything valuable to give Li Ran. She only had this cactus that she had been raising for a long time, which was something relatively precious to her, so she brought it as a gift. But why did Ban Shang ask her that? Did Ban Shang think this cactus wasn't valuable enough to give to Li Ran? Ban Shang suddenly moved closer to Wei Xia and said, "Since this cactus touched my hand, I'll take it. You take this gift instead." Li Ran told me before that she likes celebrity autographs. Wei Xia was naturally annoyed. She looked at Ban Shang with a displeased expression and said, "I think my gift is fine. If you want to give him a gift, you don't have to go through me. Li Ran is allergic to cacti. Don't give her this." Hearing Ban Shang say this, Wei Xia was a little touched. It turned out she had misunderstood him. She thought he was looking down on her gift. After a moment of thought, Ban Shang turned back to Wei Xia and said, "Hurry up, come to the party with me. We're going to be late." Only then did Wei Xia snap back to reality and hurriedly follow him. As soon as Ban Shang entered the party hall, Wei Xia ran into Lu Sijia. Today, Lu Sijia was wearing the dress Wei Xia had picked out for her. That day, Lu Sijia walked up, took Wei Xia's hand, and said, "I'm so sorry. I just saw your message. I should have come to get you first. By the way, thank you, Ban Shang, for helping me pick up Wei Xia." After chatting for a while, Wei Xia also went over to Li Ran. After all, she had to wish the main character a happy birthday first. Seeing Wei Xia's gift, Li Ran sneered, "If it weren't for Lu Sijia's sake, I wouldn't have invited you. What kind of trashy gift can a bad student give?" But upon opening the gift, Li Ran was truly stunned. Inside was the autograph of the person she admired most. Her jaw dropped in shock. How could Wei Xia know she wanted this person's autograph? The people around couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. How could a bad student get this celebrity's autograph? She must have some incredible connections. From then on, they looked at Wei Xia differently. Ban Shang just stood in a corner, smiling. Looking at the Band-Aid Wei Xia had given him, he couldn't help but chuckle. He thought to himself, "These people are so complicated. Besides having to be wary of them, I also have to deal with them." But it's different with her. She's still the same innocent and carefree person I've always known. The party soon began, and the atmosphere was extremely lively. A group of male students gathered upstairs, talking amongst themselves. Suddenly, one of them spoke up. "That girl sitting on the sofa over there is pretty good. I wonder what her name is. She's sitting there all alone, and even the party host is ignoring her. What's she even doing here?" Ban Shang was also in that group of male students. He immediately spoke up and reprimanded them. "Are you guys trying to get yourselves into trouble?" The group of male students was immediately intimidated. From Ban Shang's attitude and tone, it was clear he wasn't joking. No matter who that female student was, it was better to surrender for safety's sake. After all, Ban Shang was not someone who could be easily provoked. Lu Xijia was hiding not far away. After witnessing the whole thing, she felt a little dejected. She had originally wanted to bring Ban Shang some orange juice, but after hearing the story, she felt that Ban Shang had some feelings for Wei Xia. Lu Xijia also brought a bottle of orange juice for Wei Xia. After hearing about Ban Shang, Lu Xijia was silent for a moment, then spoke. "Up, Wei Xia. I'm planning to send Ban Shang fresh milk every day, starting tomorrow." Wei Xia replied, "That's great. The brand of milk he usually drinks is Shining. It's a sweet milk." Lu Xijia was very surprised at this moment. How could Wei Xia know Ban Shang so well? Was there something going on between them? Wei Xia smiled and replied, "It's simple for me to know this. You just have to pay a little attention and you'll know. Everyone in school knows Ban Shang likes to drink milk in the morning, and I sit right next to him. So how could I not know?" Lu Xijia had a sudden realization and replied with a smile, "Oh, right. Why didn't I think of that?" Suddenly, there was a commotion. Wei Xia looked outside and immediately saw a very unfair scene. A group of male students were surrounding a female student and harassing her, which was just too much. The leader of the group was none other than Zhang Xiaohong. With a sleazy look on his face, he approached the poor girl and said, "What are you doing hiding here? These cookies look delicious. Why don't you share them?" The girl was scared out of her wits and didn't know what to do. Before she could even answer, one of Zhang Xiaohong's lackeys got physical, kicking her hard from behind and yelling, "Brother Jiang is talking to you. Are you deaf?" They didn't just bully her. They pushed her straight to the ground and then started bad-mouthing her, ignoring her pitiful cries. Watching this, Wei Xia grew angrier and angrier. She couldn't hold back any longer and decided to step in and fight the group. But suddenly, an arm blocked her way. It was Ban Shang. He looked at Wei Xia and said, "Wait, before you rush out, let's see what's really going on." The group was completely oblivious. Even though the girl was sobbing uncontrollably, they didn't seem to care at all, especially the leader, Zhang Xiaohong. He picked up one of the cookies the girl had brought, took a bite, and immediately started complaining. "Tui, this crap tastes disgusting. You actually dared to bring this garbage to a party? You got some nerve." Wei Xia saw all of this. Holding the cookie, Zhang Xiaohong continued his verbal abuse. "What are these cookies even made of? Did you get any snot in them while you were making them?" As he spoke, he pointed at the girl's head and then, with his usual cruelty, burst into loud laughter. Wei Xia couldn't watch anymore. Seeing the girl being bullied like this was too much. Ignoring Ban Shang's warning, she had to rush out and save her, even if it meant risking her own life. Wei Xia looked at Ban Shang and said, "Why are you stopping me? How is standing by and doing nothing any different from being one of those bullies?" Ban Shang was at a loss. He didn't know how to explain it to Wei Xia. Suddenly, he remembered something and blurted out, "Oh, right, that cactus pricked me earlier. There's a thorn stuck in my hand that I can't get out." Although Wei Xia desperately wanted to go save the girl, she still felt a sense of responsibility towards Ban Shang. She had no choice but to hold back for the moment and help Ban Shang remove the thorn from his hand. Just as Wei Xia was focused on pulling out the thorn, he leaned in close to her and whispered, "You can't go out there now. That group will definitely think you're being nosy. It's better for you to stay here. Someone will surely come and handle this." Just as Ban Shang had said, it wasn't long before the host of the party arrived. Lin Ran immediately intervened, resolved the situation, and helped the girl out of her predicament. She quickly led the group of boys downstairs, saying it was too hot upstairs and it might be cooler downstairs for them to rest. After getting rid of the group, Lin Ran accidentally left the poor girl alone. As Wei Xia was lost in thought about the girl, Ban Shang pulled her back to reality, wanting her to focus on him. Wei Xia was a bit dazed because she had already removed the thorn, but her friend was talking as if she hadn't. Ban Shang looked at his finger and said she hadn't put a bandage on it yet, so she had no choice but to finish the job before leaving. As she was about to leave, Ban Shang spoke again. He said, "You were right. I'm no different from the others. So you'll have to get used to me coming to find you anytime." It seemed this guy was ready to make his move. Hearing these domineering words, Wei Xia naturally felt angry. The girl didn't know what to do. Having been so humiliated, she could only sit there quietly and cry. After witnessing everything, Wei Xia had a different opinion of Lin Ran. Although she was a bit of a party girl, she had to admit one thing. She always took responsibility for what happened around her and handled it very skillfully. After everyone had left, Wei Xia immediately went over to the crying girl, who looked so pitiful. Wei Xia said, "It's okay. They're gone now. Let me take you away from here." After a while, Wei Xia and the poor girl, Liu Rong's classmate, were soon ready to go home. Before the two of them could leave, Lin Ran suddenly rushed after them in a panic, saying, "Hey, wait for me. I have something to say. First of all, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect that group to be so awful. I invited you to the party, and for you to encounter something like this, I feel really bad." Then Lin Ran took out a gift bag, saying, "I prepared a small gift for you. I hope you won't be mad at me afterward." To ensure her two friends' safety, Lin Ran even had her family's driver take them home. She was truly super considerate. At this moment, Wei Xia was truly impressed by Lin Ran. If her earlier intervention was because she was the party host and it was her duty to resolve things, that would be understandable. But now, for her to chase after a younger student to apologize, it really had to be said that she was a genuinely kind and a very good person. Having a car was indeed much faster. In less than an hour, they arrived at the poor classmate's home. Her classmate's house was in a small alley where the car couldn't enter, so they had to stop outside and walk in. Just as the car stopped outside the alley, a very loud conversation could be heard from inside. "What did you say? 3 years of tuition used up all the family's money? Are you kidding me?" Another man replied with a laugh, "I'm telling the truth. Why would I joke? It's a bit expensive, but it's worth it. This will give her more opportunities to get close to rich people and meet more social elites." Before the classmate got out of the car, Wei Xia repeatedly reminded her to take good care of her injuries, as they could easily turn into scars if not treated properly. But the classmate didn't seem to pay much attention to Wei Xia's words, just giving a quick, perfunctory nod. Even when Wei Xia thought the path was a bit too dark and offered to walk with her, the classmate still refused directly, taking small, tentative steps into the alley. Wei Xia didn't know why the classmate was acting this way. Was it because she was a junior, and that's why she was being distant? Wei Xia made up her mind that if she ever returned to the capital, she would absolutely not let this kind of thing happen again. She had to change it. After returning home that night, Wei Xia immediately changed her clothes and got ready for bed, as the day had been too exhausting for her. But not long after she fell asleep, Wei Xia immediately had a nightmare. Wei Xia dreamed that her classmate was being bullied again. At her most vulnerable moment, a boy stood up to protect her, but perhaps his strength wasn't enough, and in the end, he suffered the same fate as her, being brutally beaten. The nightmare was so terrifying that it jolted her awake. She sighed and muttered to herself, "I dreamed about that again." The next morning, Wei Xia woke up early and carefully prepared everything for school. This morning was a little different. Her aunt, Aunt Lin, came in her room and gave her something special. Wei Xia's aunt brought her a packet of iced tea to take to class to cool off from the heat. At first, Wei Xia strongly refused because it was too bitter, but in the end, she couldn't win against her aunt, so she reluctantly accepted it. When she got to class, she met Lu Sijia, who quickly took a sip of the iced tea Wei Xia had brought, but ultimately gave up on it because it was just too bitter. But that wasn't the most important thing today, because Sijia had come to see Wei Xia for another reason. Sijia asked Wei Xia, "Hey, have you signed up for a club yet?" Wei Xia already had an answer, as she loved playing the violin and planned to join that club. But Sijia didn't seem to pay much attention to Wei Xia's wishes and continued happily. "If you don't have a club yet, sign up for the basketball club with me. Ban Shang is in that club too, and you promised to help me pursue him, remember?" Although Wei Xia didn't really like basketball and preferred the music club, she had to give up on the idea of joining it because she had promised Sijia. As promised yesterday, Sijia brought milk for Ban Shang today. When Ban Shang arrived, he was very surprised and wondered who had brought him milk, and his favorite brand at that. Ban Shang's friend quickly said, "It must be from a female classmate who has a crush on you, Brother Ban. You're so lucky." Hearing his friend's words, Ban Shang then turned to look at Wei Xia's expression and suddenly felt a bit awkward. He didn't want Wei Xia to misunderstand him. Suddenly, Ban Shang picked up the milk carton on his desk and said, "You like this stuff so much. If you like it, it's yours." Sitting behind him, Wei Xiao witnessed the whole thing, but didn't pay it much mind. Her main concern now was that her previous words seemed to have made Ban Shang angry. But now that she was at the basketball club, she didn't know what to do. Then she clicked her tongue and said, "Whatever, I can just hide from him here. But it's fine if I don't go either." The next day came quickly, and Wei Xia and Lu Sijia went to the basketball club as planned, but strangely, they waited for a long time and still didn't see Ban Shang. Sijia couldn't wait any longer and said, "Ning Chao, do you know why Ban Shang didn't come to the basketball club today?" Ning Chao replied with a smile, "Why?" "Because he heard you were joining today, so he didn't come." A friend next to him spoke up after hearing Ning Chao's words. "Hey, stop teasing her." Then he turned to Sijia and explained Ban Shang rarely participates in these kinds of club activities. He doesn't even attend the group meetings. Sijia was very disappointed to hear this. She had specifically signed up for the basketball club to see Ban Shang, but now hearing that he rarely or never attended was a huge blow to Sijia. But it was okay. Lu Sijia still had another lifeline, and that was Wei Xia. She immediately turned to Wei Xia for help. "Wei Xia, can you help me give this to Ban Shang?" Actually, Wei Xia really wanted to help Lu Sijia, but the problem was that she and Ban Shang weren't that close. She was just afraid that if they kept getting close like this, there would definitely be some bad rumors. But Lu Sijia was still very optimistic. She told Wei Xia, "It's fine, you're his classmate and you sit near him. You can hand it to him when you're collecting homework." Wei Xia thought to herself, why don't you give it to him yourself? Lu Sijia shyly turned her face away and replied, "Because I'm afraid he'll reject me. I've already written this letter. It's an invitation for him to hang out. The day after tomorrow, help me give it to him. After I confess, I'll definitely tell you that I'm the one who gives him milk every day." Seeing Lu Sijia's teary-eyed, kitten-like tone, Wei Xia couldn't refuse and finally agreed to help Lu Sijia deliver the date invitation letter to Ban Shang. Wei Xia took the letter and returned to the classroom. Needless to say, she was trembling as if she were the owner of the letter herself. Although she was scared to death, Wei Xia calmly reassured herself, "It's okay. I just have to put this letter in Ban Shang's notebook, and the mission will be complete." But things weren't that simple. Just as Wei Xia was putting the letter into Ban Shang's notebook, a gust of wind blew Lu Sijia's letter away. Wei Xia panicked. She immediately chased after the letter to pick it up, but it was so annoying. She ran and ran, but just couldn't catch up to it. Suddenly, the letter was picked up by someone. Unfortunately, the person standing in front of her was none other than Ban Shang. Holding the letter in his hand and seeing Wei Xia's panicked expression, Ban Shang said calmly, "Is this letter for me? Let me see what you want to say to me." As soon as the words were out, Ban Shang opened the letter and read it. "Oh, you're inviting me to hang out the day after tomorrow. All right, I'm not busy the day after tomorrow. I'll definitely be at this meeting spot." That afternoon, Wei Xia was extremely anxious, planning to explain to Ban Shang that the letter wasn't from her, but from Lu Sijia. But right after that, Ban Shang's classmates, who had been outside the classroom just a moment ago, now all flooded into the room. Wei Xia immediately vanished without a trace and left right away. She left because she didn't want to be misunderstood. She already had too many rumors about her, and if she were caught with Ban Shang like this again, there would surely be bad gossip. As she left, she thought, well, it doesn't matter who sent the letter. What's important now is that he gets to the right place on the day of the date. The day of the date arrived quickly. This was probably the day Wei Xia felt the most afraid. She stood on the side of the road, watching Ban Shang wait for her at the designated spot across the street. But there was nothing she could do. A few minutes later, Lu Sijia ran up from a distance and linked her arm with Ban Shang's, looking extremely happy. Ban Shang was also extremely surprised, because he thought the person who was supposed to be there was Wei Xia, not Lu Sijia. The appointed day arrived quickly, and this was probably the day Wei Xia had been most looking forward to. With a worried expression, Ban Shang had already agreed, and this time he certainly wouldn't go back on his word. But why did she have this uneasy feeling in her heart? She stood on the side of the road, saw Ban Shang standing opposite her, and in an instant, Sijia ran up from a distance, linking her arm with his, looking extremely happy. At this moment, there was nothing she could do but watch them. Ban Shang was also extremely surprised, because he thought the person who was supposed to be there was Wei Xia, not Sijia. She was stunned, standing there motionless. Then he looked across the street, and his eyes met hers. Noticing her, Si Jiao waved and shouted loudly. Wei Xiao panicked. She immediately avoided Ban Shang's gaze, turned around, and quickly walked away, feeling as if she had done something wrong and was afraid of being caught. He still maintained his indifferent expression, thinking it was strange. Didn't you hear me, Lin Wei Xia? As she walked, she pondered, comforting herself. It was Ban Shang who misunderstood. She clutched the backpack on her shoulder tightly, very nervous. She was just helping deliver a letter, that's all. Without thinking much more, Wei Xia calmly walked away. Si Jia then sent Wei Xia a text message. Haha, Ban Shang asked me out this weekend. I can't treat you to ice cream, but I'll definitely make it up to you another day. Reading the message, shared by her friend, she felt happy too. The two were about to step into a luxury car. Si Jia was laughing and talking, while he, beside her, maintained a cold expression. He was truly single by his own merit, damn it. Wei Xia was genuinely happy and naturally didn't care about being thanked. She tapped on her phone and replied, okay, have fun. After a full day of studying, night fell quickly. She also returned to her room to rest. The clicking of the mouse echoed as she did some work on her computer. The data for the YCH website was a bit bleak. The complaints section and comments section were still at 0. She then opened a dialog box to investigate. The complaints section, the comments section, could it be because it hadn't been established for long? Just as she was relaxing, her phone suddenly received a lot of messages. It was none other than Fengma. Wei Xia, have you seen the school forum? Something's happened. And attached was a very strange link. Curious, she clicked on the link Fengma sent. It turned out to be a photo posted by Si Jia with thousands of comments. For a level scenic spot, Si Jia went to Ban Shang's house. Awesome, Lu Si Jia. I remember Ban Shang never lets anyone into his swimming pool. They're about to start dating. No one is a better match than these two. This is Ban Shang's house. My house is right next door. Wei Xia zoomed in on the photo. It was indeed Ban Shang. Oh, that muscular physique was so blurry, it made all the girls drop their jaws. At the same time, Fengma was still chatting with Wei Xia, looking very excited. Listen, Ban Shang is so handsome, we finally got to see him swim. I thought he would never swim again after that incident. Ban Shang, swimming pool. Suddenly, some old events surfaced in Wei Xia's memory. This incident also happened at a swimming pool. A red-haired young man was coughing violently with his head down. Cough, cough. The leader walked over, grabbed his collar, and said, Hey Liang, get up. Don't you love showing off? Why are you acting like a woman? Aren't you going to fight back? Wei Xia suddenly snapped out of it, pushing all the old memories from her mind. She composed a message and continued to ask Fengma, What incident are you talking about? The other person was silent for a moment before replying. It's nothing. I probably remembered it wrong. The next day, they returned to school. And as soon as they met, Si Jiao pleaded, I was wrong. Wei Xia, I'm really sorry. This weekend, Anyway, to show my apology, I have a gift I want to give you. After speaking, Lu Sijia took out the gift she had prepared. This bag is super popular recently, and I think the style suits you. No, this bag is too valuable. I can't accept it. I specifically bought the same one for my bestie, so we can each have one. If you don't wear it with me, it'll be such a waste for me to wear it alone. Faced with her best friend's wheedling, she couldn't bear to refuse. All right, thank you for the gift. I'll use it well. She glanced at Wei Xia, who was sitting seriously beside her. And Si Jia couldn't hide her excitement, whispering in Wei Xia's ear, Actually, I went to Ban Shang's house this weekend, and we got a little closer. Hearing this, Wei Xia was also happy for her friend. That's great progress. It seems Cupid's arrow has struck you too. Okay, stop laughing at me. Taking this opportunity, the two girls started to play around. Si Jia made a funny face, and her mischievous hand started to roam, tickling Wei Xia. Stop it, Lu Si Jia. I'm ticklish. Tickle you. I'm just gonna tease you. Make you laugh. All right, I surrender. She raised her hands in defeat. Just as Wei Xia was backing away to escape her best friend's playful antics, she accidentally bumped into someone moving behind her. She was startled, her body trembling with alarm. When she turned around, she realized the person she had bumped into was Ban Shang. Moreover, because Wei Xia was holding an uncapped fountain pen, the ink from the pen splattered onto Ban Shang's shirt. Her face turned pale, and a cold sweat broke out. Of all people, why did it have to be him? She stammered an apology. Si Jia, seeing that the situation seemed bad, stepped forward to mediate. Good morning, Ban Shang. Wei Xia didn't do it on purpose. Please don't blame her. She secretly glanced at his expression. Ban Shang didn't seem angry at all. He looked directly at Lu Si Jia and said, come outside with me for a moment. The two stood outside in the hallway, looking like a picture-perfect couple. This attracted the attention of the gossip-loving busybodies in the classroom. Fama whispered, Weixia, what's going on? Quick, look outside in the hallway. Lu Xijia and Ban Shang are still talking. The two of them look like they're filming an idol drama, so pleasing to the eye. It wasn't clear what they were talking about, but they looked very happy, and the more one looked, the more they seemed like a match made in heaven. She secretly wished them well. She put on her headphones and smiled brightly, her figure gradually becoming lonely. Feeling a bit down, yeah, they really are pleasing to the eye. After their talk, the two quickly walked into the classroom. Xijia was immediately teased by other male classmates. Wow, the little lovebirds are finally back. You two skipped the whole class. How did your sweet talk go? Hearing these words, she immediately blushed. Damn it, don't talk nonsense. Looking at Ban Shang's back, Weixia thought, the rumors about them have been rampant these past few days, and Ban Shang never seems to clarify them. Is it because he doesn't care what others think, or is it? Then she said to herself, looking extremely dejected, why am I even thinking about this? It's none of my business. Suddenly, a male classmate turned around and said to Ban Shang, Yo, Brother Ban, what happened to your uniform? Who was so bold as to draw a heart on you? Just then, he noticed a heart shape. She sat silently behind him. Did that happen when she bumped into him just now? Ban Shang held up his shirt, smiled, and said, maybe some stray cat accidentally scratched my shirt. Hearing this, Weixia was furious but didn't dare to say anything. This is the end of my video. If you liked it, please give me a like so I'll have a motivation to keep updating. While Weixia was lost in thought, Ning Chao appeared out of nowhere, snatched her headphones, and said, What are you listening to so intently? Let me have a listen. She was completely stunned, but unlike Weixia's days, Ning Chao grinned and said, It's just noise. Are you wearing earplugs? But these aren't noise canceling. She finally reacted and got up to snatch the headphones back. Ning Chao, give them back to me. But he refused. You're not even playing any music. What are you so worked up about? The sound of Weixia and Ning Chao's laughter and banter behind him greatly annoyed Ban Shang, who was sitting in front. But he couldn't do anything about it and could only purse his lips and think. So annoying, it's too loud. The scene changes. Outside, the sun was scorching. Weixia and Lu Xijia had just finished their outdoor gym class. After class, Xijia complained, waving her hand, having gym class in this weather makes no sense. It's so hot and tiring. Seeing her friends so downcast, she said considerately, Hey Xijia, wait here for a bit. I'll go buy some iced 7-Up. Weixia, you're the best. Weixia immediately ran off. Boss, 2 bottles of 7-Up, thanks. You got it. Then she happily took them back to her friend. Xijia, I'm back. Ban Shang, why do you like preserved plums so much? But when she returned with the drinks, she witnessed an incredibly awkward scene. Why is he here again? Her infatuated friend had a face full of smiles. Is it good? Xijia continued happily. Hey, want to go buy some together? Of course, he agreed immediately. There was no reason to refuse, sure. Weixia stood rooted to the spot, feeling completely left out, dazed for a moment. Xijia turned back to see her and said, a little embarrassed, I'm sorry, Weixia. Ban Shang came to see me. After speaking, the two walked away, linking arms intimately. Seeing Ban Shang's recent actions, Weixia felt that something was off. Is he getting revenge? He knows that Lu Xijia and I usually eat together, so he'll ask Xijia out first, so that I'll end up eating alone. At first, it might have been a coincidence, but after so many times, it's obvious he's doing it on purpose. Suddenly, while she was spacing out, Ning Chao jumped in front of her. Yo, classmate, why are you spacing out here all alone? It's nothing. Every time I see you, you're wearing pink. You like it that much. You noticed? Pink is your classmate's lucky color. It's super effective when I wear it. The boy happily snatched the drink from her hand. Just finished playing ball. I'm dying of thirst. Thanks. Hey, why are you like this again? How old are you? Are you a kid? Lu Xijia already left with Ban Shang. It'd be a waste to give it to her, so you might as well give it to me. Ning Chao took a sip and smacked his lips. Tastes good. Don't worry, I'll treat you to a drink tomorrow. Meanwhile, Ban Shang, who was buying preserved plums with Xijia, had his mood completely ruined by the laughter and banter behind him. Ning Chao, it's him again. He turned his head and cursed inwardly with a look of annoyance. Lin Weixia, why can you talk normally joke around, and be loud with others. But with me, you have to be so distant. At this moment, Ban Shang seemed to lose interest, turned around, and walked away, leaving Si Jiao with a confused look. Hey, Ban Shang, what's wrong? She was super confused. He said coldly without turning back, I'm not feeling well. I'm leaving first. Si Jiao was breaking down inside. I ditch Wei Xiao to buy candy with him, and he just up and leaves. What am I to him in his eyes? A week passed. Wei Xiao was on edge, and Lu Sijia didn't come to school today either. Seeing her restlessness, Feng Emo leaned over and whispered, Wei Xia, are you worried about Lu Sijia? I heard Ban Shang stood her up last weekend. Dumped by Ban Shang? She was shocked. Dumped by Ban Shang? In Feng Mo's memory, just a few days ago, those two were so happy. Yeah. I also heard that Ban Shang actually likes someone, an upperclassman. Sigh, for someone as proud as Lu Sijia. Taking a day off must be because she's afraid of being laughed at school. The more she heard, the more flustered she became. Wei Xia quickly sent a text message. Sijia, why didn't you come to school today? Are you not feeling well? Sijia, are you okay? Please reply when you see this. Sijia, if you want to talk to someone, I'm always here. Looking at the chat box with no reply, she panicked. Sijia. Wei Xia quickly made several calls, but all she heard from the receiver was beep, beep. The number you have dialed is busy. The call was hung up. At least she didn't turn off her phone this time. She probably won't do anything foolish. But with Sijia's personality, being played by Ban Shang like this must be a huge blow to her, and she hasn't seen my messages yet. No. I have to go find Ban Shang and ask him clearly. Dusk at the basketball court. Standing far away, she heard the sound of a basketball bouncing on the ground. The lines of his strong arms were moving. All right, Ashing, how about I teach you a few moves? Give me a break with your lousy skills. His long legs crossed back and forth rapidly. Ban Shang quickly snatched the ball and continued arrogantly. You want to teach me? He stretched, jumped, and shot the ball into the hoop. His form was incredibly cool that you're not qualified yet. Ban Shang landed on both feet, maintaining perfect balance. The surrounding crowd cheered in unison. Great shot. Wei Xia spoke from a distance. Ban Shang, I need to talk to you about something. He turned his head. He wore a headband on his forehead, making his eyes look even deeper and sharper. Sweat trickled down his chin to his collarbone. His gaze swept over her, and then he answered, I'm busy right now. Wei Xia's breathing became rapid, and she emphasized, 5 minutes. I only need 5 minutes. Come on, Ashing, give her a chance. She's the prettiest of all the girls who've come looking for you. We'll leave first. You two take your time. Only the two of them were left on the court. After a moment of silence, Ban Shang turned to look at her. Suddenly, he threw the ball in his hands towards Wei Xia. Make this shot, and I'll give you 5 minutes. After a moment's thought, she nodded. Okay, it's a deal. Wei Xia bounced the ball and started dribbling. How long have you been in the basketball club? You can't even dribble, and you dare to accept a challenge. If I didn't accept, would you have the patience to listen to me? After being mocked, she started to shoot with all her might. Ban Shang didn't even need to jump. Using his height advantage of being a head taller, he easily blocked the ball with a stretch of his arm. Lin Wei Xia, you can't beat me. Stop wasting time. I can't beat him head on. If I use a fake move, I might have a chance. She changed her strategy, faked a shot, made a feint in front of Ban Shang, and took the opportunity to shoot the ball towards another direction. Now, he blocked my shot again. Did he see through it? Ban Shang said calmly, not bad. Again. 20 minutes later, Wei Xia's legs were trembling and she was sweating profusely. Want to keep going? I can't beat Ban Shang with any basketball skills. To win, I can only... She picked up the ball again without hesitation. Screw it. Wei Xia stopped thinking. She charged straight at him. Just then, Ban Shang lowered his head and she crashed into his arms. An incredibly awkward situation, so close. The scent of her hair, like some kind of fruit. Wei Xia said innocently with wide eyes, so you have a mole under your eye. Ban Shang was stunned for a moment. Now, taking the chance, as she brushed past him, she snatched the ball and threw it with all her might. The ball rested on the rim, slowly spinning a few times. It finally fell in. She breathed a sigh of relief. I won. Ban Shang's eyes widened in surprise. The exhausted Wei Xia immediately reverted to her innocent look. He looked closely at the girl in front of him, smiled faintly, and thought, I was too careless. Extra, top student moment. Dear fans, a little announcement. Today we're bringing you a chibi mini theater and wishing all test takers good results on their high school entrance exams. Now, please enjoy the short extra. Feng Mo secretly observed Wei Xia. What are you reading so intently? The knowledgeable girl proudly declared, I'm reading a detective novel by Agatha Christie. The girl was surprised, thinking, I thought top students spent all their free time doing practice problems. An object with a mass of 3m is released from rest at a height above a horizontal plane. On a curved track, there's also Little Women. You can take notes while you read it. Unable to refuse, Feng Mo accepted happily. Okay, I'll try. While she was focused on her area of expertise, a hand reached out from nowhere and pulled Wei Xia away. But it's time. You said you'd help me with my Chinese class. My book. It's okay. I'll get it back for you later. This concludes this installment of the Top Students Book Recommendations. If you have any books you'd like to recommend, please leave a comment below. Returning to the main plot. The faucet was turned on quickly, making a whoosh sound. That day, I delivered the letter I originally wanted to explain, but suddenly a lot of people entered the classroom, so I didn't get the chance. She lowered her head in regret. I made you misunderstand. I'm sorry. But as Sijia's friend, I don't want to see her get hurt, so I'd like to trouble you to go and explain things clearly to her. Ban Shang propped himself up from behind. If I go find her. He leaned in closer and said, What's in it for me? Wei Xia was surprised, pursed her lips, turned to leave, and left behind only one sentence. Figure out yourself. Hearing this, Ban Shang couldn't help but let out a small smile. Finally, she could get some rest. Wei Xia checked her phone beside her. Her phone was buzzing nonstop. Sijia, if you want to talk to someone, I'm always here. I'm sorry, Wei Xia, for making you worry. The weather turned cold these past few days, and I caught a bad cold. Plus, with Ban Shang standing me up, I was in a bad mood, so I didn't go to school or reply to your messages. Also, I didn't actually go to his house that day. I just happened to be passing by and secretly took a picture of him swimming to post on Weibo. Besides some vanity, I also wanted to use the buzz and rumors to declare my claim on him. But the ridiculous thing is, he doesn't care at all what I do. Wei Xia typed an encouraging message. MHM, Sijia, no one is more important than yourself. You don't need him. Before she could send it, Sijia sent a long message. He gives me the cold shoulder and even finds ways to reject me. I've never been so wrong about someone in my life. But he texted me this afternoon and apologized, telling me not to overthink it. But Wei Xia, I won't give up. I like him, and I must have him no matter what it takes. Wei Xia stared blankly at the last sentence, thinking seriously. If some people could be reincarnated, they'd definitely come back as a love-struck fool. Okay, when are you coming back to school? Tomorrow. The next morning, in the classroom, a group of girls surrounded Lu Sijia, chattering and laughing nonstop. It was very lively. Sijia, why didn't you tell us you were sick? We were worried sick. Wei Xiao watched from a distance, a little surprised. You can't even imagine the ridiculous rumors that were going around while you were away. She stopped spinning the pen in her hand. Oh, really? I didn't hear much anyway. Thanks for your concern, everyone. I'll treat everyone to dinner this weekend. You guys pick the place. Ning Chao walked over and sneered. Aren't these the same people who were bad-mouthing Miss Lu behind her back just a few days ago? Now they're sucking up to her again. So hypocritical. It's disgusting. The young man glanced over and noticed that Wei Xia didn't look well and had dark circles under her eyes. He asked, Deskmate, what were you doing last night? Making soup. Noticing the thermos in her hand, Ning Chao sniffed. Smells good. Give me a sip. In your dreams. This is for Sijia. She's still recovering. Miss Lu is so picky, it's a waste to give it to her. Just give it to me. I promise I won't leave a drop. Little Sijia smiled brightly. It's so good. I drank it all. Xia, your cooking is amazing. Even my mom can't compare. Is this special treatment only for people who are sick? I can make it for you anytime you want. It's so great to have a friend like you. Let's go. It's time for the morning exercises. You go ahead. I need to use this time to send this file. The rhythm of the exercises could be heard from outside. Body forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. For familiar voices echoed in the room. Full of mockery. Hey, don't you guys think that new transfer student is quite the social climber? It's Lin Wei Xia. She even made soup for Lu Sijia. And she acts so innocent in front of the boys, constantly putting on an act. Does she really think she's a goddess? Look, what era is this? She's still using a thermos. So old-fashioned. I don't like her either. Did you see the bag Sijia gave her? She probably pitted her and gave it to her, afraid she'd be laughed at for carrying that ugly old backpack. Click. Wei Xia grabbed the doorknob and opened the door. The three girls inside were startled and fell silent. Then they quickly looked away. Let's go. time for morning exercises. Wei Xia thought calmly. As long as Xijia can come to class normally again, I don't care what others say. She suddenly remembered something and took out her phone. It's time to fulfill my promise to him. She quickly typed a message and sent it to Ban Shang. What do you want in return? This is the end of my video. I hope everyone enjoys watching it after their exams. About 2 days later, the results came out. The homeroom teacher began. Alright students, the rankings for this midterm exam have changed a lot. Everyone needs to hurry up and work on the areas where you didn't do well. The teacher leaned heavily on the lectern with both hands, his expression serious. Remember, exams are not the goal, but a means. For regular students, an exam is just a summary of your learning. But for students in a specialty school, this is the point where you'll drop to class F if you don't work hard. The first place in our class is still Ban Shang. Especially his physics score. I really want to hang his problem-solving methods on the wall for all of you to learn from. Chu Minghua cleverly raised his hand to speak. Don't, teacher. Ban Shang is still breathing. How can you hang him on the wall? Ban Shang sat in the back, arms crossed, not saying a word. With a thud, a file was slammed onto a desk, startling everyone. Ban Shang nonchalantly kicked the chair in front of him with his 1.8-meter-long legs. Minghua's chair wobbled, and with a thump, he almost fell flat on his face. Seeing the scene, the whole class burst into laughter. Haha. The teacher at the lectern also laughed and called out a name. Chu Minghua, I haven't even gotten to you yet. How did you manage to get every single multiple choice question in physics wrong? At this, the laughter below grew even louder. Also, Lin Wei Xia did very well this time, ranking second with a full score on her essay. Whispers erupted that a full score on her essay. For real, faced with such an overwhelming result, everyone was a bit skeptical. Did she cheat? It's just one exam. She's still a transfer student. Her previous exam scores were all 0. A Class F student is still a Class F student. Only Feng and Mo turned to congratulate her. Wei Xia, you're amazing. You truly are our Chinese class representative. She replied happily, thanks. As for Lu Xijia, your ranking dropped by 6 places this time. You almost fell out of the top 10. Come to my office after class. Wei Xia's eyes widened in surprise. She was a bit shocked because she didn't know why her best friend's grades would drop so much. Maybe the teacher graded it wrong, or perhaps she was distracted by boys, causing her grades to slip. Hey, Xiao Xijia. She turned to look at her. There was a hint of jealousy in her eyes, but on the surface, she was the same as before, as if nothing had happened. Code word. All right, sis. I'm fine. The scene cuts to the teacher's office, which was also unusually cold. The teacher began to point out every mistake. Xijia, with your level, how could you get this kind of question wrong? Didn't you read the question carefully? Look at Lin Wei Xia, her reading comprehension. At this moment, her face darkened. It's not just Chinese. Your math grade has also dropped. If you're not good at geometry, you can ask Lin Wei Xia. She did very well. She lost her patience, crossed her arms, and put on a defensive expression, saying coldly, grades go up and down. Isn't that normal? And why do you keep bringing up Lin Wei Xia when you're talking about my grades? Lu Xijia, what kind of attitude is that to talk to teacher? Why can't you take any criticism? She still argued stubbornly, turning her face to the side. I'm just telling the truth. Suddenly, Wei Xia walked in from somewhere. Teacher, these are the essays for the evening's self-study session that need to be graded. Seeing this, the homeroom teacher sighed and waved her back to the classroom. All right, Xijia, you can go back first. She walked out quickly, brushing past Wei Xia without a word. She stared blankly at that figure. Xijia. She turned her head, still looking sadly in the direction her friend had left, not knowing how to comfort her. Lin Wei Xia. After this exam, I plan to set up a mutual help group in the class. You can help your desk mate Ning Chao improve his grades, because he's bad at everything. Got it, Teacher Lu. Time flew by, and before she knew it, it was the evening's self-study session. She used the time after class to tutor Ning Chao. I've marked the key question types. You try them out, and if there's anything you don't understand, just ask me. The boy touched his buzz cut and said, nonchalantly, thanks, deskmate. But don't take that mutual help group too seriously. I don't want to waste time on studying. Xiao Xijia, who was passing by, stopped and raised an eyebrow. You really shouldn't waste time on studying. After all, you still have to go grill meat skewers after school every day, and you'll have to inherit your family's snack shop business in the future. Wei Xia, don't waste your time on him. The boy wasn't angry at her teasing. Yeah, I'm not like Miss Lu, who puts on makeup for men all day. I wonder which unlucky guy will marry you in the future. You bastard. You dare to make fun of me too? In less than a minute, Ning Chao had angered Xiao Xijia. Hey, no hitting. No hitting. She tried to negotiate. How about this? I'll only go over some key question types with you, and you don't have to do the exercises. The boy smiled and held up a finger in agreement. Deal. Wei Xia. Her best friend sighed. You're too much of a pushover. The classroom was quiet when Ming Hua walked in with Ban Shang, shouting, Brother Ban, let's go to your place to play games this weekend. Your VR setup is awesome. Ban Shang ignored the person next to him, but his eyes were fixed on a corner of the classroom, where two heads were very close together. Ning Chao, wake up. Are you even listening to me? Wei Xia's voice echoed in his ear, getting louder. Ning Chao replied, I'm listening, but listening to physics is like listening to a foreign language. I can't help but fall asleep. After speaking, the boy waved his hand and slumped onto the desk. Wei Xia could only remain silent and speechless at this guy. Ming Hua waved his hand frantically in front of Ban Shang, emphasizing again, Brother Ban. So, is it a yes or no? He put his backpack into his desk, an inexplicable sense of irritation welling up inside him. No matter how he looked at it, it was an eyesore. He said with a cold expression, No, I have plans this weekend. He quickly took out his phone from his pocket and started typing a message. At the same time, Wei Xia's phone vibrated, indicating a new message. She opened it to see it was from Ban Shang, a reply to her message from last week. Spend a day with me this weekend. She was a little surprised and widened her eyes to read it again. The onlookers could already guess that this close friendship was about to be torn apart by a man. Wei Xia looked up, confused at Ban Shang's strong, broad back that didn't belong to her. The next second, a new message came in. Lin Wei Xia looked down at her phone. The chat interface showed a message from Ban Shang, Chinese tutoring. The screen lit up again, and he slowly added, essay. This wasn't a lie at all. Lin Wei Xia typed tentatively, subconsciously raising her guard. Just that. She looked at Ban Shang's back and thought, Ban Shang's grades are good in all subjects except for Chinese. Yu Shiping had criticized him in class, saying his essays were severely off topic. He stared at his phone screen, still not replying. She waited for a long time, but he still didn't reply. Just as Lin Wei Xia was about to turn off the screen, he sent a message. Okay. The weekend arrived as scheduled. Lin Wei Xia woke up to make breakfast for her family, but soon realized her period had come, and her stomach was in agony. She endured the discomfort and tried to rest in bed. Because of her weak constitution, every period was like an ordeal. Lin Wei Xia covered herself with a blanket, but soon broke out in a sweat. After a while, her stomach started to hurt. The longer it went on, the more it felt like something was tightening inside her, the pain causing her to curl up into a ball. Whenever Lin Wei Xia got her period, her whole body would break down. The most severe time, she endured the pain to go to school to ask for leave, only to faint next to the bicycles parked at the school gate. Someone found her and took her to the hospital for a drip, and she finally got better. She had originally made plans with Ban Shang to go to his house this afternoon, but today was really inconvenient. At this thought, Lin Wei Xia's eyelashes trembled as she forcefully took her phone out of the drawer and edited a message to send to Ban Shang. I'm sorry, my period started today, and I'm not feeling well, so I probably can't make it. After sending it, Lin Wei Xia didn't care if he replied or not, and immediately turned off her phone screen. Lin Wei Xia pulled up the covers, turned over, and closed her eyes, but her stomach hurt so much she couldn't fall asleep. An hour later, the landline in the living room rang. Lin Wei Xia was too tired to move and strained to call out. Gao Heng, the phone in the living room is ringing. Go get it. A roar came from Gao Heng's room. His mic was on. I can't believe you. Why are you even playing if you're this bad? Don't drag your teammates down. Gao Heng, Lin Wei Xia's cousin. Hey, don't you know how to position yourself? You idiot. I'll send you home to do your homework. Gao Heng slammed on the keyboard, his room filled with his roars. Lin Wei Xia sighed, swung her legs up, and slowly got out of bed. She glanced towards Gao Heng's room, and seeing the scene, she silently closed the door and left. Forget it. It seems he didn't hear. Having no choice, Lin Wei Xia went to the living room to answer the phone. Hello, Xia. Your aunt isn't coming home for lunch. Remember to make food for Gao Heng. Her aunt's voice came from the phone. Lin Wei Xia clutched her stomach and sat down on the sofa, hesitating for a moment before speaking. Annie, I'm not feeling well. Just order. Fine, I've already paid this month's utility bills. Sigh. Having an extra person to feed in the house really makes a difference. Her aunt's voice was noisy, as if she was saying things she had been holding back for a long time. It's all your uncle's fault. There haven't been many freight jobs lately, and he's not thinking about going out to earn money. Oh, what was I about to say? The words order takeout were stuck at her throat. Lin Weixia forced a smile. It's nothing, Andy. I'll go make lunch. After hanging up, she began to prepare the cooking utensils. Lin Weixia's lips were pale from the pain, but she still managed to wash the rice and cook. Just then, Gao Heng shuffled out of his room in slippers, scratching his head. Sis, if your stomach hurts, don't cook. Let's just have instant noodles. Lin Weixia was silent and didn't answer, quickly draining the water from the washed rice in the pot. Except for when he got carried away with gaming, Gao Heng was actually quite considerate and caring, like a young boy. Lin Weixia gave a faint smile and changed the subject. You think I'd give you an excuse to eat junk food? Gao Heng scratched his head in embarrassment. I'm just worried about you. She picked up a handful of vegetables and looked at him. Then stop being lazy and come help me prepare the vegetables. She clutched her stomach as she cooked. How was it getting more and more painful? The pain was so bad that she broke out in a cold sweat. Suddenly, the phone next to her rang, an unfamiliar number lighting up the screen. She reached out and pressed the answer key very lightly. Hello, it's me. A faint voice came from the other end of the line. What are you doing? She was exhausted, her mood sinking, and she was in no mood to deal with him. Her tone was curt. Cooking. If there's nothing else. I'm hanging up. Without waiting for a reply, Lin Weixia quickly ended the call. Ban Sheng sat in the car, his face dark for a long time. Didn't she say she wasn't feeling well? Why is she cooking now? After Lin Weixia finished washing the rice and started cooking it, a wave of drowsiness and pain hit her all at once. She went back to her room, planning to rest for a bit before getting up to stir-fry the dishes. She placed her phone on the table and instructed Gao Heng. I set an alarm on my phone. Remember to turn off the stove when it goes off. I'm going back to my room to rest for a bit. I'll get up later to cook the dishes. Okay, In a half-asleep state, Lin Weixia vaguely heard Gao Heng repeating something in the living room. No, man, it's number 16, lane 7. Go straight, turn left 3 times, then turn right, and you're there. You can't find it? Fine, I'll come down and find you. She felt very tired and confused, wondering who Gao Heng was talking to. Then she pulled the covers over her head and fell asleep again. Lin Weixia slept for a while before being woken up by Gao Heng. Sis, the rice is ready. Lin Weixia stumbled out in a daze. Is the rice done? I'll go make the dishes then. No, I mean you don't have to cook. Let's have takeout. She followed the direction Gao Heng was pointing and saw the table was filled with exquisite dishes, their aroma filling the air. Next to them were stacked boxes with the words Yunshang Restaurant printed on them. Lin Weixia asked in confusion, where did all this come from? I don't know. Your phone rang just now. It was the delivery guy. He couldn't find the address. So I went down to get it. Gao Heng's tone was excited. And then guess what? I met a super handsome guy downstairs who said he was your classmate and told me to watch you finish this bowl of porridge and then put on this heating pad for cramps. Opening the lid, she saw a bowl of warming 5-grain porridge, steam rushing to her face. Lin Weixia closed the lid and walked towards the living room. Gao Heng marveled endlessly behind her. I heard this restaurant is members only and not open to the public. My classmate has been wanting to go, but could never get a reservation. No way. I have to take a picture to show off. Gao Heng continued happily. Sis, that classmate of yours is so nice to you. You don't even have to cook. She looked at the bowl of porridge in her hands, a mix of emotions welling up, and silently didn't answer him. After finding her phone, Lin Xiao went back to her room and closed the door. Gao Heng shouted from behind, Sis, why did you suddenly go back to your room? I'm going to eat first. She swiped nervously at her phone. She found the number in her call history. She didn't have to wait long. The call connected quickly. Ban Sheng's phone rang. Neither of them spoke, only the sound of static. Lin Xiao spoke first. Thank you for this. How much was the takeout? I'll transfer the money to you. Ban Sheng interrupted her. Have you had the porridge? Lin Xiao was confused but continued. Not yet. Drink the porridge, Ban Sheng said, his voice pausing for a moment, and put on the heating patch. Lin Xiao wanted to draw a clear line with him, but he had ordered so many dishes, it must have cost a lot. I can't just accept it for free. Ban Sheng switched the phone to his other hand. Then, save my number. Lin Xia leaned against the door, her fingers tapping on the wall, her tone hesitant. How about I go online this afternoon and help you look over and revise your paper? A low and pleasant voice came from the other end of the phone. For the first time, Ban Sheng said her name seriously. Lin Xia. The voice was so close. She looked out the window to the street below, and her heart trembled as if an electric current had passed through it. She saw Ban Sheng standing right there. She didn't know since when, but their eyes met. Lin Xia held her breath and heard Ban Sheng chuckle. His tone was assessing, yet forceful. You owe me a day. You're not getting away with it. After school at noon, Lin Xia and Lu Xijia appeared in the school cafeteria together. Xia, let's sit here. Lu Xijia was still eating her usual diet meal. Seeing this, Lin Xia was extremely worried. Xijia, eat more meat. Don't just eat vegetables. You look good whether you're chubby or thin. You don't need to lose any more weight. Lu Xijia was expressionless, completely unfazed. It's fine. I'm not very interested in food. It would be great if I could just live on a saline drip. Ning Zhou walked by with a bowl of loasafen, glanced at her food, and sneered. I'm out. Even chickens don't eat as miserably as you do. In less than a minute, the cold expression on the queen's face melted. Lu Xijia lifted her chin, glared at him, her voice a little annoyed. Who are you calling a chicken? Ning Zhou didn't stop and continued to provoke. Am I wrong? Lu Xijia stood up, pointing ahead. What do you mean? The next second, it was because the smell of the loasafen Ning Zhou was holding was too overpowering. Lu Xijia pinched her nose and waved him away. Man, what are you eating? It stinks so much. Get away. Get lost. Ning Zhou said smugly. It's loasafen. He took a deep breath. What's so stinky? I bet you'll love it after one bite. As the two were chatting, a tall, thin figure cast a shadow, and a silver tray was placed on the table. Ban Sheng tilted his head and asked Lu Xijia, is this seat taken? No. Xijia's voice was full of surprise and delight. Lin Weixiao looked up and saw a cold, indifferent face. Just as Xijia was about to say, hey, why don't you sit across from me? She saw that Qiu Minghua had already put his tray down and sat in front of them. Oh, if no one's here, I won't be polite. Lu Xijia silently rolled her eyes, and everyone continued to eat. Lu Xijia wasn't eating, just staring at Ban Sheng's beautiful red lips. All right, Ban Sheng, I've always wanted to know, why do you drink a bottle of milk every day, and it's always the same brand, rain or shine? Lin Weixiao put some food in her mouth and listened carefully. Ban Sheng's tone was decisive. To grow taller, of course. Everyone was stunned for a moment, especially Qiu Minghua, who was drinking soup and choked violently upon hearing this. Grow taller? You're already 187 centimeters. How much taller do you want to be? Are you trying to make us all midgets? Do you think that's funny? Qiu Minghua shook Ban Sheng's shoulders, then started leaning against him, his hand on Ban Sheng's shoulder. Besides, Ban Sheng, your shoulders are so broad, leaning on them feels so secure. Seeing this, Lu Xijia also exclaimed, my eyes, save me. Lin Weixiao sat beside them, expressionlessly looking at Ban Sheng's shoulders. Those muscles, they must be very comfortable to lean on. Lin Weixiao put some food in her mouth, inexplicably recalling the time she accidentally fell onto him in Ban Sheng's car on the way to Jiangju District. Her forehead had even hit his chin, and because they were so close, she could even feel the vibration of his chest. Lu Xijia quickly shook her hand and called out, Weixiao. Lin Weixiao looked up, her voice completely out of it. Huh, why are you eating a chili pepper? Everyone stared at her. Lu Xijia pointed at the food she was putting into her mouth. In her mouth, a chili pepper. It wasn't until her taste buds registered it that she realized she had mistaken a green chili for a green bean and put it in her mouth. Ah, I thought it was a green bean. She caught Ban Sheng's gaze. He was leaning back leisurely in his chair, watching her. Lost in thought, huh? You like chili peppers that much? Lin Xia got nervous and immediately choked, coughing loudly. Cough, cough, cough. She coughed until her neck and ears were as red as a cooked shrimp, her eyes watery and about to overflow. Lu Xijia quickly handed her a bowl of soup. Here, drink some soup to soothe it. Lin Xia took it and tilted her head back to take a sip. Suddenly, a male student with glasses hurried past with a tray. Excuse me, excuse me. As a result, he accidentally bumped into Lin Xia, and the soup bowl fell. Grease and soup splashed all over her. The girl's white school uniform shirt was soon stained with a large patch of grease. Lin Xia immediately stood up, clutching her clothes. Lu Xijia called out in alarm. Weixiao, The male student with glasses turned his head and immediately tried to flee in the chaos. Ban Sheng, looking at the soup in his bowl, didn't even raise his head as he reached out and pulled the person back. His voice was low, with no discernible emotion. Apologize. Why should I apologize? Who told her not to hold her bowl properly? The student with glasses retorted. Ban Sheng's expression didn't change as he tightened his grip on the other's wrist, clearly adding more force. The pain made the other person's head shrink back, and he kept crying out in pain. He still said in a nonchalant tone, apologize, don't make me say a second time. The other person turned his head in pain, wanting to see who was speaking so forcefully and arrogantly. When he saw the male student clearly, he suddenly froze, and his expression changed. The student with glasses immediately bowed repeatedly. Classmate, I'm sorry. It's my fault for not watching where I was going. Lin Xia shook her head. I'll let it go this time. Just don't be so reckless next time. In the student lounge, Lin Xia walked into the changing room. There was a knock on the door, and it was pulled open a crack. Lu Xijia handed her a paper bag, stood outside, leaning against the door, lit a cigarette, and took a drag. Ban Sheng asked me to give you this. See if it fits. Lin Xia took it and saw a new set of school uniform inside, in just the right size. It fits. Where did he get it? Lu Xijia stood outside the door, tilting her head with a smile. Have you forgotten? He's a supplier for the school's entire supply chain. Lin Xia suddenly froze, her expression extremely panicked. Crap, I don't know when I lost my necklace. She squatted on the ground, searching everywhere. Did it fall here, or did it fall somewhere else? Lu Xijia called out with a smile. Xia. It startled the girl inside. Lu Xijia said casually, the midterm exams, I was distracted at the time, so I didn't do well. She clenched her hands, a little angry, and continued, You, Ban Sheng, I won't give up on him, and I won't lose to you. After saying that, Lu Xijia turned and left, and the noise outside disappeared. Wei Xiao stood up, and everything in the world returned to normal. She was a little dazed by what Xijia had just said, wondering what it meant. She walked back to the noisy classroom. There was an argument at the front of the class. Lin Wei Xiao looked up and saw, You dead fish eyes, are you trying to die by bumping into me? The girl with thick bangs said awkwardly, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Zhang Xiaoheng looked displeased and took a step closer, gesturing as if he was going to pick a fight with her. My clothes are dirty. You have to pay for them. I'm really sorry, but Lin Weixia clearly saw that it was Zhang Xiaoheng who had deliberately cut in front of her and bumped into her himself. She stood up and walked over. She didn't do it on purpose. She said hurriedly, How much is the dry cleaning fee? I'll pay for it. Zhang Xiaoheng suddenly turned his head, and when he saw Lin Weixia, the anger on his face completely vanished. Her long black hair reached her back. Her lips were red and her teeth white, and her small chin was tensed as she looked at him. He whistled, Humph, for the sake of a beauty, I'll let you off this time. Watch where you're going next time. After Zhang Xiaoheng left, the girl breathed a sigh of relief and barely managed to say, Thank you. I actually wanted to borrow your notes for the main subjects. Lin Weixia said kindly and gently, They're on my desk. Go ahead and take them. If there's anything you don't understand, just ask me. The girl with thick bangs nodded. Thank you. She carefully put away the test papers, and as soon as she turned around, she saw someone standing at the back door. Ban Sheng was leaning against the door, looking nonchalant and roguish. Lin Weixia pretended not to see him and immediately walked past him, intending to leave the classroom. As a result, Ban Sheng stretched out a long leg, blocking the doorway and preventing her from leaving. Lin Weixia was a little helpless and was about to speak when Ban Sheng opened his palm, revealing a leaf-shaped amber pendant lying on it. He closed his palm, facing her deep, narrow eyes, and Ban Sheng said leisurely, You dropped this at noon. She quickly reached for it. Give it back to me. Seeing her reaction, Ban Sheng raised an eyebrow and held his hand up high. It seems important. Who gave it to you? Lin Weixia became nervous. Get it back to me now. Ban Sheng finally saw a different emotion in those beautiful almond eyes, like a rising tide, containing a variety of complex feelings, surging forward. His expression changed. He looked away, then directly at her, with a very light sneer. How about this? Beg me, and I'll consider giving it back to you. Ban Sheng noticed Lin Xia's nervous expression, and his face softened as he said gently, "If you beg me, I might consider giving it back to you." Ban Sheng thought that a girl like Lin Xia, who grew up with a delicate appearance, would actually have a bit of a temper and would definitely widen her beautiful eyes to glare at him, refusing to yield. But the sadness in her eyes gradually dissipated, leaving a clear and untroubled look. She looked up and met his gaze directly. "Please." Ban Sheng was stunned when he heard this. Opening his palm, Lin Xia took the pendant, put it in her pocket, and walked past his shoulder. She brushed past him without a word, looking extremely awkward. At this moment, after she left, the faint scent of fruit still lingered at the tip of his nose. Ban Sheng tilted his head, watching her retreating back, wondering just how important this necklace was to her and how much she cared. After school in the afternoon, the students in the class went to eat in groups of 2 and 3. Passing by the sports field, they would occasionally hear cheers from the basketball court. "Ban Sheng, pass it here. Watch out." Ban Sheng. After finishing her meal and returning to the classroom, Lin Xia took out her workbook from the drawer and heard someone call her, Wei Xia. Lu Xijia was sitting in Feng Mo's seat, happily drinking a carton of milk and chatting with her. "This afternoon we have a physics experiment, and aren't Ban Sheng and I in the same group?" His mind works so fast, and his logic is so clear, he told me to just follow his lead. Isn't that basically getting carried to a win? She looked down at the English sentence that needed translating in her workbook, shark. This was probably the word to describe Ban Sheng, meaning he was the one who dominated everything. Her eyelashes fluttered. She put down her pen and reached out to touch the pendant in her pocket, which was still warm. Lin Xia remembered it clearly, his voice still echoing in her ears. "If you beg me, I might consider giving it back to you." Ban Sheng was like a dangerous shark, an experienced hunter that she shouldn't get close to. But her best friend, Lu Xijia, was so stubborn. "I won't give up on him, and I won't lose to you." She suddenly spoke, interrupting her best friend's chatter. "Xijia, I heard that the place where Ban Sheng plays basketball every Friday isn't court 3, it's court 6. Lu Xijia's fox-like eyes immediately lit up, and she raised an eyebrow. "Really? But how do you know?" Lin Jia smiled faintly. "A girl from Class F told me." She hugged her excitedly. "That's great. When I succeed in winning him over, I'll treat you to ice cream, the most expensive kind." But this joy didn't last long. When Xijia saw the young man sitting next to her, her mood dropped. Someone, Ning Zhou, strode into the classroom with his team uniform and started ordering Lu Xijia around as soon as he got back to his seat. "Move, you're blocking my view of the problem." Lu Xijia crossed her arms and sneered. "Give me a break, Ning Zhou. With your level, don't pretend to be studying. A gentleman like me who doesn't argue with girls still has a chance to aim for first place." Suddenly, Lin Xia's phone rang. "Is it already 6:30? She picked up the phone next to her, logged into WeChat, and found that pitch-black profile picture. She wanted to see Ban Sheng's moments. Clicking into the moments of the ID named Bon, under the black profile picture was a line of text to pick the unreachable stars. So that was the meaning of Ban Sheng's moment's name. She scrolled down and saw a picture with no caption. Lin Xia clicked to enlarge it and saw it was coconut jelly. The coconut jelly was square, crystal clear like a crystal, with some shredded coconut sprinkled on top, looking very delicious. There were many comments from him and others below the post. Lin Xia was stunned. She felt that Ban Sheng was a complex and contradictory person. He was almost indifferent to everything, overly rational to the point of being cold-blooded. But she didn't expect him to have a side like this. Lin Xia immediately understood and told Lu Xijia, "By the way, Xijia, Ban Sheng also likes to eat coconut jelly." "Really? Then this beauty will go learn how to make coconut jelly." For Ban Sheng. The next day, Lu Xijia got injured. Her fair and delicate fingers were scalded by a hot pot, and a blister formed. "Wei Xia, why is making desserts so hard? I really want to just buy one instead." Lin Xia sighed as she helped her apply medicine. "Wei Xia, Ban Sheng is really hard to pursue." She lowered her head, carefully applying a Band-Aid to Lu Xijia's wound, and teased, "But you just can't help but like someone like him." She turned around and saw Lu Xijia's worried expression, smiled, and reached out to press her forehead. "Doesn't he like astronomy? I just saw online that there will be a gate of the Milky Way phenomenon this Friday." "Really?" Lu Xijia ran off excitedly. "I can't believe even the heavens are helping me. Then I'll go find him after school on Friday. Maybe we can watch the stars together." Lin Xia looked up at Lu Xijia and said softly, "Xijia, I hope you get what you wish for." She was still collecting homework and found that some people hadn't turned it in yet. When she got to the last one, it was Ban Sheng's name. She looked over and saw him talking to someone else. The weather is cool today. Want to play basketball, Ban? No one's watching during self-study today. We can play a bit longer. We'll see. Lin Xiao leaned over and said, Ban Sheng, you haven't turned in your homework yet. The person next to him saw that the two had something to talk about and immediately left. Ban Sheng leaned over, found the workbook on his desk, and handed it to her. Lin Xia reached out to take it, but doing so wouldn't take it back. She looked up and saw a pair of ink-black eyes looking at her. When are you coming to my house? Their eyes met, and Lin Weixia froze for a moment. The class probably didn't know yet that Lu Sijia would come looking for him after school this afternoon. Let's talk about this later. I'm quite busy this week. The pull on her workbook suddenly loosened, and that lingering feeling also disappeared. But he still didn't let go of her hand. His sharp gaze swept over her. Hey, Xia, are you starting to avoid me again? Lin Weixia looked up and noticed 2 strawberry soft candies. They slid off her workbook. She asked in confusion, what's this? Ban Sheng, with his back to her, casually tossed out a sentence. Bought something on the way. The shop owner gave them to me. Just then, Qi Weiminghua ran over holding a basketball. He suddenly remembered something. Brother Ban, do you have any of those soft candies you bought? Spare me one. Ban Sheng sat up straight, his tone indifferent. All gone. Fed them to a butterfly. Huh? Butterflies eat candy? Ban Sheng lay on his desk and said as if it were a matter of fact, but it's always wary of me. It flew away right after eating. Qi Weiminghua felt a headache coming on. Third brother, are you sure you're talking about a butterfly? Sitting behind them, Lin Weixia heard the whole exchange and felt a bit awkward, unsure what Ban Sheng was implying. A new week arrived, and it was Lin Weixia's turn to do the Blackboard Bulletin, partnered with another girl. That girl always used her free time to study, and her attitude towards Lin Weixia was even more dismissive. The exams are just around the corner. Who has time to draw this? She patiently explained, we can't help it. Doing the bulletin is on a rotation, and it's our turn. This rotation system is unfair. It should be the students from Class F who do this. My time is much more precious than a Class F student's. Lin Weixia disagreed and retorted, there's nothing discriminatory about the rotation system. Doing the bulletin is also a duty for Class A students. How is it not discriminatory? The whole school discriminates. If you want to be dutiful, you go ahead. My hand is cramping. I can't draw anymore. After saying that, the girl jumped off the chair and left, dumping all the responsibility for the bulletin on Lin Weixia. Helpless, she could only use her after-class time to finish it alone. After finishing the drawing, she still had to write the text. Lin Weixia took out the tools from under the teacher's desk and wrote and drew on the blackboard by herself. Time passed quietly. She put the chalk back in its place, then shook her sore arm. It was finally done. She glanced at the wall clock in the classroom and only then realized it was already very late. There was no one else in the classroom, and her phone had died. The lights in the opposite school building were still on. Lin Weixia packed her things, washed her hands, and walked out of the classroom. Just as she was about to leave, she suddenly heard the melodious sound of a cello from upstairs. Lin Weixia's steps halted, and she turned and walked towards the classroom on the 6th floor. Let's play Sad Little Tune one more time before we go. It's getting late. All right, one more time. She stood outside the door, watching with great envy. So it was the cello club. A beautiful girl with an elegant demeanor was playing the cello. She quietly leaned against the wall to listen, then raised her hand, unconsciously mimicking the posture of drawing the bow, murmuring Sad Little Tune under her breath. Lin Weixia fantasized about performing on a grand stage, wearing a beautiful traditional costume, like a fairy from the heavens. She was immersed in the music she loved and could perform in front of everyone. After clumsily mimicking for a while, she gave up. 15 minutes later, she heard a commotion at the door. Lin Weixia stood in the shadows, watching the girls carrying their cellos walk past, talking and laughing, their faces filled with a carefree look. 1 or 2 girls gently complained about how difficult the vocal teacher's assessment test was, then happily made plans. Hey, want to go grab a late-night snack? I can't. My driver is waiting for me downstairs. She said nothing, curled up in a hidden corner. Only after everyone had left did Lin Weixia come out with her school bag on her back. Her face was flushed red with embarrassment. Good thing no one saw me, or I'd look like a fool. Lin Weixia quickened her pace. I should hurry home. She hadn't walked for 3 minutes when, with a click, the school's power went out and the surroundings were plunged into darkness. Oh no, it must be too late. The school turned off the lights. The stairs leading down were pitch black. She had night blindness, making it hard to see things clearly. Lin Weixia muttered to herself as she walked, "Night blindness is so troublesome. I can't see anything. It's so quiet. There shouldn't be anyone else around. I'll just go down the stairs slowly." She had only taken a few careful steps when her foot suddenly missed a step. Her ankle twisted, and in a panic, she was about to fall. In the chaos, a steady hand grabbed the school bag on her back. She fell backward, crashing into a broad chest. A warm chest. "Be careful." She smelled the familiar scent of ebony, and this voice. Lin Weixia was startled. It was definitely Ban Shang. Her heart clenched uncontrollably. She quickly stood up straight, breaking free from the embrace. "Thanks." Leaning against the wall, Lin Weixia asked, "You haven't gone home yet?" Ban Shang's voice carried an indescribable coldness. "I came back to get something." Ban Shang walked down 2 steps, holding a silver lighter in his hand. With a flick of his thumb, he opened the lid. The lighter made a click sound, and a cluster of orange-red flame appeared, illuminating his handsome and indifferent face. Ban Shang said, "If you don't want to fall, stay close to me." The stairwell was dimly lit. Ban Shang casually lifted his foot and walked forward. Lin Weixia followed closely behind, her slender hand gripping a corner of the boy's black jacket, one in front of the other. "I wonder if it's my imagination, but he seems a little angry." The boy's neck was straight and his shoulders were broad, which further accentuated his figure. Suddenly, Ban Shang stopped. He seemed unreliable, yet he had deliberately slowed his pace so that Lin Weixia could keep up without falling. Ban Shang stared at the small flame before him, silent for a long time. Lin Weixia didn't know what was happening. She let go of his jacket. Just then, Ban Shang suddenly turned around. He grabbed her fair wrist. He walked forward step by step, cornering her against the wall, their breaths mingling once again. Then Ban Shang lowered his head to look at her. Ban Shang held Weixia's arm tightly, his eyes looking towards the security guard behind them. The security guard shone his flashlight in their direction. "Is anyone still here? The power is about to be cut completely. Leave the school quickly." Shielded by Ban Shang, Weixia remained silent. A voice came from somewhere. "Got it." As soon as the security guard left, Ban Shang turned his head and asked Weixia, "Do you think I should accept her confession?" Weixia fell helpless. "You." Weixia wanted to say something, but hesitated, turning her face to the side, full of embarrassment and anger. Suddenly, Ban Shang pinched Weixia's small chin. He moved closer to her face and said slowly, "But who I like is my own business. The person I want to pursue is you." Weixia said decisively, "You want me to be with you?" "Not unless it snows in Nanjing." Ban Shang suddenly froze. He thought to himself, Nanjing, a city that hasn't seen snow in decades. He was both angry and ashamed, his hands clenched into fists. So that means it's impossible. Ban Shang turned and left in sorrow, leaving Weixia there. Don't speak too soon. The morning scene quickly appeared on the sports field. Even when Weixia saw Ban Shang, she always tried to avoid him. She thought to herself, after that night, I started avoiding Ban Shang again. Another scene. A classmate from her class came to Weixia's desk with an invitation. "Weixia, we're going camping this weekend. Are you coming?" Weixia refused. "No, I have to help out at my family shop this weekend. Class activities, invitations from Class A students. I refuse them all with excuses." Ban Shang, who was listening while spinning his pen, flicked it, and in a few seconds, the pen landed right on Weixia's desk. When Weixia went to collect homework from every student in the class, that female classmate started gossiping. So what if she's a little better at studying? Why the attitude? Exactly. Even if she gets more points, it won't change her class F origins. All she knows is how to study. With no power or influence at home, she'll be nothing in the future. Another classmate who heard those words comforted Weixia. "Weixia, are you okay?" The students from Class A often talk bad about people behind their backs. Just bear with it. Weixia said to that friend, "I'm not bearing it this time." The friend with glasses was confused. Then Weixia said loudly, "People who do such childish things are just looking for a cheap sense of superiority by putting others down." Weixia smiled and continued, "And that pathetic feeling usually comes from the other person's strong reaction, but I refuse to give them the reaction they want." Those few girls were furious after hearing that. What does she mean by that? Ignore her. Let's go. The girl with glasses exclaimed in awe, "Wow, Weixia, you're my idol." As those girls were walking out, Ban Shang walked in. They made eye contact, and Weixia felt a little uncomfortable. She placed a stack of workbooks on the desk, then said to the girl with glasses, "Feng Mo, help me hand out the homework. I'm going to the restroom." Weixia walked out, accidentally brushing past Ban Shang. She lowered her eyes, not wanting to pay him any more attention. Banshong watched her quietly for a moment. As Wei Xiao walked down the corridor, she thought, I keep avoiding him, but why do I feel even more agitated? I couldn't control myself just now either. Suddenly, her deskmate Ning Xiao called out, Hey, deskmate, where are you going? Wei Xiao was startled and looked up. Seeing some injuries on Ning Xiao's fair face, Wei Xiao asked, Did you get into a fight? Ning Xiao answered naturally, Just had a fight with that gang from the 13th middle school. They like to cause trouble, so I played along. Wei Xiao hurried away. I'll go to the infirmary to get you some medicine. Ning Xiao pointed towards the classroom. Class is about to start. Banshong stood at the classroom door, watching them talk intimately. He rested his hand on the doorframe, feeling a bit displeased. Class started soon, and everyone was in the classroom. The teacher was lecturing at the podium. Wei Xiao walked in and called out, Permission to enter. The teacher saw her and stopped writing. Lin Wei Xiao, class has been on for over half an hour. Why are you only just arriving? A boy in the class raised his hand and said, Teacher, you don't know, the class president went to get medicine for Ning Xiao. She's such a good deskmate, so concerned about her classmate. Wei Xiao was silent, not knowing what to say. After that boy finished speaking, another boy said, Hey, don't say that. The two of them actually make a good match. As if realizing something, that male student turned to look at Banshong. Seeing his furrowed brow, the student thought, What's wrong with Brother Ban? Seeing Wei Xiao buy medicine for Ning Xiao made Banshong extremely displeased. He pursed his lips, not smiling or speaking. Ning Xiao looked at himself in the mirror, carefully cleaning every wound on his face. Because his vision was blocked, he had to ask his deskmate Wei Xiao, Hey, can you help me see if I've applied it evenly? After observing for a moment, Wei Xiao replied, It's not even. Let me reapply it for you. She carefully applied the medicine to each wound. Ning Xiao pointed to the two spots. The two of them seemed to be getting along very well. Suddenly a voice called out, Ning Xiao. Wei Xiao's movements froze. She looked up and saw Banshong standing in front of their desk with a gloomy expression. Ning Xiao stood up with one hand in his pocket and the other leaning on the desk and replied, How strange. Don't you Class A students look down on people like us and refuse to talk to us? Meanwhile, Wei Xiao kept her head down at her desk, not looking up. Ning Xiao brushed past Banshong and said, Let's go. They left, leaving only Wei Xiao and Sijia standing behind, watching them go. Lu Sijia casually sat on Wei Xiao's desk. She curiously asked Wei Xiao, Do you know why Banshong was looking for Ning Xiao? Wei Xiao answered honestly, I don't know. Sijia continued nonchalantly, Wei Xiao, you'll still help me pursue Banshong, right? I've already investigated. Tomorrow. Before Wei Xiao could finish, she interrupted Sijia. I'm sorry, I might not be able to help you anymore. Lu Sijia was stunned for a few seconds. She turned to Wei Xiao and asked, Why? Wei Xiao affectionately took Sijia's hand. She stroked her friend's hand and explained with all sincerity, The literature teacher recommended me for the national poetry competition. I might not be able to be by your side during this time, and I can't participate in the basketball club either. Hearing this, Sijia happily perked up. She smiled at Wei Xiao and said, Oh really? I totally understand. You should prepare well. In the future, I'll be able to say that my friend is not only beautiful, but also writes poetry. Wei Xiao replied humbly, Don't be silly. Lu Sijia immediately retorted, I'm not being silly. You are a beautiful poet. The atmosphere between the two was really friendly and close. On the surface, it was like this, but Wei Xiao's heart was in turmoil. She hoped, Banshong, as long as I keep my distance, after a while, everything will go back to being as simple as it was before. At this moment, Banshong and Ning Xiao were in the corridor outside. It was unclear what they were talking about, only that Banshong kept staring at the lighter in his hand, fiddling with it. In the afternoon, a downpour swept through the city. The weather and atmosphere outside were unusually gloomy. The weather forecast began to report the current situation. The recent typhoon Shark has made landfall in Qinghai, and it is expected to bring heavy rain and a new round of cooling. Citizens are advised to avoid going out as much as possible. Due to the typhoon, the streets were unusually deserted, with no vehicles passing by, only a girl in a school uniform holding an umbrella, waiting for the bus. It was Wei Xia. While waiting for the bus, she took out her phone to talk to her aunt. Her aunt instructed her, Wei Xia, can you go to the 13th middle school to pick up your younger brother? With such heavy rain, I'm worried. Wei Xia obediently replied, Okay, Annie. She hung up the phone. Just as she turned off her phone, a strong gust of wind blew, immediately sweeping the umbrella from Wei Xiao's hand. She struggled to grab it. However, in the rain, a luxury car drove over and stopped right in front of Wei Xia. Confused, she shifted her attention from the umbrella to the car in front of her. The car window rolled down, and inside was Sijia, sitting with Ban Shang. He looked away indifferently, and only Sijia spoke to her. "Ah, Wei Xia, where are you going? Let Ban Shang give you a ride." She politely refused. "No, thank you. I'll just take the bus." Hearing this, Sijia tugged on the sleeve of Ban Shang, who was playing with his phone, and said to him, "Ban Shang, let's give Wei Xiao a ride. It's not convenient for her in this heavy rain." Although Ban Shang still maintained his cold attitude, he gestured for her to get in. Ban Shang coldly said 2 words, "Get in." But Wei Xiao firmly evaded, replying, "No need, the bus is coming soon. I'll take the bus." Hearing this, Ban Shang didn't argue further and commanded drive. Sijia immediately felt awkward and wanted to call Ban Shang back to persuade him, but she couldn't stop him. The car drove away coldly and quickly, leaving Wei Xia alone in the rain. Sitting in the car, Ban Shang frowned slightly. "Lin Wei Xia, you want to avoid me forever, but I will absolutely not let you escape." Then he tapped on his phone. Over here, Wei Xia immediately received a notification. Looking at the screen, it was a message from Ban Shang with only one sentence. "Come to my house this weekend." Wei Xia was a bit stunned, not knowing how to refuse. Finally, she typed, "I have something on this weekend. I can't make it." Before she could send it, another message arrived. "If you don't come, I'll tell Lu Sijia that the person I like is you." This seemed to be the only reason Ban Shang could use to force Wei Xia to do as he wished. Lin Wei Xia refused as always, but her screen immediately lit up. She reached out to wipe the condensation from the screen, and tapped it open. At this moment, Ban Shang, sitting in the car, glanced back. Lu Sijia, not knowing what was happening, turned to ask him, "Ban Shang, are you in a bad mood today, or what?" Hearing this, Ban Shang smirked. "Who says?" He sent a message to Lin Wei Xia, "Come to my house this weekend." Ban Shang was referring to the favor she owed him from last time. Just as she was hesitating on how to refuse, Ban Shang seemed to have anticipated her thoughts and slowly sent another message. "If you don't come, I'll tell Lu Sijia that the person I like is you." Lin Wei Xia felt her brain short-circuit. She had no choice but to reply, "You better not go back on your word." Gao Heng ran over from a distance. "Sis, I'm here." He flashed a brilliant smile. "Wow, it's raining so hard." As he got closer, her vision became clearer, and Lin Wei Xia noticed the wound on the corner of his mouth and asked, "What happened to you? Did you get into a fight?" Gao Heng's expression darkened, but he immediately forced a smile. "No, I fell on the way." Lin Wei Xiao wanted to get a closer look at his wound, but Gao Heng grabbed her shoulder. "Let's go home quickly. This rain is too heavy." The two of them walked out of the school. Just as Lin Wei Xiao was about to take a Band-Aid out of her bag, a lewd whistle came from not far away, followed by 3 or 4 people emerging from the shadows. "Yo, isn't this Gao Heng? Have you admitted defeat yet?" The other party inadvertently saw Lin Wei Xia standing next to Gao Heng and was instantly overjoyed. "Where did this pretty girl come from? Introduce us." Gao Heng's face changed. He smiled faintly. "Admit defeat, my ass." He immediately grabbed Lin Wei Xia's arm, pulled her behind him, and stared at the guy with the disgruntled face. "Looking for trouble, are you?" The wind blew harder, and the raindrops felt like needles hitting their skin. The guy rushed forward angrily. "You're asking for it." But his companion grabbed his arm to stop him. "Forget it. It's about to pour." The thunder in the sky grew louder. They left quickly, not forgetting to threaten, "You're dead, kid. Just you wait." As soon as they left, Gao Heng returned to his well-behaved self in front of her. Lin Wei Xia pulled her arm back and looked at him, saying, "I won't tell Annie about what happened today, but you're not allowed to fight outside anymore." Gao Heng took her school bag with one hand, his tone fawning. "Got it, sis. Let's go home." The weather forecast said it's not only going to rain this weekend, but it'll also be cold. "Sis, you're not going out, are you? Unless you have to tutor a classmate." The weekend arrived quickly. She came to Ban Shang's house, holding an umbrella. Lin Wei Xia rang the doorbell, and the camera on the gate focused on her. She rested the umbrella handle on her shoulder and started staring at the ants moving on the ground. After a while, a voice came from not far away, "Come in." Lin Wei Xia looked up and saw a tall figure in her amber eyes. Ban Shang was wearing a hoodie. The boy didn't have an umbrella, and the hood was casually placed on his head. The gate opened slowly and automatically. Lin Wei Xia and he entered the house under the same umbrella. Her first impression of Ban Shang's house was that it was empty and cold. Lin Weixia stood in front of the huge, floor-to-ceiling window and saw the blue swimming pool next to it. Ripples swayed, and the view was wide. Seeing this, Ban Shang said to her, "If you're interested, feel free to look around." Lin Weixia spoke up, "I heard that outsiders can't just enter your family's swimming pool." Ban Shang lowered his head and let out a soft laugh. Just as he walked up to her, he leaned down and whispered in her ear, "You think I see you as an outsider?" The low voice, like the clash of metal and stone, entered her ear. The faint warm breath he exhaled made the color behind her ear deepen bit by bit. Lin Weixia's heart tightened abruptly. The person brushed past her, one hand in his pocket, and pushed open the floor-to-ceiling window. A gust of wind blew in. Lin Weixia stepped over the threshold. An endless expanse of blue. She smelled a faint scent of chlorine. Ban Shang said to her, "Go take a look." She walked to the edge of the pool and asked him, "Ban Shang, do you really like swimming? When you immerse yourself in the water and hold your breath to the limit, it gives you a feeling as if the whole world, it feels great." Ban Shang answered lazily, "It's hard to tell what's real and what's fake." Lin Weixia stood there, looking at the clear blue pool, lost in thought, a flash of pain in her eyes. Suddenly, a casual question came from behind her. "Want to try?" Before she could react, she was pushed from behind. Her whole body lost control and fell forward. She screamed in terror, about to fall into the icy pool on a rainy day. A well-defined hand landed right on her waist, and with a slight pull, he brought her entire body back. Lin Weixia was still in a daze, her chest heaving, nestled in Ban Shang's arms. She blushed in embarrassment and quickly pushed him away. Seeing her terrified expression, Ban Shang burst out laughing, his shoulders shaking. "Look how scared you are." Lin Weixia stared directly into his black eyes, which were filled with a roguish smile. She just wanted to look at him. This prank wasn't funny at all. Lin Weixia broke free from his oppressive presence, putting some distance between them, and said to the class president very coldly, "Let's go inside and study." Stepping into the class president's study was like entering another world. There was a U-shaped sofa, bookshelves filled with books on astrophysics, maps hanging on the walls, and a few signed photos of basketball stars. Most striking were the astronomical photos covering the walls. A deep blue sky, star trails streaking white across it, magnificent nebulae, each photo bearing a casual signature. The photo you're looking at, I took on a mountain in the northwest. I waited until midnight, worrying not only about altitude sickness, but also about slipping down the slope and breaking my leg. To this day, I still have a steel pin in my leg. I was all alone, my phone had no signal, and I felt like I was about to die right there. The class president laughed self-deprecatingly. Lin Weixia commented, "An adventurer." The class president turned and handed her a glass of water. Lin Weixia took it. It was her favorite salty lemon 7-Up. Her fingertips touched the glass. It was room temperature. She marveled at his attentiveness. But isn't it romantic? A satellite transit, and then the darkness layers on, like it's devouring a heart. The class president gazed at the photo and said softly. Lin Weixia followed his gaze. Two Galilean moons, one large and one small, were slowly approaching each other until only two overlapping shadows remained, like two people embracing, transcending boundaries. "It's beautiful," Lin Weixia exclaimed in excitement. The class president looked up at Lin Weixia's quiet profile and noticed a strand of hair stuck to her fair cheek. His hand, resting casually on the seam of his pants, twitched. He raised it, intending to tuck the strand of hair behind her ear. But as soon as his hand touched her ear, Lin Weixia grew wary and defensive. Ripples of unease appeared on her usually calm face, and her tone was a bit sharp. "Don't touch me." The class president awkwardly withdrew his hand, stunned for a moment. He gazed thoughtfully at Lin Weixia's back. Just as Lin Weixia was about to speak, the phone on the desk began to buzz insistently. She checked the caller ID, stood up, and turned away to answer the call. "Hello, Annie." "Weixia, what should I do?" "Your cousin got into a fight, and the other person is hospitalized." A chaotic sound came from the receiver. Your cousin got into a dispute with a classmate and beat the person so badly they ended up in the hospital. The other family is rich and powerful. No matter how much money I offer or how I apologize, they won't agree to a private settlement, and they're threatening to sue him. What should I do? He's my only son, and he's still so young. What if this leaves a black mark on his record? Her usually strong aunt was now incoherent. Lin Weixia comforted her softly. Auntie, don't worry, tell me slowly. I'll be right over. After soothing her aunt with a few gentle words, Lin Weixia hung up, turned to the class president, and said, I'm sorry, something came up at home. Today's tutoring session will have to be rescheduled. With that, she walked over and bent down to pack the books and pens on the table, her long, dark hair spilling over her back. As Lin Weixia stuffed everything into her bag and prepared to leave, the class president called out to her, What school is your cousin in? What's the last name of the family that wants to sue him? Number 13 High School. I'm not sure about the details. I only know the person my little brother had a conflict with is named Feng Huaiyang. The class president spoke slowly. I know the Feng family. I met his older brother, Feng Huaihui, a few times. Lin Weixia's eyelashes trembled, and she looked up at him. The class president looked at her. One word from you, Lin Weixia, and it's all settled. She stood there stunned for a long time, not saying another word. He raised an eyebrow, looking at Lin Weixia without speaking, his attitude full of a sense of control, as if the matter truly only required a single word from Lin Weixia. She remembered his previous arrogant look. Beg me, and I'll consider giving it back. But what would she have to trade? She knew very well that someone like the class president, with a malicious streak in his bones, was a born negotiator. The rain outside was getting heavier. Lin Weixia looked at him for a few seconds, then lowered her gaze. I'm leaving first. The rain is getting heavier. It'll be hard to get around. The class president tossed the lighter in his hand. He laughed mockingly. Lin Weixia, you just can't learn to beg me, huh? Lin Weixia's figure froze at the doorway. After a long moment, she still left. When she left, the rain was even heavier than before. Lin Weixia opened her umbrella and left the class president's house. A question rose in his mind. On the other hand, why were you willing to do anything for that amber pendant? Before she even reached the hospital, the elevator opened with a ding, and from a distance, she saw Gao Heng leaning against the wall, dejected, with bruises on his face. Her weak voice came from afar, laced with sorrow. The kid was impulsive and didn't know better. I apologize to you all on his behalf. I'll pay for the medical expenses. Whatever compensation you want, I'll give it. Please just be merciful. The other party struggled to maintain the expression befitting a wealthy person, their face cold. Auntie's heart sank. She made a move to kneel, but was stopped by an assistant. Auntie Lin, there's no point in saying more. Go home and prepare for the lawsuit. The assistant pushed up his glasses. Auntie bent down, trying to kneel, but couldn't get close to the parents. I'll pay for all the medical expenses. The assistant turned his face away. Please don't be like this. This isn't something I can decide. The chairman doesn't want to see you. After the group dispersed, Annie turned her head and saw Lin Weixia not far away. She hurried forward and helped her up. After returning home, Lin Weixia cooked. Before long, the table was set with loofah soup, braised eggplant, stir-fried water spinach, and a leftover ribs from lunch. Annie came to her senses and said, getting sued will affect his future. Does the Feng family really not give any room for negotiation? Gao Heng angrily slammed the table and stood up, shouting, then let them sue. You think I'm afraid of them? The three of them sat at the table in silence. Auntie Lin continued sadly, getting sued will affect his future. Is the Feng family really not willing to budge at all? Gao Heng suddenly slammed the table and stood up. Then let them sue. You think I'm afraid of them? With that, he turned and walked inside. I'm full. I'm going back to my room. Lin Weixia anxiously put food in Annie Lin's bowl. Annie, you eat first. In a few days, I'll ask my friends if anyone can help. She wiped her tears, looked at her, and choked out. Right, there are many students from rich families at your school. Someone can surely help. As soon as she said that, she happily put food in her bowl. Thank you for worrying about your brother. Weixia accepted happily. It's nothing. Time flew by in the blink of an eye. Monday arrived. Ning Chao was complaining nonstop with a broom in his hand. It's all the fault of those idiots for number 13 high, getting me stuck with sweeping duty. Coincidentally, Weixia was also standing on the bridge. She sighed and thought, I thought Ning Chao had the day off and wouldn't be here. Thinking of this, she walked over and patted his shoulder. You mentioned number 13 high just now, right? He turned around irritably and yelled, You scared me to death. Who is it? Weixia grabbed his arm anxiously. Ning Ning Chao, do you know Feng Huayan from number 13 high? Hearing her question, Ning Chao scratched his head awkwardly. I don't know him. What's up? She lowered her head, clasping her hands worriedly. My brother had a conflict with him. They got into a fight, and the other party won't accept our compensation and says they're taking my brother to court. He gritted his teeth in anger and snorted. These rich kids, all they know is how to use their power to bully others. With that, his face darkened, and he handed Wei Xia a small knife. I don't know the guy, but I can help you beat him until he submits. Hearing this, she waved her hands in refusal. No, violence will only make things worse. Afterwards, she went to find another classmate, Lu Sijia. Do you know anyone from number 13 high? Her lipstick application paused, and she replied, I don't, but the class president knows people there. I'll help you ask him. Hearing the class president's name, Wei Xia turned abruptly. No need, thank you, Lu Sijia. Lu Sijia was confused. Huh? Then she found her short-haired friend, Feng Immo. Do you know anyone from number 13 high? She replied, I don't really know anyone from number 13 high. Wei Xia asked many classmates at school. After a while, without getting the desired result, she walked back to the classroom in a daze. School was out, and it was pouring rain outside. Great. Wei Xia wandered around, completely lost. She had asked everyone she knew, but it seemed no one could help. Suddenly, her phone rang nonstop. Wei Xia answered, full of worry. Annie, are you still thinking about what to do about Gao Hang? Hang. Annie Lin on the other end of the line said happily, Xia, Hang's matter is resolved. Wei Xia was so surprised her jaw dropped. Annie Lin continued, luckily your friend the class president said a few words and got them to drop the lawsuit. Now your cousin's record is clean. Hearing this, she remembered the class president's nonchalant demeanor. Annie Lin interrupted her. Seriously, when he called, I was terrified. He said we don't need to thank him, but I think we should at least meet him and treat him to a meal. Wei Xia sighed. I know. I'll go thank him. Outside, the rain was still falling. Wei Xia, dressed neatly and carrying a gift bag, bowed and said, Hello, Annie. I'm Lin Wei Xia, the class president's classmate. I'm here to see him. The woman replied kindly, Just call me Annie Chin. The young master is upstairs. Walking into the house, she looked around. She fumbled for the light switch, wondering what was going on in the room. The light came on, and she saw the class president collapsed on the floor in a corner, surrounded by beer cans, a complete mess. He looked disheveled, and it was clear he had been smoking. Wei Xia walked over and bowed slightly. Class president, thanks to you, Gao Hang's problem is solved. Without your help, things would have been terrible. Thank you. Before she could finish, he sneered, Oh, I'm really something, aren't I? Then his face darkened. Could you be any more fake, Lin Wei Xia? He lowered his head. If you don't want to be around me, then leave. Wei Xia was silent, staring at him thoughtfully. Then she placed the gift bag on the floor. All right then, I won't disturb you. Outside, the rain poured down, and the class president's figure inside the room looked lonely. He stared blankly at the wound on his hand, watching it slowly bleed. Then he clenched his fist tightly, and blood dripped down drop by drop. He wondered why he couldn't feel even a trace of pain. Then he picked up his phone to call someone, only to hear a beeping tone. We're sorry. The number you have dialed is temporarily unavailable. Beep beep. He angrily threw his phone to the ground, then buried his head in his hands, completely enveloped in darkness. He was so desperate, it was as if he were falling into an abyss. In the end, everyone will abandon me, won't they? The poor class president struggled in his own terrible nightmare, an invisible hand gripping his shirt tightly, pulling him down. He reached for the light, exhausted. No, Mom, no. Just then, a voice echoed, Class president, class president. He slowly opened his eyes and saw it was Wei Xia. He turned his face away, his breathing quickening. Wei Xia picked up a cotton swab, dipped it in some medicine from a bottle, and carefully tended to the class president's wound. The wound was still bleeding, and he was now staring intently at Wei Xia. Feeling his gaze, she suddenly blushed and turned her face away to avoid him. Suddenly, he grabbed Wei Xia's hand. He moved closer to her, testing her coldly. Seeing this, she froze, speechless. As if sensing something, he recoiled and said, Are you afraid of me? With that, he let go of her hand and then continued lazily. The medicine is applied. You can go now. Hearing this, Wei Xia lowered her head and didn't answer. Just then, Annie Chin came in with a first aid kit. Wait a moment, Miss Lin. she said urgently. Our young master isn't close to anyone usually, but you're the first girl to come to our home. Could you please help me apply his medicine? He probably won't get angry. Every year on his birthday, he goes out alone and comes back covered in injuries. He won't tell me anything no matter how I ask. With that, she handed her the first aid kit. Then she lowered her head and continued, if he did anything wrong, I apologize to you on his behalf first. By then, the class president had already stood up and walked away. He sat on the sofa and turned on the TV. Wei Xia also walked over and sat next to him, asking curiously, are you watching Game of Thrones? Which character do you like? Hearing this, he looked at Wei Xia, didn't answer, and asked back, what about you? Who do you like? She answered calmly, Arya, because she's brave. He reached for a can of beer and said, I don't really like anyone. All the characters in it have a tragic side. If I had to choose one, it would probably be the imp. With that, he raised the beer can to his lips. His birth was a mistake. His mother died in childbirth giving birth to him. As soon as he finished speaking, he took a big gulp of beer, then added, but he's just a lecherous, hypocritical, and frivolous guy. Who wouldn't hate him? Wei Xia smiled and replied, but in my eyes, that lechery and frivolity are actually his way of hiding his kindness. Even as a dwarf, he still has to face the scorn of others and the hatred of his family. He understands the truth, yet he still chooses to live. He said coldly, have you finished watching it all? Wei Xia shook her head. Not yet, but I've finished reading the original novels. Hearing this, he laughed. You actually managed to read such a thick book. She said casually, yeah, because I didn't have many friends before. With that, she stood up. The rain has stopped. I have to go. The class president suddenly grabbed her hand and then said, didn't you say you came to thank me? Stay and have a meal with me. You can leave after we eat. Wei Xia looked at him awkwardly, then at the messages constantly popping up on her phone. Annie Lin had sent a message asking, Xia, did you go to your classmate's house? He's our family's great benefactor. Treat him to a good meal. I'll give you the money when you get back. She looked at her phone and sighed helplessly. A moment later, Wei Xia walked to the kitchen and stared blankly at the empty refrigerator. She said helplessly, there's nothing in the fridge. The class president, with his arms crossed, leaned against the wall and replied, oh, there might be some frozen dumplings. The housekeeper made them in advance. Want some to tide you over? She looked happily towards a fridge. Then let's have dumplings. She watched the dumplings tumbling in the pot, each one plump and tempting. Wei Xia's phone rang nonstop. While chopping green onions, she said to him, Class president, can you get the phone for me? The class president looked at the phone. It was a call from Lu Xijia. Hearing the name, she stopped what she was doing, a surprised look on her face. Then she reached for the phone, but he held it up high, teasing her. Then he skillfully pressed the answer button, then held the phone to her ear, making her girlish heart flutter with shyness. The person on the other end said, hello. The class president mischievously tapped Wei Xia's ear with the phone in his hand. Xijia on the other end said, Wei Xia, what are you doing? He immediately replied, it's the class president. The young master feigned a cough. Ahem. Xijia immediately replied, is someone with you? Hearing this, she quickly snatched the phone and blurted out, I've already promised to eat with someone else. Xijia continued, oh, so you have someone you like too. Hearing this, the class president subconsciously pouted, while the girlish Wei Xia replied shyly, I don't. Xijia on the other end said sadly, Wei Xia, the class president rejected me. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. If only he liked me even 1% as much as I like him. Hearing this, Wei Xia's mood sank. Looking at the boiling dumplings in the pot, Xijia spoke again. And Zheng Zhaoheng confessed me too, but that guy is so lame. He doesn't get that I only want to be the class president's girlfriend. Wei Xia gently turned off the stove, then said, just wait a little longer. A while later, the two sat at the table eating. The class president pointed to the egg in his bowl and asked in surprise, there's even a fried egg. She smiled and said, yeah, there are no longevity noodles, just a fried egg. With that, she looked at him and smiled. Comrade, this is a day worth celebrating. The class president recalled the desperate moment from earlier and mused, a day worth celebrating. It was the image of a butterfly-like figure, bringing light, pulling his hand to escape the abyss. The class president took a bite of the egg with mixed feelings, then smiled and said, Lin Wei Xia, talking like that just makes me like you more. Then he rested his chin on his hand and smiled at her smugly. I'm going to pursue you. Hearing this, Wei Xia froze. She quickly turned back to the kitchen. The next batch of dumplings is boiling. I'll go check on it. After dinner, the class president saw her to a taxi, but he got into the car and sat next to her. Wei Xia looked at him, confused. What are you doing? He tilted his head and said playfully, I'm taking you home. His phone suddenly received a notification. Wei Xia shyly turned her face to the window. It was a message from Chi Wei Minghua, saying her little class president was being bullied by some guys for number 7 high right after she left the internet cafe, begging him to help her save face. She added pitifully, "Why aren't you replying? Are you ignoring me?" The class president replied coldly, "Busy right now." She felt like tearing the phone apart and throwing it out the window. "Busy my ass." He looked at his phone, a slight smile on his lips. Then he subconsciously glanced at Weixia, who was playfully making faces at her reflection in the window. He tilted his head and chuckled to himself, because I have someone else to worry about too. The car soon arrived in front of the apartment building. Weixia immediately opened the door and got out. Suddenly, the class president called out to her from behind, "Lin Weixia." He gave her a model-like, heart-stopping smile. "Good night." Seeing this, Weixia pursed her lips, lost in thought. Then she gripped her umbrella tightly, looked at him, and said, "Good night." Before she knew it, it was morning. Fang Yimou, walking ahead, looked back at Weixia and said, "Weixia, I heard the class activity for Christmas Eve is a gift exchange. Have you thought about what you're going to give?" She replied, "I don't have any ideas yet." Fang Mo's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I heard we'll be randomly drawing gifts prepared by others. I wonder who will get mine. It's like fate." Weixia happily pinched her cheek. "Who says no one will pick it? I want it." She immediately threw herself into Weixia's arms. "Ah, you're the best." A while later, Sijia sat excitedly across from Weixia. "Weixia, guess what gift I prepared?" She looked at the pile of homework and said absently, "I can't guess." Lu Sijia helplessly took out the gift. "Look at this." Weixia recognized it immediately. That's the brand the class president likes. Then she looked down, deep in thought. "I don't have anything decent. Maybe I'll just give a book." Just then, her phone rang. It was Gao Hang's miserable plea for help. She replied coldly, "Oh, so you're panicking. Beg me." "Hey, wait, sis, help me." A while later, she arrived. Gao Hang stood beside her, dejected. "I played the balloon shooting game for an hour and lost all the money in my pocket. I don't have a single cent left." "Sis, you learn everything so fast. Help me try once." With that, he looked at Weixia pleadingly. She closed one eye, aimed at a balloon, and prepared to shoot. "I'm not very good at this." The owner leisurely cracked sunflower seeds and said, "Hey, if everyone knew how to play, my little stall would go out of business, wouldn't it? No need to say more. Our big sister here has already popped 2 of your balloons." The owner was shocked and disbelieving. He actually hit them all. "Is this girl cheating?" Gao Hang shouted with joy. "Oh my God, that's amazing." Ding! A super bright teddy bear appeared. While patting Lin Weixia's shoulder, he flattered her, saying, "As expected, sis is the best." The owner really lost out this time. She hugged the teddy bear and said, "This doll is too heavy. How about I take it to class for the Christmas gift exchange?" Gao Hang immediately said, "Hey, don't." He hurriedly snatched the teddy bear into his arms and tossed the ball to her, because this is useful. "I plan to give it to someone." She asked curiously, "Oh, is there a girl you like?" He blushed shyly and buried his head in the teddy bear. Seeing that Lin Weixia was about to leave, he quickly said, Hey, don't tell Mom when you get home." Then he quickly changed his subject, "But, hey sis, how are you so accurate? Teach me." Lin Weixia casually replied. The owner lowered the sights, "So you just have to aim a little lower than the original position." He replied naively, "Oh, so that's how it is." Lin Weixia looked at the basketball thoughtfully. "How about giving a basketball? But it's a bit too boyish." After some internal debate, she still chose a book. "How about a book? Whoever draws it can use it." Christmas arrived quickly. Lin Weixia walked behind Jia and her group. Her gift was wrapped in blue paper with the character Jia written on it. Her friend beside her said, "I saw it. Didn't you post about it on Weibo?" The Weibo post read, "Ahem, waiting for that person to arrive." The phone model suffix even had an S. Another person said, "Don't worry, everyone knows who you're giving it to. No one can touch it except for Bansheng." Suddenly, a hand grabbed Lin Weixia's hand, and the door behind her quickly shut. It was Bansheng. He pressed closely against Lin Weixia, scaring her into letting out a cry. He leaned down, smiling brightly at her. "Lin Weixia, what gift did you bring?" Outside, Jia turned to look at the door. The 2 people beside her asked in confusion, "Jia, what's wrong?" She replied, "I think I saw a shadow flash by." She turned the doorknob and called out loudly, "Lin Weixia, are you in there?" In the room, Lin Weixia was too nervous to move. Then she gently pushed Bansheng away. "Let go of me first." Seeing that he wasn't moving, she said helplessly, "A book. I brought a book." Hearing this, he finally let go. The door outside was also opened by Jia. "Lin Weixia, have you set up all the equipment?" She turned around and replied, "Yes, it's all done." The classroom was decorated very strikingly, and everyone was happily laughing and chatting. Si Jia approached Lin Weixia and asked, "Hey Lin Weixia, what's your Christmas wish?" Miss Congeniality, Lin Weixia began her pageant-style answer, "World peace." Si Jia was speechless. Could you be any more perfunctory? Hearing this, she began to think, "I want to see the sea." Si Jia sighed and gently tapped her on the head. "You idiot, what kind of wish is that? Change it." The guy next to them pretended to fix his hair and said, "Yeah, you can just drive or take the subway. I just don't like going to the beach. I'm afraid of getting a tan." Hearing this, Ning Chao scoffed, "With your skin, you could use a tan. You look like you grew up by the sea." As soon as he finished speaking, the two started fighting. Ning Chao shouted, "I'll fight you." The other guy laughed loudly. "You? Even 10 of you couldn't beat me." Suddenly, the lights went out and darkness enveloped the room. Just then, everyone shouted, "Ah!" The decorated Christmas tree lit up. The teacher stood at the podium. "All right, students, quiet down. Now we'll start drawing numbers to pick gifts." That mischievous guy licked his lips. He looked at the gift boxes, then picked up a ball. For some reason, Lin Weixia froze. Then the guy held the ball in his hands, laughing happily nonstop. Lin Weixia sighed. "It's not so bad that Xiao Minghua drew it." Walking out of the classroom, Si Jia immediately said to Lin Weixia, "I have good news and bad news. The bad news is Ban Sheng didn't draw the gift he wanted. Someone else got it. The good news is I drew Ban Sheng's gift." Looking at the glowing bracelet in the box, Si Jia said happily, "Isn't this just like the starry sky? You can tell from this style that Ban Sheng likes to look at the stars." Elsewhere, he sneezed because of her words, wiping his nose with his injured hand. "Who's talking about me?" In the classroom, Ban Sheng grabbed that boy's shoulder. After whispering for a moment, he quickly made a deal for the ball, then held it up and looked at her smugly. Humph. Lin Weixia felt very awkward seeing this. Just then, Si Jia unhappily grabbed her hand. "Ah, Si Jia, why are you walking so fast?" Suddenly, Ban Sheng leaned against the wall, looking at a message from Lin Weixia, and smiled smugly. How did she know the gift I prepared was a basketball? He immediately sent her a voice message. "Just in case, it was your brother who told me." Hearing this, Lin Weixia was secretly annoyed. "Gao Hang, that traitor." Then she texted back, "How did Xiao Minghua agree? Did you give the basketball back to him?" He replied nonchalantly, "He's been wanting to borrow my beach house and equipment to go surfing. I approved it this time." In exchange for the basketball, he was more than happy to. The next day at school, Lu Si Jia stood awkwardly in front of Ban Sheng. "Ban Sheng, you're here." Lin Weixia sat in the corner, lost in thought. As soon as he sat down, everyone gathered around, exclaiming, "A new basketball. It looks like something they sell at the shop by the school gate. What's so special about it?" As they were talking, the bell for class rang, and everyone happily left the classroom. Let's go to the sports field. We'll be marked down if we're late." Lin Weixia was stunned for a moment, then looked at the basketball on the chair, where 3 words were clearly carved. Ban Sheng's. Needless to say, Ban Sheng's precious basketball was taken out by Lin Weixia for a scrub. She energetically wiped the ball back and forth. Just then, Ban Sheng was already standing there with his arms crossed and said, "Lin Weixia." Then he approached her. "I spray-painted the words on it myself." He leaned close to her face and said clearly, word by word, "You can't wipe it off." Such close proximity made our budding romantic Lin Weixia blush, her heart pounding in a fluster. She dodged away, leaving only young Master Ban Sheng's "Love ya." In the following days, the students excitedly chatted around Lu Si Jia. Who do you think gave that basketball to Ban Sheng? He's been carrying it every day lately. Could it be from a girl? Otherwise, why would someone like him treat a cheap basketball like a treasure and not let anyone else touch it? Lu Si Jia immediately spoke up. All right, your imaginations are wild enough to host a novel writing session." Just then, Ning Chao came over and said, "Hey, classmate, don't you think these rich people are just spoiled? What's with the A class and F class? On the surface, classes are divided by overall ability, but isn't it really just about whose family has more money and power?" Lin Weixia immediately retorted, "We still have the Gaokao. With the Gaokao, no one has special privileges." As she spoke, she turned to look at him and asked, "By the way, are you still studying English at night?" Ning Chao covered his face in frustration. No, English just gives me a headache." Over by Si Jia, someone said, "But Si Jia, someone really saw Ban Sheng with a girl." The person next to them exclaimed, "Really? Who was it?" Suddenly, Si Jia called out Lin Weixia. She smiled kindly at Lin Weixia. "That basketball, you didn't give it to him, did you?" did you? Some of the rich kids looked on with anticipation, others with disdain, all watching Lin Weixia, waiting for a good show. Lin Weixia answered awkwardly, Si Jia. Her mind was in a mess. If I explain everything, will she believe me? Just then, Si Jia affectionately patted her on the head. Why are you so nervous? I was just kidding. As she spoke, Si Jia rested her cheek in her hand and sighed. I don't even know who ended up with my gift. I clearly gave a hint on Weibo. Is there really a classmate who doesn't go online? Hearing this, Ning Chao held his book and looked at her, laughing loudly. Do you really think you're some queen? Does everyone who goes online have to follow you? Si Jia angrily cursed. What's it to you? Seeing the lighter in his hand, she got even angrier. Hey, isn't that the lighter I bought? How did you snatch it? Ning Chao proudly held up the lighter. Thanks. I've never used a brand name lighter before. It feels pretty good. As soon as he finished speaking, he was met with a devastating punch from Si Jia. She unhappily returned her seat. Just then, Lin Weixia sighed and asked Ning Chao, why do you always provoke Si Jia like that? He rubbed his head, do I? He also said, confused, I guess I just can't stand her high and mighty, rich girl attitude. That evening, at Si Jia's house, Si Jia returned home to find a woman sitting on the living room sofa. It's Mom. Si Jia called out happily, Mom, when did you get here? Si Jia's mother, Wen Lian, said with extreme annoyance, did you call me back just to show me these disgraceful grades? Si Jia explained in a small voice, last time was an accident. It won't happen again. She asked in surprise, Mom, aren't you staying for dinner? Wen Lian replied while tapping on her phone, your sister is sick. I have to go back and take care of her. We'll have dinner together next time. I left your gift on the table. It's a special gift I brought back from France for you. Si Jia silently looked at the elaborately wrapped gift box on the table without responding. She smiled faintly and sighed internally. She's already remarried. What's the point of putting on an act? With that thought, Si Jia picked up the gift box and threw it directly into the trash can. Before going upstairs, just as when Lian reached the door, she remembered something and turned back to ask, by the way, I heard a very capable transfer student just joined your class. She criticized, a girl from such an ordinary background easily surpassed you. I really don't see what use you are. What was her name again? Si Jia lowered her head and said through gritted teeth, Lin Weixia. I won't give her another chance. The next morning, in the physics lab, Lin Weixia looked at the experiment flask in front of her in frustration, thinking it failed again. The practical exam is tomorrow. What did I go wrong? Bansheng suddenly walked in and asked with a smile. Not going home yet? He said gently, I'll teach you. Lin Weixia suddenly remembered Si Jia's question. That basketball, you didn't give it to him, did you? Did you? At this thought, her expression suddenly turned sad. She turned to Bansheng and said, don't bring that ball to school anymore. He immediately refused. No way. Lin Weixia continued softly, I have another basketball at home. I was originally going to give it to Chiu Minghua. He let out an "oh" upon hearing this. Bansheng said in a firm tone, he wouldn't dare to accept it. She frowned in confusion and asked, I heard Chiu Minghua is very afraid of you. Are people like you always so arbitrary? Bansheng retorted sternly. People like me? He walked closer to her, pressing in as he asked, are you saying I'm the kind of person who relies on his family to bully others and do whatever he wants? Bansheng joked like a complete playboy, if I really wanted to mess around, where do you think I would touch you? Hearing this, Lin Weixia's face couldn't help but turn bright red, and she was too shocked to speak. She hurriedly pushed him away. Lin Weixia quickly walked out the door, muttering, shameless. Thursday morning, in the physics lab, the teacher sternly reminded everyone, quiet. As I announced a few days ago, the Thursday physics practical exam is about to begin. This is a test in pairs of 2, and you have only 1 class period to complete it. Chiu Minghua scratched his head and said awkwardly, hee, I missed the last few classes, so I'm counting on you for this exam. Lin Weixia hesitated and replied, but I've never succeeded in this experiment. He then encouraged her, it's okay. It's still better than me knowing nothing. Just go for it. Hearing this, Lin Weixia didn't answer, but turned her gaze elsewhere. She saw Bansheng and Si Jia's group, who were focused on their experiment. Show it to the teacher. The teacher nodded in approval. This group did quite well, full marks. The teacher suddenly turned to Lin Weixia and Chiu Minghua's group and saw that they were still struggling. The teacher checked for a moment, then announced the score, 60 points. A moment later, the bell for the end of class rang. Lin Weixia sighed and said sadly, it really failed again. Qiu Minghua handed her a candy to comfort her. It's okay, don't sigh. Want a chocolate candy? She happily accepted it and said, thanks. He thought for a moment, then spoke, I think you've misunderstood things between me and Ban Sheng. He's always been good to me. Hearing this, Lin Weixia was immediately stunned and looked at Qiu Minghua in confusion. At this moment, outside the classroom corridor, a girl started gossiping. Lin Weixia is really something to make Ban Sheng willingly walk her home. Another girl added, I've seen it several times. For her, Ban Sheng would rather squeeze onto the bus than ride in his luxury car. A third friend was surprised to hear this and asked, really? How come I've never seen it? Suddenly, the bell for the end of class rang. Lin Weixia sighed sadly. Looks like I failed again. Qiu Minghua handed her a candy to comfort her. It's okay, don't sigh. Have some chocolate. She happily accepted it and said, thanks. Qiu Minghua thought for a moment and then said, I think you might have misunderstood things between me and Ban Sheng. He's just always been good to me. Hearing this, Lin Weixia looked at him in confusion. Qiu Minghua explained, you know what the people at this school are like, right? Just because my dad is a nouveau riche when I first came to this class, everyone made fun of me. But Ban Sheng didn't. He was always alone, very cold to everyone. He recalled Ban Sheng's lonely and aloof figure back then. Qiu Minghua narrated, when my family went bankrupt, I was really down. It was Brother Sheng who took the initiative to sell the school uniform design to the principal and have him give the project to my dad. In the end, he even had his own father transfer a project to my dad's company. He looked up at Ban Sheng in the distance and continued, thanks to him, our family is doing well now. So I consider him a brother for life. Don't listen to those rumors and be prejudiced against him. Qiu Minghua suddenly remembered something and told Lin Weixia, also, I was the one who gave your gift to Ban Sheng. It's my fault, don't blame him. He never asked me to give him anything. Hearing him say this, Lin Weixia's young heart suddenly fluttered, and her cheeks couldn't help but turn red. On the other side, a girl was fawning, Lu Sijia, you're so amazing, you got a perfect score on the physics practical exam just now. Sijia replied modestly, it's all thanks to Ban Sheng. We were in the same group. Their group passed by Lin Weixia's desk as she was packing her books to leave. Sijia asked kindly, Lin Weixia, want to go get some ice cream? My treat. Lin Weixia gently refused, no, it's okay. I have to go home to do some work later. She walked out of the classroom, rested her hands on the railing, and gazed at the scenery below. Lin Weixia's eyes widened as she stared blankly into the distance. She suddenly remembered her conversation with that handsome guy yesterday, Ban Sheng. Lin Weixia took out her phone and texted, I have something to tell you. Ban Sheng replied immediately, okay, I'll wait for you in the lab later. A little later, in the lab, Lin Weixia was already waiting inside. Ban Sheng opened the door and asked directly, do you know why you failed in the lab last time? She blinked and made a confused sound. He approached the beakers and test tubes and said gently, you didn't understand the principle. The order was reversed. You should measure the surface tension first, then the wetting phenomenon. Ban Sheng demonstrated a few steps for her, then patiently instructed, look like this. The capillary phenomenon is the result of the interaction between surface tension and wetting. Lin Weixia asked in confusion, did you call me to the lab just to teach me how to do the experiment? He didn't answer her question, but said coolly, repeat the steps I just did. He reminded her softly, be careful, don't get your sleeves dirty. She obediently replied, okay. After a while, the experiment was completed. Lin Weixia exclaimed happily, it finally worked. Suddenly, she quickly raised her hand to cover her eyes. Ban Sheng was holding a magnifying glass, using the sunlight to project a rainbow onto her, and said gently, a rainbow for you. Lin Weixia stared blankly at the seven-colored rainbow. Her eyes suddenly widened in surprise. Lin Weixia turned around and said softly, about before, I misunderstood you. I'm really sorry. Ban Sheng couldn't help but tease her. Am I that easy to appease, Lin Weixia? He seized this golden opportunity to propose. I'll walk you home later. Don't worry. I'll keep my distance. Hearing this, Lin Weixia didn't answer, but busied herself with cleaning up the experiment equipment. Ban Sheng smiled mischievously and said, besides that, you also owe me a wish. Consider it a sign of your sincerity for apologizing. She immediately turned around and said angrily, Ban Sheng. Before Lin Weixia could finish, he quickly left. She looked at his retreating back and muttered, "Give him an inch, and he'll take a mile." That afternoon, on a bustling little street, Lin Weixia, wearing a scarf and carrying a bag, strode forward. She glanced at Ban Sheng, who was following not far behind, and thought, "He's still following me." He walked with her in silence, his handsome face immediately drawing attention. Lin Weixia's cheeks suddenly turned red, and she thought happily, well, at least he kept his promise. Outside the classroom corridor, a female student started gossiping. Lin Weixia is really something to make Ban Sheng willingly walk her home. Another girl added, "I've seen it several times." Ban Sheng would rather take the bus with her than ride in his own luxury car. Another friend asked in surprise, "Really? How come I've never seen it?" Si Jia suddenly appeared behind them and said sternly, "It's not good to speak ill of people behind their backs." The girls guiltily hurried away. The girl with the ponytail whispered to Si Jia, "Si Jia, don't listen to their nonsense. I clearly saw Ban Sheng heading towards the internet cafe after school yesterday. Walking someone home, what a joke." She continued to comfort her. Since the first year of high school, there have been rumors that Ban Sheng had 100 girlfriends, right? And what happened? He's cool as ice, doesn't touch anyone. Si Jia replied in a low voice. "Exactly," the girl with the ponytail suggested. "Si Jia, if you really care, why don't you just ask Lin Weixia directly?" Si Jia said, feigning indifference, "It's just a rumor. What's there to believe?" There was no one else in the classroom now. Lin Weixia was concentrating on solving a math problem, but her face was extremely pale. She thought, "My stomach hurts so much. Why aren't the painkillers working?" Suddenly, a small paper bag was placed on her desk, accompanied by a voice, "Deskmate, I picked up a package for you." Lin Weixia asked in surprise, "My package?" Ning Chao nodded and replied, "That's right. Ban Sheng asked me to bring it to you." She curiously opened the bag. Inside were a few warm patches, a bottle of medicine, and a packet of instant drink mix. Lin Weixia thought in surprise, "It's warm patches and brown sugar, ginger tea." She hugged the bag to her chest, her eyes wide with surprise as she looked ahead. At that moment, Ban Sheng was happily chatting with a few male classmates at the classroom door. As if by telepathy, he turned around, glanced at her, and smiled slightly. Seeing this, Lin Weixia quickly turned her face away, her heart thumping uncontrollably. Ning Chao asked her curiously, "You didn't order this?" "Could be a gift from Ban Sheng." Lin Weixia immediately denied it. "It's mine. I forgot." Si Jia, sitting in the next row, glanced at Lin Weixia, her expression gradually becoming thoughtful. That afternoon, the sky poured down heavy rain, drenching the streets. Lin Weixia walked slowly along the road. Holding an umbrella, she looked back expectantly, thinking, "I was late today helping the teacher grade papers in the office, and it's raining. He probably won't come." Suddenly, a shout startled her, "Hey!" A gangster-like guy with a cigarette in his mouth looked at her and taunted, "Which school are you from? Come over here." The scar-faced man roared impatiently, "I told you to come over. Are you deaf?" Another one chimed in, not giving his face, "Huh, little sister? It won't be pretty if we have to come over there." Lin Weixia stopped in fear, not daring to move. Suddenly, a low, warm voice came from behind her, "Keep walking." Her eyes couldn't help but widen in surprise. Lin Weixia immediately turned around. Ban Sheng, wearing a black jacket and leaning on a cane, smiled at her reassuringly. "Let's go." She nodded slightly, indicating she understood. Lin Weixia started walking, while he followed quietly behind, protecting her. The cane hit the ground heavily, making a loud noise. Ban Sheng leisurely dragged the cane and swaggered in front of the group of thugs. He casually blew a bubble with his gum. Seeing him like this, the scar-faced man became a little wary. Ban Sheng threatened coldly, "From now on, open your eyes and see clearly. Don't mess with her." Then he walked away as if nothing had happened. At a fork in the road, he saw Weixia standing against a wall and asked in surprise, "What's wrong? Why did you stop walking?" She stood on her tiptoes to hold the umbrella for him and said softly, "Today, thank you." Ban Sheng picked up a strand of Weixia's hair and replied sadly, "Every day, it's either I'm sorry or thank you." He played with a lock of her long hair and said meaningfully, "When will I ever get to hear what I want to hear?" Ban Sheng gradually moved closer to Weixia, thinking of the words he had been waiting for, "I like you." At this moment, the two of them looked extremely intimate. intimate, their gazes intertwined in a deep stare. Suddenly, a dog ran over, barking wildly, then casually walked between them. It even wagged its tail happily as it passed, while Ban Shang and Wei Xia, startled, pulled apart. He sighed softly and said, "Fine, I can wait." Before he could finish his sentence, Wei Xia turned to leave. Ban Shang quickly grabbed her school bag and called out softly, "Hey." A piece of paper suddenly fell out of her bag, and he immediately pulled Wei Xia to his side. On the paper was an ad for a cello concert jointly organized by XXX, with a QR code to scan for a chance to win tickets to the live performance. Ban Shang looked at the paper and asked, "You like the cello?" Wei Xia reached out to snatch the paper back, but he quickly dodged, and she said irritably she was now pressed against him, trying to reach the paper he held up high. But at her height, Wei Xia couldn't reach it at all. She said in disappointment, "Forget it. Take it. It's yours." Meanwhile, two female students were filming Ban Shang and Wei Xia with their phones from a distance, whispering, "Are you recording?" "Sure, it's recording, it's recording." The next morning, a group of female students were excitedly discussing on the stairs. "See, I told you I saw Ban Shang walking Lin Wei Xia home. Lin Wei Xia is clearly a flirt, yet she always acts so fake and innocent." The red-haired girl heard this and said, "Lu Sijia, but I heard from my brother that Ban Shang seems to be serious about chasing a girl." Lu Sijia replied in a low voice, "All right, stop talking." Her hand trembled slightly, and the ice cream in her hand, almost completely melted, accidentally dripped onto her skirt. Seeing this, the girl said in a panic, "Lu Sijia, the ice cream dripped on your skirt." Another girl said worriedly, "What a shame, such a beautiful skirt." At this moment, everyone in the classroom was talking noisily. The teacher walked into the classroom with materials in hand. Seeing the teacher enter, everyone lowered their heads and pretended to study. Only one male student was still sitting on his desk, playing a 3-on-1 poker game. His friend saw this and gave him a warning look. He turned around and saw the teacher staring at him with a murderous glare, and the class began to snicker. The teacher shouted angrily, "Instead of studying during evening self-study, you're playing poker and sitting there laughing. All of you, get out and run 15 laps as punishment." That night, the sports field was empty. The teacher shouted, "Lin Wei Xia, step forward." The teacher said to her gently, "You can take a break. The rest of you, start running immediately." Wei Xia hesitated for a moment and replied, "Teacher." A jealous voice piped up, "Teacher, didn't you say the whole class would be punished together? Why does she get special treatment? Did she donate a building to the school or lab equipment? We're all born from a mother and father." A female student added, "Exactly, it's so unfair." "Teacher, don't you think this is ridiculous?" The students began to protest. "Exactly, why is she so special? If there's a punishment, we should all be punished together. It's so unfair." Lu Sijia started tying up her hair in annoyance and said, "What are you all chirping about? Hurry up and run." The teacher yelled, "Run faster." Everyone hesitated for a moment, then started running. After running for a while, some female students glanced at Wei Xia and said sarcastically, "It really pays to act all high and mighty, unlike us who are exhausted." Another girl sneered, "You could never learn her tricks." Hearing those demeaning words, Wei Xia silently lowered her head without any resistance. The next morning, by the classroom corridor, a blonde kid cleared his throat and said, "I saw her in the locker room. It's definitely her." Another guy laughed mockingly. "No way. Her goddess image is completely shattered." Fang Emo overheard this and fumed. "These guys." She walked over and grabbed Wei Xia's hand tightly. Fang Emo asked in confusion, "Wei Xia, they're saying all this about you, and you're not even angry?" She replied calmly, "Of course I'm angry, but getting angry is the most useless thing." Wei Xia gave a bright little smile and comforted her. "I'm fine. I have my own path to walk. Those who gossip behind my back have never been in my line of sight." Fang Emo said worriedly, "But I'm afraid they'll push their luck and never stop." That afternoon at school, a girl said urgently, "The disciplinary committee is here. Quick, give me a wet wipe to remove my makeup." A boy ran into the classroom to remind everyone, "They're here. They're here. Quick, put on your school uniforms. Hurry, hurry." On the other side, a lackey whispered, "Brother Jiang, why don't you go buy a name tag for Ban Shang? Don't get your name written down." Jiang Zhaoheng said irritably, "By my ass. I hate that guy the most. If he's willing to sell me a name tag, I'll write my surname Jiang backwards." The lackey asked in confusion, "Then what if the disciplinary committee writes down your name?" Fang Emo suddenly stepped forward and said sternly, "Where's your name tag? Why aren't you wearing it? You'll get points deducted for not wearing it." Jiang Zhaoheng with the air of a domineering CEO, replied arrogantly, I'm just not wearing my name tag today. What are you going to do about it? She replied coldly, nothing much. Just write down your name and deduct points. Hearing this, he narrowed his eyes meaningfully. He kicked the notebook out of Feng Mo's hand and yelled, on what grounds are you writing down my name? Jiang Zhaoheng pointed at Wei Xia in the distance and asked angrily, what about her? Why doesn't she have to tie up her hair? He irritably grabbed Wei Xia's shoulder. Hey, you can't always be so special. Jiang Zhaoheng leaned closer to her and said suggestively, not tying up your hair. Are you hiding something in there? Let's show everyone. Sijia saw this and was about to rush out to stop him, but the red-haired girl beside her held her back. Don't go, wait. Wei Xia shook off his hand. She turned around, walked straight past him, and said coldly, excuse me. Jiang Zhaoheng angrily pushed her and roared, I'm talking to you. Wei Xia lost her balance and pitched forward, revealing the hearing aid in her ear. Seeing it, Jiang Zhaoheng feigned surprise and asked, oh, what's this? Ban Shang suddenly appeared, shouting, don't touch her. Everyone started whispering, it's Ban Shang. Ban Shang is here. Why is he standing up for Lin Weixia? Could the rumors about them being together be true? They asked in confusion. Jiang Zhaoheng dares to provoke Ban Shang? Is he crazy? Hearing this, he smirked triumphantly. He suddenly grabbed her hair, then reached out and ripped the hearing aid from Wei Xia's ear, causing her ear to bleed. She clutched her ear in pain while the hearing aid was thrown to the ground. Wei Xia said, trembling, my ear, it hurts so much. Her ear bled more and more, and the students, upon seeing it, said mockingly, oh my God, she wears a hearing aid. Isn't she disabled? I knew it. I saw in the locker room during gym class. And she acted so high and mighty before. Isn't this hilarious? Feng Yamo, with tears in her eyes, called out worriedly, Wei Xia, are you okay? Can you hear me? Everyone asked each other in confusion. She can't hear us anymore. Ban Shang quickly stepped forward and tightly grabbed Jiang Zhaoheng's hand. He landed several heavy punches on his face without hesitation. At that moment, his eyes looked extremely dangerous. Jiang Zhaoheng's face turned pale with fear, and he trembled, stop hitting me. I can't take it anymore. Suddenly, the sound of hurried footsteps was heard, accompanied by a loud shout. Ban Shang. The teacher walked in and reminded him sternly, you're an excellent student. What is this behavior? Fighting like this? Quick, separate them. Ban Shang suddenly stood up, clenching his teeth without a word. He picked up a nearby chair, raised it high, and was about to smash it on Jiang Zhaoheng when a voice stopped him. Ban Shang. He immediately froze and turned to look behind him. Drops of blood splattered onto Ban Shang's handsome face. Wei Xia forced a gentle smile and said, I'm fine, don't be like this. Hearing this, Ban Shang fell silent, looking down without a word. He angrily threw the chair aside, and Wei Xia began to feel around. She thought to herself, where did my hearing aid fall? After a moment, she saw it nearby, and thought happily, there it is. Ban Shang quickly picked up the hearing aid and handed it to her. He helped Wei Xiao up and said softly, come with me. Ban Shang immediately pulled her away. The teacher, seeing this, panicked and asked, where are you two going? Class isn't over yet. He replied in a deep voice, I'll be back later to accept my punishment. The students started whispering as they watched. Oh my God, they just left like that? Are those two really together? Another girl replied, is there even a need to ask? It's so obvious. Lu Sijia just lowered her head at this moment, remaining silent. Soon, the two left the classroom as heavy rain poured down. Ban Shang took off his jacket and held it over Wei Xia to shield her from the rain. She asked in confusion, where are you taking me? Aren't we skipping class? Ban Shang held her blood-stained hand tightly and replied softly, I don't know. He turned to Wei Xia and asked, hey, is it uncomfortable to wear that thing? She pointed to her ear and asked back, I didn't hear you clearly. What did you just say? Ban Shang leaned close to her ear and said loudly, I asked, is it uncomfortable to wear that thing? Only then did Wei Xia reply, it's okay. I'm used to it. It's just that I can't, do strenuous exercise or sweat too much, or it'll get the hearing aid wet. Hearing this, he instructed her, wait a minute, I'll go. Call a taxi. After a while, the two arrived at a hotel. The female receptionist saw them and said, sorry, all our couple's rooms are booked. Wei Xia explained awkwardly, we're not a couple. Ban Shang said casually, a regular room is fine. The receptionist handed them the room key and said, I hope you and your girlfriend have a pleasant stay. He said coldly, she already said we're not a couple. Didn't you hear her? The receptionist, hearing this, replied awkwardly, I'm sorry. Ban Shang didn't say much more, immediately took the room key and left. Wei Xiao's heart fluttered at his action, and she thought, this guy Ban Shang, he's usually so nonchalant, but he's actually quite respectful of me in public. A while later, in the hotel room, Ban Shang said to her, "Go on, you take a shower first." Wei Xiao hummed softly in agreement. She thought shyly, why is there only one bed? A moment later, Wei Xiao had changed into a brand new tracksuit. She looked at the bag in front of her and thought, the things he just brought and medicine. Wei Xiao gently dabbed the blood on her ear with a cotton swab, hissing softly in pain. She slowly walked out of the bathroom. Wei Xiao handed the bag to Ban Shang and said, "Ban Shang, thank you for the medicine. Your hand is injured. Let me help you treat it." She looked up ahead, where Ban Shang was standing shirtless by the window, smoking, and said softly, "The wound." Wei Xiao looked at the long scar on his back and wondered, "What's that?" Ban Shang asked curiously, "Did you provoke Jiang Zhaoheng?" She replied softly. He rested his chin on his hand and continued, "Lu Sijia." While applying the medicine, Wei Xiao said it wasn't her. She wouldn't make fun of someone's shortcomings. Ban Shang leaned closer to her and asked softly, "What did you use?" Wei Xiao replied awkwardly, "I ran out of bandages, so I just wrapped it with a wrist guard for now." He let out a soft, "Oh," and she unconsciously avoided his gaze, looking elsewhere. Ban Shang moved even closer to her and called out gently, "Lin Wei Xia." She asked blankly him. He chuckled to himself, thinking, why is she so nervous? Meanwhile, Wei Xia shyly lowered her head. Her gaze immediately fell on Ban Shang's firm six-pack abs. Wei Xia quickly stood up and reminded him, "Hurry up and put on your clothes." Seeing this, he chuckled to himself, "Your attitude changes so quickly." Ban Shang hummed softly. He moved closer to her again and replied gently, "Okay." A while later, the two stood by the window, looking at the street view. Ban Shang spoke up, "Lin Wei Xia, the rain has stopped." He asked softly, "Want to go see a movie?" She said blankly, "See a movie?" Ban Shang turned his head and said meaningfully, "Or do you want to stay here with me?" Wei Xia had no choice but to compromise. "Let's go see a movie." That night, the two walked into the cinema together. The movie started, and Wei Xiao was engrossed, while Ban Shang dozed off beside her. He suddenly woke up with a start. She looked at him sleeping beside her and thought, is he asleep? Wei Xiao gently lifted the armrest. She let Ban Shang rest his head on her shoulder. Wei Xiao gazed at his sleeping face and thought, he's really fast asleep. Meanwhile, in a nearly empty internet cafe, only a few machines were still lit. Sijia, wearing headphones and blowing bubblegum, was playing a game with great skill. A man in a cool Batman costume came over to hit on her. "Hey, beautiful, all alone? Want to get to know each other?" Sijia stood up impatiently and replied bluntly, "Get lost." It was still drizzling outside. She walked while eating ice cream, thinking irritably, why am I still so annoyed? Sijia told herself, I clearly skipped class to relax. Suddenly, she bumped hard into someone, and the ice cream immediately fell to the ground. Sijia also lost her balance and fell, shouting angrily, "Hey, are you blind?" Ning Chao saw her and said with amusement, "Oh, where did this little fox, drenched by the rain, come from?" She didn't answer, just slowly got up. Sijia walked straight past him and said coldly, "Don't block my way." Ning Chao started to coax her. "Hey, seeing how pitiful you look, why don't you hang out with me?" Her footsteps suddenly stopped. Sijia lowered her head, silent and lost in thought. A moment later, on Chuanyu Street, a stall owner was complaining, "That damn guy. I told him not to drink, but he wouldn't listen. Now it's perfect. I can have a second spring, a third spring." A customer hurriedly comforted her, "Ma'am, don't be angry. A peaceful mind brings wealth." The stall owner held up a mirror and introduced, "Look at my new stock. What do you think?" Ning Chao took it and examined it for a moment, then asked, "This is a fake. You can't make much money from it. You got scammed, didn't you?" Suddenly, a man in a duck-billed cap appeared behind them, taunting, Little Ning brought his wife home, huh?" Chu Feng immediately turned around and threw something hard at his back. He instantly fell flat on his face, and everyone burst out laughing. Serves his big mouth right, always running his mouth. After a while, the sizzling sound and tempting aroma of grilled meat came from the grill. Lu Sijia looked at the restaurant in front of her and asked in surprise, "Where is this?" Chu Feng replied, "My family's little eatery. A young lady like you has probably never been to a place like this. Down to earth, isn't it?" He said softly, "You sit first, I'll go help out." Lu Sijia obediently sat down. A middle-aged aunt came over, handed her a towel, and asked, "You must be Chu Feng's classmate, right? Use this hot towel to wipe your hands." She replied politely, "Thank you, Annie." Soon, a plate of fragrant, steaming skewers was placed in front of her. Chu Feng said gently, "Try this. My family grilled it." Lu Sijia hurriedly took a bite. She thought in amazement, "Wow, this is so delicious." He asked curiously, "How is it?" She tried to hide her excitement and said quietly, "It's all right, I guess." Hearing this, Chu Feng immediately stood up and instructed, "Then you eat, I'll go help." He ran out to help his mother carry a heavy case of beer, then reminded her mom, "When you have time, go do square dancing with the Annie next door. Don't worry about things here." His mother smiled and replied, "What about you? Weren't you going to play basketball? Why are you busy here? Why insist on being busy here?" Chu Feng's father came out of the house and said gently, "You and your mom go do your things." He said confidently, "I can handle this alone." Seeing this, Lu Sijia's mood sank, and she thought, "So not everyone's family is like mine." She lowered her head, tears welling up in her eyes, thinking, "What a mess." After a while, Lu Sijia leaned against the door and said gratefully, "Thanks for this time. I'm done eating. I'll be leaving now." Chu Feng added, "Wait, I'll walk you home." She picked up her school bag and gently refused. "No need, you're busy." Lu Sijia slung the bag over her shoulder, turned to leave, and waved casually, saying, "I can go by myself." Suddenly, she stopped in her tracks. She turned her head and said with an appreciative smile, "Chu Feng, your family is really close." The next morning, an angry voice echoed in the teacher's office. "Lin Weixia, Lu Sijia, what were you two doing yesterday? Openly skipping class one after another. Do you still have any regard for Shanghai school rules?" The teacher continued sternly, "Do you even look like excellent students anymore? Write a 2,000-word self-criticism." The teacher said irritably, "Go write it in the hallway. You can only go back to class after you're done." The two went to the hallway to write their self-criticisms. Lu Sijia spoke up. "Why did you never tell me about your situation?" Wei Xiao's eyes grew sad, and she remained silent. After thinking for a moment, she turned around and said softly, "I'm sorry." At the same time, Lu Sijia also turned her head and said gently, "It's okay." Seeing this, Lu Sijia smiled happily and said, "Look at the two of us." She folded the paper and asked gently, "Are you done writing too? Let's go to class together." Wei Xia nodded in response, "Mm." The two walked and chatted, very happy. Wei Xia still had unspoken thoughts, thinking silently, Sijia. Suddenly appearing before them was Ban Shang, who was standing at the classroom door talking to a male student. Both Wei Xia and Sijia froze the moment they saw Ban Shang. Sijia remembered what her classmates said yesterday. They got back together. "I thought I'd get to see a good show, geez." Ban Shang has finally come to his senses. Lu Sijia is too desperate to be famous. At this thought, she abruptly pulled her hand back from Wei Xiao's. She walked forward silently, ignoring Wei Xiao's call from behind. "Sijia." Suddenly, a hand reached out to stop Wei Xia. "Classmate Lin, wait a moment." It was a male student from their class, wearing glasses. He said calmly, "It's about the program for the school anniversary arts festival. I heard you can play the cello. There's only a little over a month left in this semester." He hesitated for a moment and asked, "Don't you want to leave a mark this semester?" Wei Xia said in surprise, "Who told you I can play the cello?" The male student scratched his head in a fluster and replied, "I just heard it." "Classmate, the first prize for this school festival program is very generous. Please consider helping out." He had hit a nerve. Besides, don't you want to play the cello on stage? Hearing this, Wei Xia remembered herself practicing and mimicking playing the instrument. She bit her lip, hesitating. Wei Xia sighed softly, as if in tacit agreement. The male student seized the opportunity, took out a registration form, and said, "Then if you don't mind." He said excitedly, "I'll sign you up for a cello performance. Okay?" In an instant, he finished writing. He smiled happily and said, "Thank you for your cooperation." That afternoon, Wei Xiao walked behind Ban Shang, secretly glancing at him, wanting to say something but hesitating. He was on the phone giving instructions. "We're at your place. Go on in. See you at the old spot tomorrow." She suddenly grabbed his sleeve and called out softly, "Wait." Ban Shang said, somewhat surprised, "Don't want me to go? Fine, I'll stay with you a little longer." Wei Xia said hesitantly, "I know you usually like to build drones, and you helped me fix my hearing aid last time. I also wanted to ask." She looked up and asked curiously, "Can you fix musical instruments?" Banshong answered honestly, no. Hearing him say that, she let go of his hand, a look of disappointment on her face. Oh, okay. Banshong immediately grabbed her hand again and said calmly, but my family has a pretty good cello you can use. Weixia shook her head and refused. Thank you, but I don't want to trouble you. He tried to persuade her. No one knows who sent us that cello. If you don't use it, it's just going to sit there collecting dust. You can come to my place to practice. Just consider a loan from me. Banshong gently patted her head and said in a doting tone, but I'm not lending it for free. If you win the prize money, you have to give me half. The next day, Weixia came to Banshong's house. In the garden, he was practicing flying a drone while she sat at a table practicing the cello. Weixia thought to herself, Banshong's family really does have a cello. She played with concentration, closing her eyes to feel the clear notes. He asked me to come to his house to practice this time to prepare for the school festival. Weixia muttered to herself, when I'm practicing, he doesn't bother me. Banshong was lying on a chair reading a book, while Weixia practiced intently beside him. He secretly glanced at her. She still had a lot on her mind. She wanted to tell Si Jia, but was interrupted every time. In the end, she avoided talking about Banshong, she thought. In Banshong's room, at this moment, he saw her constantly typing on her phone and asked, who are you chatting with? Weixia replied intently while typing, Zhao Jingze, a friend I met at competition. He's amazing at the cello, a genius. She continued softly, there's something I don't quite understand, so I wanted to ask him. Hearing this, Banshong's face fell, and he just let out a cold oh. Weixia continued texting, completely ignoring him. Banshong quickly snatched her phone. She jumped up in anger, trying to grab it back, get it back to me. After a while, Weixia still couldn't get it back. He started teasing her, not going to continue. She didn't answer, just withdrew her hand. Weixia turned to leave helplessly, saying, if you want it, just take it. Hearing her say that, Banshong turned around, let out an indifferent oh, and started looking through her phone. Banshong suddenly sensed something was off and glanced over. Weixia's hand shot out, trying to snatch the phone, and said angrily, give me back my phone. But unfortunately, she lost her balance and fell right on top of Banshong. He smiled at her and spoke softly. Weixia scrambled to her feet, stammering and flustered. I'm sorry. Banshong reached out, held her head, and pulled her face close to his, making her extremely shy. She yelled, Banshong. Their lips were almost touching. Banshong asked in a suggestive tone, should I lean in and kiss you, or should you lean down and kiss me? He said with a gentle smile, you choose. Suddenly, her hand slipped and the phone fell. Banshong quickly picked up the phone and looked at her with an intriguing gaze. Weixia said, annoyed, give it back. She reached for the phone, but his hand didn't budge. She then said through gritted teeth, let go. Banshong finally relented, saying softly, I'll stop teasing you. Go practice. Weixia quickly snatched the phone and left. He walked past her and reminded her softly, there's lemonade in the fridge if you're thirsty. She sat back down in her chair and nodded in response. Thanks. Hearing this, Banshong suddenly stopped in his tracks. He turned his head and said slowly, enunciating each word, you're welcome. The next day, Weixia and Lu Sijia were having breakfast together in the school cafeteria. Lu Sijia was looking down thoughtfully, tearing off small pieces of bread, prompting a confused Weixia to ask, Sijia, what's wrong? Hearing this, she flusteredly changed the subject. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, right. How's your cello practice going? Weixia, sucking on a lollipop, replied, it's okay. What about you? I heard from Fang Mo that you also signed up for a performance. Lu Sijia said with some worry, it's just so. Weixia confided softly, actually, I'm quite looking forward to the gala. It's my first time performing the cello in front of so many people. Seeing this, Lu Sijia said gently, you have to do well. Finally, the day of the school festival arrived. Everyone in the dressing room was in a flurry. Put this here, hurry up, those who are about to perform, get changed quickly. Weixia had already changed into a gorgeous nude-colored, off-the-shoulder dress. Fang Mo praised, girl, you look like a fairy descended to earth today. Your makeup is so beautiful. She asked Weixia, so are you still nervous? Weixia answered honestly, super nervous. My heart pounds every time I hear my name called. Li Shangron walked over with an impatient look and said, hey, Ning Chao seems to be looking for you urgently. He's outside. She thought to herself, geez, why is she so fierce? Weixia turned around. Okay, thanks. Li Shangron watched Weixia leave with jealousy, thinking she looked so good with just a little dressing up. Watching Weixia hurry away, she said softly, Sijia, Lin Weixia is really well prepared this time. Si Jia's expression suddenly turned serious. Shangrong noticed and asked softly, "Are you ready?" Si Jia and Shangrong exchanged a knowing glance, looking towards Lin Wei Xia's cello in the corner. Meanwhile, Wei Xia was running across campus, calling out Ning Chao. He asked in confusion, "What's up? What did you need me for, deskmate?" She asked, bewildered, "Huh? Weren't you looking for me?" Li Shangrong just told me. Ning Chao scratched his head, baffled. "I asked her to pass a message. I need to go ask her." A moment later, Wei Xia rushed back to the auditorium. Fang Yimou saw her and chided in a low voice, "Wei Xia, where have you been? Your performance is next. Everyone's been looking for you." She replied calmly, "It's fine. I'll go get ready now." Wei Xia was now sitting backstage as the host's voice came on. Next up is a cello solo by Lin Wei Xia. She began to turn down the volume on her hearing aid as the stage curtain slowly rose. Senior Cheng Wutuan smiled and encouraged her. "You can do it." Wei Xia nodded in thanks. Ban Shang, wearing a baseball cap, sat in the audience, thinking happily, it's starting. Wei Xia gently placed the bow on the strings, closing her eyes to savor the crisp, bright sound. The stage curtains slowly opened, and the spotlight shone directly on her. Wei Xia raised her head, her gaze firm as she looked straight ahead. Ban Shang, sitting in the audience, grinned under his baseball cap, thinking it's starting. Wei Xia gently drew the bow across the strings, closing her eyes to savor each clear note in her ear. Suddenly, her instrument let out an extremely harsh, grating sound. She panicked slightly, thinking, what's happening? Why is my cello making this sound? Instantly, with a snap, the cello string broke. Wei Xia froze, thinking in confusion. The string broke. The audience below began to whisper and complain. How annoying. What is this? Is this all she's got? Don't waste our time. Hurry up. If you can't do it, get off the stage and let the next person on. Seeing that things were going badly, Cheng Wutuan said to someone in the hall, turn off the lights first. The stage lights went completely dark, but the audience's voices could still be heard. Hey, student on stage, can you do it or not? If not, get down quickly and let someone else on. Yeah, just go, it's embarrassing. Hearing this, Wei Xia just silently lowered her head. A classmate approached Ban Shang and whispered, Hey, Ah Shang, aren't you going to go on stage and be the hero who saved the damsel in distress? He replied calmly, she can handle it herself. Hearing this, he gossiped in surprise, Oh, you trust her that much? Ban Shang smiled casually and replied, I trust her. Otherwise, how could she be the one I have my eye on? After a moment, the stage lights came back on. Wei Xia was now holding a different, ancient-looking instrument, and melodious music once again filled the air. This piece, The Butterfly Lovers, was filled with sorrow and beauty, like the resonance of two hearts. She gradually played at a faster, more intense pace, but the torrent of fate would eventually separate them, like broken notes, like an irreparable parting. She imagined herself and Ban Shang as the legendary Liang Shanbua and Zhu Yingtai, who, despite their best efforts, could not be together. Wei Xia became more and more engrossed, completely immersed in her own world of music. The music stopped, and she was jolted back to reality, opening her eyes and looking straight ahead. Wei Xia stood up and bowed politely to the audience. Everyone in the audience applauded and cheered. That was amazing. Some boys in the audience started discussing excitedly. That was incredible. I declare her my new goddess from today on. I'm going to pursue her. But get in line, brothers. She's definitely going to be popular. Ban Shang shot them a glare after hearing that. The guy suddenly felt a chill down his spine, thinking, is the AC turned down too low? Why do I feel so cold? After a while, Cheng Wutuan came out and announced, Congratulations to Lu Sijia for winning first prize in this year's school festival for her modern dance performance. Everyone quickly surrounded Sijia, showering her with praise. Sijia, your performance was amazing. First prize, that's incredible. She said excitedly, my treat tonight, let's all celebrate. Cheng Wutuan suddenly continued. However, Lin Wei Xia's performance of The Butterfly Lovers left a deep impression on everyone. She announced loudly, the organizing committee has decided to award her a special prize. Wei Xia was shocked to hear this news. The committee gave her a bouquet of flowers and said with a smile, Congratulations. The prize money for the special award is 1,000 yuan. She took it blankly and replied softly, "Thank you." Seeing this, Si Jia's smile froze, while her friends gossiped with displeased faces. A special prize? What's that? She really stole the show today. They whispered. Was her accident on purpose? Hearing this, Si Jia clenched her fists guiltily. Outside the hall, Wei Xiao ran up and called out, "Ban Shang, were you looking for me?" She saw Cheng Wutuan and said happily, "Senior." Wei Xiao said gratefully, "I was wondering why I didn't see you after the performance. Thank you for helping me just now." She smiled gently and replied, "You're welcome. My name is Cheng Wutuan. Just call me Wutuan." Wei Xiao recalled how, when she was lost and alone in the middle of the stage, a gentle hand was suddenly placed on her shoulder, calling softly, "Lin Wei Xia." Cheng Wutuan had come over, patted Wei Xia's shoulder, and asked softly, "The school doesn't have a cello, but there are other instruments backstage in the school band's room. Can you play anything else?" She had replied yes. Back in the present, Cheng Wutuan said cheerfully, in terms of seniority, "Well, I'm sort of Ah Shang's distant cousin." She casually put her arm around the person next to her and introduced, "This is Li Yuran. We've been best friends since we were kids." She leaned closer to Wei Xia and said meaningfully, "If you want to thank someone, you should thank Ah Shang. He's the one who asked me to look out for you. He cares a lot about you." Li Yuran teased, "Ah Shang, is this your girlfriend?" Ban Shang replied. He glanced at her and answered honestly, still pursuing her. Seeing this, Li Yuran turned to leave, not forgetting to give him a disdainful gesture, scoffing, "TSK, so cheesy. We're leaving. You can take your time pursuing her." Ban Shang approached Wei Xia, lightly touched her lips, and asked, "Who put this lipstick on you? It's so thick." Wei Xia looked at him blankly and said softly, "Huh? Does it look bad?" Seeing her beautiful face so close, Ban Shang couldn't help but swallow. He quickly pulled his hand back and said gently, "No, it's beautiful." Wei Xia suddenly remembered something and said, "All right, the prize money this time is 1,000 yuan. I promise to give you half, but it might not be enough to compensate for your cello." Ban Shang suggested bluntly, "What cello? I don't want money. Treat me to a meal." She asked curiously, "What do you want to eat?" He thought for a moment and replied, "Buns." Wei Xia was stunned when she heard this. "Huh?" Ban Shang quickly turned and walked ahead, saying calmly, "What huh? If we don't go now, I might change my mind." A while later, in the bun shop, the young couple sat eating together, looking very close. Ban Shang asked doubtfully, "You can play the air or two?" Wei Xia gently took a bite of her bun. She immediately burned her tongue and fanned it with her hand to cool it down. He thoughtfully pushed a glass of water towards her and said softly, "Eat slowly. Have some water." Wei Xia then picked up the glass he offered. She took a sip of water and replied, "I learned the cello from a teacher when I was little. Whenever I arrived at his house early, he would be teaching his daughter the eru, so I picked up a little." Ban Shang praised, "You improvised really well." Wei Xia explained, "Actually, that's the only song I know how to play. I didn't expect it to come in handy." After a while, as the two finished eating and were about to leave, the shop owner happily ran out and said loudly, "Take care. You two siblings are so good looking." Ban Shang glanced at her, looking a bit displeased. The owner continued to gush, "Your parents must have been very good looking when they were young. Seeing you two stand together is like a movie poster." Ban Shang, who was walking, suddenly stopped. He turned his head and asked unhappily, "Do we really look like siblings?" Seeing him like this, the owner forced a smile and answered cautiously, "No, you don't." "What's wrong?" Ban Shang didn't answer and just left with a stern face. The next morning, as Wei Xia was eating bread, Fang Yamo walked up and said flatteringly, "So fairies eat breakfast too." Wei Xia then playfully poked her forehead. "Not only do I eat breakfast, but I'll also be collecting your composition homework later." Hearing this, Fang Mo froze, muttering, "I'm doomed. I haven't done my homework yet." At the same time, Lu Xijia and Li Shangrong also walked into the classroom. The female students next to them whispered. They stopped hanging out with her so quickly. How pitiful. Is it because of Ban Shang? I knew they would fall out. Wei Xiao looked sadly towards the door as the whispers continued. After offending Lu Xijia, she'll definitely be isolated. A student from Class F doesn't deserve to hang out with those from Class A. As soon as Xijia sat down, the female students gathered around to flatter her. "Xijia, you got a new bag? Wow, is this a limited edition? I've always wanted this bag, but couldn't get it." Li Shangrong said pointedly, "Exactly. You should have changed it long ago. That kind of bag doesn't suit you, It looks cheap, and you're always coveting other people's things. Si Jia put the bag on the table and said impatiently, all right, let's not talk about irrelevant things. As soon as she finished speaking, her friends quickly dispersed. Wei Xiao looked at her sadly, thinking, friendship is sometimes like a fragile piece of art, unless you're always careful with it. She remembered Si Jia's warm smile from before and felt nostalgic. Otherwise, when it shatters, it still hurts a lot, because I've seen it at its most beautiful. During the break, Lu Si Jia asked impatiently, hey Shangrong, can you do or not? Lu Shangrong, who was painting her nails, replied, of course, but I have to do it quickly. If teacher Lu comes, my nail polish will be confiscated. Shangrong started acting cute towards Ban Shang, who was standing nearby. Brother Ban Shang, Si Jia, and I want to go surfing in Fenghai this weekend. Do you have time to teach us? Ning Chao walked over and said to Ban Shang doubtfully, hey, my desk mate had a cello performance last night. You don't really think she broke the instrument herself, do you? Didn't you check? The hand holding the drone controller suddenly stopped. He turned to Wei Xia and asked, did someone tamper with it? She nodded and replied, yes. Then she turned to look at Lu Si Jia. Lu Si Jia gently reminded Shangrong, you smudged your nail polish. Shangrong frantically wiped it off, saying, oops. Ning Chao asked with a sneer, what are you so guilty about? Shangrong glared at him. Hearing this, Ban Shang said sternly, who did it? Wei Xia smiled and replied, it was me. I got nervous on stage and used too much force, breaking the string. I also broke your cello. I'm sorry. He didn't respond, but walked closer to her. Ban Shang lowered his head and said in a deep voice, are you sure no one tampered with it? Tell me. The people around started whispering, so someone really did tamper with it. I knew it. How could a string just snap like that? That's terrible. So sinister. Ahem. It couldn't be Lu Si Jia, could it? Shangrong pursed her lips in fear. Wei Xiao shook her head and said with a smile, no, it was just me being careless. The bell for class rang, and everyone quickly returned to the classroom. Suddenly, someone bumped Wei Xia's shoulder. It was Li Shangrong, who turned her head to give Wei Xia a warning glare. A note was taped to the headboard, final exam countdown, 0 days. As Wei Xia was getting dressed to leave, her aunt called out to remind her, remember to buy some groceries on your way and take an umbrella. She obediently took the umbrella and replied softly, I know. With that, she opened the door and went out. As soon as she got downstairs, she saw Ban Shang waiting for her. He turned to look at her and said happily, we don't look like siblings today. Wei Xia retorted, confused, huh? Ban Shang leaned closer and said in a low voice, we're not dressed like siblings today. More like a couple. With that, he took the umbrella from her hand. Ban Shang said gently, let's go. We'll get breakfast, then go to the exam. Wei Xiao followed him and asked curiously, what are your plans for the winter break? He replied, going abroad, like every year. But if I see any nice scenery this year, I'll take pictures for you. After a while, the teacher announced loudly, the final exam is over. Please put down your pens. We will now collect the papers. The students walked out of the exam hall in high spirits, all gossiping and asking each other, want to compare answers? The holiday's finally here. Forget it. Are you going straight home or back to the classroom first? Suddenly a voice called out, Lin Wei Xia. Lu Si Jia walked over and said bluntly, I didn't do that. Wei Xiao replied softly, I know. She smiled gently and continued, thank you for taking care of me this semester, Si Jia. Si Jia listened, deep in thought, looking at her without replying. The next day, at the shop, a regular customer came in and asked in surprise, where's your chow hang? Why is only Wei Xia helping out? The aunt sighed wearily. Don't even mention it. He's been playing games at home since the holiday started. Won't even leave his room. The customer sympathized. Kids these days are all like that. They don't understand their parents. Wei Xia is such a good kid. The aunt said happily, I know, right? Come again when you have time. Over here, Wei Xia was looking at her phone when a notification sound went off. She took off her gloves. It was a message from Ban Shang. He had sent her many beautiful landscape photos. Wei Xia smiled happily and replied to the message. So beautiful. A while later, the aunt and Wei Xia brought delicious dishes to the table. The aunt gently reminded her, put down your phone. It's time to eat. The aunt suddenly took out 2 bright red envelopes and said excitedly, here, these are red envelopes for you too. I wish you academic progress and good health in the new year. Wei Xia replied politely, thank you, Annie. Chao Heng took the red envelope and asked suspiciously, Mom, why is sister's red envelope thicker than mine? The aunt smacked him on the head and scolded, you have a nerve to ask? Your sister worked hard at the shop during the winter break while you just played games at home. The keyboard at home is probably worn smooth by you. Chow Hang retorted, "It's not smooth yet. It needs a bit more tapping to get shiny." Hearing this, the ant flew into a rage, grabbing a broom and warning, "You want to tap it more? Believe it or not, I'll smash your head." A hand held up a phone high. "Wait, it's Ban Shong." He looked down at the person opposite him. "They're sending red envelopes in the group chat. Sis, see if your group is sending any." Lin Weixia picked up her phone to check the message. "Wishing you a happy new year. May all your troubles be blown away by the wind. May good luck fall upon you. May health always be with you. And may happiness be with you forever. Happy New Year and all the best." On the phone screen was her chat history with her friend, Lu Xijia. Lu Xijia had replied with a message. "Oops, sent it to the wrong person. It was just a group message. Xijia, I wish you a happy new year." Her mother and Wei Xia stood beside the chair where Ban Shong was sitting. "Sis, Mom, come and watch the Spring Festival Gala." The phone in her pocket rang again. It was Fang Mo on the other end of the line. "Did you see the post Ban Shong sent? The sky is now pitch black, with only a full moon visible in the distance. Location, Canada. Who is this someone? Happy New Year. It's someone, how surprising. Ban Shong is in Canada. What's going on?" Suddenly, she remembered Fang Mo's words. "Wei Xia, that's someone he's talking about. It couldn't be you, right?" Just then, a message popped up on her phone screen. "Ding ding, hey someone." Wei Xia replied to the message. "You go back to your room now." At this moment, Ban Shong was sitting on a bench by the street waiting for a message, typing, "Hey someone." Then he brought the phone closer to his face and smiled, recording a voice message. "It's New Year's Eve today, and I'm all alone abroad. I just want to hear you say Happy New Year." Soon, Wei Xia received the message. She read it, her face turning slightly red. Wei Xia hurriedly recorded, "A Happy New Year, Ban Shong." At that moment, Wei Xia and her aunt were setting the table for a meal. After that Happy New Year, the relationship between her aunt and Lin Weixia became closer, but they both tacitly avoided mentioning Ban Shong's name. After spending more than half a semester at Shengao, Lin Weixia had finally adapted a life there. The aunt and niece chatted as they ate. "Weixia, your dad came to see me. He insists on you going back with him. He's out of prison and says he wants to take you back." She put down her chopsticks. "The MY dad? That drunkard who gets thrown in jail for theft and fraud every time he drinks deserves it. But our family has raised you for so many years. You're still his daughter, after all. What reason do I, your aunt, have to refuse?" As soon as her aunt finished speaking, she got up and walked quickly into her room, ignoring her aunt's word from behind. "Hey, Wei Xia, what are you going to do?" Suddenly, Wei Xia strode out of the room with a stack of money in her hand. "Auntie, this is all the money I've saved. 5,000 yuan in total." Then, Wei Xia stuffed the money into her aunt's hand. "Girl, what are you doing?" She smiled and advised, "It's no use for me to keep it. You take it and spend it." Seeing this, her aunt didn't refuse. "All right then, I'll hold on to it for you for now. As for your dad, I'll turn him down for you." One day not long after, she was sitting, reading a book and minding the shop. A call came in from an unknown number. As soon as Wei Xia answered, she heard her dad's curses. "You ungrateful brat. Get your ass back here. Just like your mother, daring to disobey me." Suddenly, an arm snatched the phone from her hand. Ban Shong looked at the person yelling on the phone and casually hung up. "Cat got your tongue? Say something." Then, he fiddled with the phone. "Want to block this number? If you don't want to listen, just hang up. What's there to listen to?" Afterwards, the phone was returned to Wei Xia. She asked in surprise, "Why are you here?" "To take you somewhere fun." The two of them walked to a car parked by the roadside. In the car were Xijia and Liran, who poked their heads out. Wei Xia, get in. Seeing she was a bit worried outside, Xijia said a few words to reassure her. "Don't worry, Liran turned 18 2 months ago and just got his driver's license." Wei Xia asked cautiously, "Senior, you have your license, but you haven't been drinking, have you?" Hearing this, Liran quickly took off his glasses and retorted, "Huh? Do I not look reliable?" At this, Xijia burst out laughing, and Ban Shong laughed so hard he had to hold onto the car door. He hasn't been drinking, don't worry." Then, the four of them set off together. On the way, Wei Xia asked, and Xijia answered, "Are we going to the seaside?" "Yeah." Wei Xia, put on some sunscreen. Even though it's almost evening, the sun is still quite strong. The music festival was buzzing with excitement. The Jingwei Folk Music Festival was incredibly lively, with everyone excitedly immersing themselves in the festive atmosphere. Wei Xia was a bit dazzled by the atmosphere and looked at her senior, asking, "Is this a music festival?" She smiled and replied, "Yes, it's jointly organized by several universities. The participants are mainly university students." Just then, a friend from the side walked over cheerfully. "You really are the hardest person to invite." Then, He turned to walk inside, adding, "Come on, I'll take you to the front." In the crowded flow of people, Ban Shang gently protected Wei Xia. Suddenly, someone accidentally bumped her shoulder hard, causing her to lose her balance and fall into Ban Shang's arms. Feeling this, he gently stroked her hair and said seriously, "Be careful." On stage, the host said excitedly, "Let's keep the fire burning. Welcome the band from Nanjiang University." In the audience, Wei Xia looked at the stage full of anticipation. But when she looked to her side, she didn't see him. So she called out worriedly, "Ban." Before she could finish, she turned to her senior and asked, "Have you seen Ban Shang? He seems to be gone." She pointed to the stage and replied, "Look there, up there." Ban Shang was already standing on the stage. His face was handsome as he raised a microphone and said, "The lead singer of this band suddenly fell ill and needed a substitute, so I'm filling in for him." As soon as he finished speaking, the guitarist began to play the first chord, each gentle melody combining harmoniously and soothingly. Below the stage, everyone watched Ban Shang excitedly, exclaiming, "The lead singer is so handsome. How come we've never seen him before?" The quality of Nanjiang University's bands is really high. On stage, he was immersed in the rhythm, singing every word with emotion. His gaze intentionally drifted towards Wei Xia as the lyrics went. Just being able to see her from afar, that joy feels so fresh. Below the stage, the girls around her grew even more excited. "Look, he's looking this way." Wei Xia couldn't help but gaze at him intently. She didn't know how to describe the feeling at that moment. All she knew was the sea breeze, the sunset, and this atmosphere. "I seem to have lost all sensation, only feeling as if an electric current was passing through my heart." Every word in the song seemed to be a message Ban Shang wanted to convey to Wei Xia. He had never experienced love, but her image had always remained in his heart, making him wonder why he had only seen her once. Yet the impression was as beautiful as a first love. Every second he hoped to see her, waiting silently without complaint. "Here." Ban Shang looked at Wei Xia affectionately, "a sweet first love." The song ended amidst lively special effects. The senior beside her finally spoke. A person who is never willing to participate in any group activities is willing to open his heart for you, giving you his whole world without hesitation. Ban Shang really likes you. At the end, after the performance, the senior looked at Ayn Rand with a lost expression in her eyes and added, "Actually, love is a luxury. If you encounter it, don't miss it." Wei Xia awkwardly tried to interject, "Senior, we're not." But the senior interrupted and added, "No, he has always treated me as a good friend." Then she laughed heartily and turned to look at her. "You should go out." Ban Shang said he'd wait for you outside after the show. He probably has other plans. Wei Xia hurriedly ran out, looking left and right. Her gaze suddenly noticed him to the side. Ban Shang was leaning against his motorcycle, calling out, "Over here. Get on, I'll take you for a ride." Wei Xia sat awkwardly on the back of the motorcycle and said in a low voice, "Wait for me to get a good grip." But before she was ready, Ban Shang gunned the engine, causing her to instinctively lunge towards him. Wei Xia grabbed his shirt tightly and said in a panic, "I'm sorry." Ban Shang replied with a wild laugh. The speed is steady now. But after Wei Xia stabilized herself, he suddenly accelerated again, pushing the throttle to what could be called its maximum. Wei Xia hugged him tightly and instinctively shouted, "Ban Shang." He said, amused, "I'll stop teasing you. Look to your right." Hearing this, Wei Xia looked over curiously. Her eyes sparkled, and she couldn't help but gasp in amazement. "It's so beautiful." Before them was the sunrise. Ban Shang probed further, "Are you happy?" Wei Xia replied happily, "This is so much fun." Ban Shang added, "If you have any wishes, say them out loud. If you want to release stress, shout it out." Wei Xia, moved by these words for some reason, shouted, "I wish it would snow in Nanjiang." Hearing this, he chuckled. "All right, how about a more realistic wish?" Wei Xia shyly leaned on Ban Shang's shoulder and said in a small voice, "I want to leave this place soon. I want to go to Beijing to see the snow." Ban Shang answered without hesitation, "I'll go with you." She was a little worried and lowered her eyes. "Actually, I'm a lot of trouble." Ban Shang cut her off. "I don't care about that, Lin Wei Xia. I can accept your expectations." On the other side, a wind chime tinkled softly. Si Jiao walked into the shop, wiping the sweat from her tired body, and said at the counter, "Hello. I'll have one." Soon, her drink was served. Hello, one hot cinnamon latte. Sijia looked up at Wei Xia in surprise and asked, "Why are you working today?" Wei Xia replied calmly, "Just a temporary shift change. There are umbrellas in the shop. Take one and use it." Suddenly, a person came in from outside. The sound of a liquor bottle being placed on the table was heard, and a man's voice said, "Daughter, give your dad some money to spend." It was Wei Xia's father. He mumbled as he walked towards her with the liquor bottle. "Where's the money hidden? Give it to me, quick." She dodged and replied, "What are you doing? Get out." Then he angrily raised the bottle at her. "You unfilial daughter. You dare to defy me?" Suddenly, Sijia kicked him hard from behind and shouted, "Wei Xia, run." Wei Xia's father didn't give up and chased after them. "You dare to kick me?" But Sijia didn't back down, holding Wei Xia's hand tightly. After escaping, Sijia said, panting, "I've already called the police. He won't bother you again." Wei Xia said from the side, "Thank you. Should you get your hand checked to the hospital? Don't let it scar." Sijia casually took her hand, brought the wounds on their palms together, and continued, "It's nothing. Look, the scars on our palms connect to form a line. This is the bond of our friendship." Back in the present, Ban Shang said, "Lin Weixia, I can accept your expectations." At this moment, Wei Xia looked at his back and thought, "Yes, he's great, really great. He's never disappointed anyone." But Ban Shang then added sadly, "I'm sorry, there are many other things to do." When the two stopped at a place with a beautiful view of the sunrise, he received a phone call. "Oh, I see." After hanging up, Ban Shang said, "Li Ran and Wu Tuan have left first." Wei Xia asked in confusion, "Huh? Why do they leave first?" He took a step closer and replied meaningfully, "He deliberately left the two of us here to create an opportunity for us to be alone." Hearing this, Wei Xia avoided his gaze and asked, "Then how do we get back?" Ban Shang looked at his phone and typed a few words, "Don't worry, I'll get you home safely before dark." A moment later, the car stopped at the entrance of the residential complex. The atmosphere inside the car was a bit heavy. Wei Xia looked at him hesitantly, thinking he's always so arrogant and looks down on everyone. "You shouldn't be so dejected because of me." Then, the two walked into the complex. At the entrance of the dessert shop, Wei Xia turned to look at Ban Shang. He lit a cigarette and looked at her. "What's wrong?" Wei Xia hesitated for a moment, then pointed at the dessert shop. "Want some milk tea?" Then she added, "Ban Shang, I had a lot of fun today." Then she turned to look at him. Wei Xia then held the milk tea out to him. Ayn Rand returned home and asked irritably, lying stiffly on the sofa, "You don't have any alcohol at your place? What are you doing at my house?" "Just here for the show. How are things on your end?" Ayn Rand looked at the milk tea on the table and sighed. "I'm swamped with work. It took me forever to save up enough for a cup of milk tea." He teased, picking up the milk tea and adding, "I remember you don't sleep well and never touch milk tea or coffee. Besides, you don't look like you're in a mood to drink it. Why don't I help you finish it?" But as he picked up the milk tea, Ban Shang stopped him, displeased. "Put it down." Seeing that someone else had milk tea bought by a secret admirer, Iran looked over thoughtfully. "Ban Shang, you're a lost cause. A single cup of milk tea is all it takes to appease you." Ban Shang, not to be outdone, retorted in a low voice, "I'm happy to be." The next day, Wei Xiao walked to the stairwell and called out loudly, "Fang Ru Bai, do you mind if I eat with you?" As she spoke, she approached her, holding up a box of rice balls and smiling. "Want to try one?" Rubai replied, a bit awkwardly, "Thank you." At this point, Wei Xia asked tentatively, "Were you also at the music festival last weekend?" She actually had a reason for asking, because Sijia had said the day before, "Wei Xia, the organizers took a lot of photos at that music festival. I'll send them to you." Rubai didn't deny it and admitted, "Yes." Wei Xia hesitated and added, but before she could finish, Rubai interrupted loudly, "Please don't ask me why." But as Wei Xia was leaving, she hurriedly called out, "Lin Weixia." Rubai warned with a stern expression, "I hope you can stay away from him." Wei Xia was confused, looking at her with hesitant eyes. Just then, Famal looked at the computer worriedly. "Oh, student A has already chosen. It's our turn, and there are only a few outdoor classes left." Wei Xia pointed at the information. "There's an elective in a classroom here. Do you want to choose swimming?" Famal immediately shook her head in refusal. "No way. It's not auspicious at all. Something happened there before." Hearing this, she asked in disbelief, "Really? What happened before? Can you tell me?" Famal narrated seriously. "Someone had an accident in the swimming pool. It was very scary. Just passing by there is frightening. They don't let students talk about it. Anyway, don't choose it." Rubai had appeared behind them at some point. The three of them looked at each other and said no more. Famal was a bit wary and gently tugged on Wei Xia's sleeve. Wei Xia, stop looking at her. Let's choose the next class. On the other side, Sijia impatiently chided her classmate. Hurry up and tell me, where did Ban Shang go? Why hasn't he been to school these past few days? The classmate replied awkwardly, my dear lady, I really don't know. He might be in a bad mood. I can't reach him either. Over here, Fama was also curious. Yeah, why hasn't Ban Shang come class these days? Wei Xia, do you know anything? She replied awkwardly, I don't know either. He's probably in a bad mood. As she spoke, Wei Xia recalled the time she had rejected his invitations. I'm sorry, I have other things to do. She suddenly felt uneasy. Could it be because I rejected him that day? Why do I feel so empty inside? For 3 consecutive days, Wei Xia sent texts to Ban Shang, asking things like, why didn't you come to school today? Want some fresh milk? And did something happen to you? But received no reply. Famon noticed her strange mood and asked in a questioning tone, but what could have happened to make him unhappy? He can clearly have whatever he wants. But Wei Xia just lowered her head, lost in thought. Why can't I see him? Is he really that lonely? The next day, on the bus to school, Wei Xia's eyes were glued to her phone screen. Just then, the message vibrated. After so many days, Ban Shang had only replied with one word, yes. Wei Xia then rushed to the classroom. Her eyes suddenly widened, her expression stiffening as she stared intently at the person before her. It was Ban Shang. He was leaning casually against the door, giving her a faint smile. Suddenly, that large hand reached towards Wei Xia for some reason. Ban Shang tugged on the ribbon of her shirt, pulling her closer, and asked playfully, what are you hiding from? Where's my milk? Wei Xia defensively stepped back, avoiding his gaze as she replied, I haven't bought it yet. Ban Shang turned his head away and added, broke your promise, huh? Wei Xia lowered her head, tidying her ribbon, and retorted, don't you get milk to drink every day? Ban Shang grinned at her, amused. Wasn't I waiting for you to bring it to me today? I left home without milk on purpose. Suddenly, she asked, what's been up with you lately? You seem a bit off. Hearing this, Ban Shang looked a little awkward. The story ends here. A while after school, a male classmate said with some difficulty, it's like this. Our school has an inter-school competition with Tanzhong Middle School tomorrow, but one of our players can't participate now. I heard Ban Shang is very good, and we urgently need a substitute. Wei Xiao looked at him, confused, and responded, are you sure you're asking the right person? The male classmate added confidently, that's right. I've already gone to Ban Shang, but he didn't agree. If you go and persuade him, there's definitely hope. Saving a life is better than building a 7-story pagoda. Wei Xiao was clearly not interested, packed up her books, and replied coldly, if it's something he doesn't want to do you think I can change his mind? The male classmate continued anxiously, yes, you can. Based on my intuition, please. However, Wei Xiao remained very firm and refused decisively. He doesn't like it, and I don't want to force him. The male classmate was in a difficult position and tried to hold her back. Hey, classmate Lin, wait. As soon as she stepped out, Ban Shang actually sent her a text. Remember to come watch me play basketball after school tomorrow, okay? Don't stand me up. Wei Xia unconsciously pouted and texted back, what made you change your mind? Ban Shang replied mysteriously, I'll tell you when you get here. Back home, Wei Xiao looked at the calendar on the wall. April 25th, today is my birthday. Then she played a video on the TV in which her mother smiled gently, holding her. The due date is the first day of summer, so let's call her Wei Xia. Unfortunately, the video of her father added with a bright smile, it's a pity she was born 5 days early. Maybe Wei Xia couldn't wait to come and see the mortal world. Watching this, Wei Xia sneered and said, I've seen it, and this world is just so. A moment later, Wei Xia brought out a bowl of egg noodles. She put her hands together and made a sincere wish. Happy birthday, Wei Xia. The next afternoon, they all went to watch the basketball game. Fama looked down in surprise and exclaimed, Wei Xia, look, Queen Lu even organized a cheerleading squad. Ninghua, dressed to the nines at this moment, sighed, what a pity. The love was wasted. Down below, the referee blew the whistle, and the contestants for the match walked onto the court, including Ban Shang. The audience in the stands was excited. Look, it's Ban Shang, the famous handsome guy of Shengao. Others chimed in, I see him, he's really handsome. Another person immediately noticed something different. Wait, Ban Shang's jersey has always been number 16. Why did it change to 25? Hearing this, Wei Xia looked down at the court, the number 25 repeating in her mind. And she turned to Ninghua and asked, "Do you know why he changed his mind about participating in the game?" Ninghua replied with a blank look, "I don't know. Ban Jia asked me what day the game was, and I said April 25th. He agreed right away." After that, Ninghua stood up and cheered without reservation. Ban Ji is awesome. Beside her, Wei Xiao wanted to say something, but held back. The guy on the court also glanced in that direction, casually pulling up his jersey to wipe his sweat, revealing his charming abs and making the girls above scream, "Ban Shang." At this moment, Lu Sijia took the initiative to hand over water, praising shyly, "You played really well just now. Want some water?" The other girls were deflated seeing this. What's going on? Does Ban Shang have a girlfriend? The girl next to them retorted, "No way, Lu Sijia just has a crush on him." Seeing Ban Shang walk past Sijia and grab a bottle of water from elsewhere, that girl said smugly, "See, he didn't drink her water." Seeing Ban Shang gulping down water and ignoring Sijia, Ninghua sighed in satisfaction. That's my Ban Jia. He keeps to himself." At this point, Wei Xia stood up a bit awkwardly. "I'm going to the restroom." Fema beside her looked at her, "Come back quickly. The second half is about to start." As she left the court, a figure was already standing there waiting. That hand slowly approached Wei Xia's shoulder. The door to a nearby room quickly shut. Ban Shang pinned Wei Xia against the door and asked in a low voice, "Did you see me play?" Wei Xia looked at him blankly and replied, "I saw." Ban Shang then naturally pulled Wei Xia's short skirt down a little, chiding, "Who told you to wear it so short?" She shivered for a moment from the unexpected touch. Wei Xia instinctively blurted out, "Old Lu." Ban Shang then patted her skirt. Afterwards, he looked at her and asked, "All right, then how many points did I score just now?" This sudden question left Wei Xia at a loss for words. He seized the opportunity, affectionately pinching her chin gently, and said,